Hello and welcome back. It is the third annual dry. Wow, I'm already messing up, and it's only 7:45. Draft live reaction stream. I'm your host, Michael Filipkowski. Connor DiBiase is here as always, and Andrew Roberts is here as well. We are your trio, guiding you through this draft like no other. I will be standing very still tonight because my Wi Fi is very bad. So all that will be moving is pretty much my mouth. The other two, probably more will be moving. But if you see me not moving too much, you now know why. Tonight's draft is special. This is the first time in a very long time when the number one pick is not a consensus. And where basically none of us know what's going to happen. Connor and I have been on the phone every single day, probably for the last 5 days, discussing what was happening. I've made about too many mock drafts to count. And at this moment, you can see our mock drafts all to the right of us, or to the left of us, depending on.
Right.
I think it's to the right of us. Um, it's going to be a fun night. I think that's safe to say. But I changed my mock draft again today. 2 minutes after I finished talking to Connor, Adam Schefter reported that the Texans are looking up to trade into the first round. That second pick in the first round, the 13 overall, is looking to be moved into the first top 10. And I
Ooh,
changed again.
interesting.
So it is
Michael
going to
had
be.
that. Wait, if you want to talk about that trade quickly, Michael had that moving up to get Garrett Wilson at 9, as kind of the receiver. It's what they wanted. The rumors are they want Stingley and
Texans, you're saying?
yeah, not yeah. Stingley and
Actually,
Garrett
had the
Wilson are the
Texans.
main targets. I had him taking Ike Mekwanu at 3, and then on their second trade was up to get Stingley at. I'm take Stingley at 8.
Yeah, I had Stingley at 3 for the Texans, and then I had them sticking at 13 and still getting Jamison Williams.
I think
It is going to be.
it's gonna be hard to be losers if you're the Texans.
Texans are going to have a good night,
Yeah.
I think. Kyle Hamilton probably will fall to them at 13, I
Yeah.
think.
I
And
mean, the
again,
main problem with this team, well, I mean, I don't know if it's even a problem because Davis Mills was pretty good last season. Is Davis Mills going to be a
Texans
valid
also
starter in this league?
reported
That's
to
the big
be pursuing Baker Mayfield well.
Yeah, I did hear
Potentially
that.
after the
I did
draft.
hear that. Yeah, this AFC, I think that's the other storyline. Like, there really aren't that many bottom feeders in this AFC. It's going to be teams are going to be looking, especially in the AFC, to win now because honestly, I think to win in this AFC, you're really going to need to build up your roster, fill in all the holes because there's just so many competitive teams in this conference that it's a mediocre team is not going to make the playoffs. Even with the 7 seed, it's not going to happen.
you got to build up this year. The draft is the perfect time to do it. Now,
Yeah.
let's talk about the number one overall pick, which probably in about 25-30 minutes will be announced. As always, it takes about 10 minutes, give or take, for that first pick to be announced, even though the team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, likely already know who they're going to select.
I mean, this year could be a little different because it's for the first time in 4 years. It seems like the ownership and the coaching and the GM they're split on who to take. I heard that Doug Peterson likes Ike Mekwanu. I heard that Balky and the owner are arguing over Walker and Hutchison. So there could be a lot of different possibilities with that number one pick.
It is going to be an eventful night. I have Walker being taken at 1. And that really, I don't think Walker deserves to be number 1 this year. And no disrespect to him, but he had a great combine. If you look at his film just wasn't number 1 material worthy, in my opinion.
And it's
So-
interesting.
Yeah, maybe top 10 worthy, but number one is a bit far fetched.
I was gonna say because it's interesting because in more recent years it feels like combine positions aren't being all the talk anymore.
Right. Yeah,
Yet,
exactly. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
true,
Walker's
because
risen to
Stingley has
1.
kind of recovered from his
Right, it feels like the
original
combine.
projected slide.
It feels like the combine is just more a measure of like what can these guys do, and it's like, well, he runs a 4.4. We thought he would run a 4.5. Is that going to make a big difference in whether we're going to draft him at 10 or at 1. No, it's not. But this year, something that happened, and particularly with Walker, I don't know. Is it a good pick? That remains to be seen. But if he ends up going at 1, it will be pretty shocking if you told anyone this a few months ago. Take us back a few months ago, it was Thibodeau and Hutchinson in a battle for the first overall pick, and we knew that the Lions were going to get whoever Jacksonville didn't select. Ikem Ekwonu was also in that discussion about a month ago. And Trayvon Walker has been slowly climbing the boards up until, what, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where reports started coming out. Trayvon Walker, number 1 overall pick. And from that moment, it's even grown with more and more confidence that he would be the number 1 overall pick going into this draft.
Some teams did, though. There were reports. Some teams did have him top 10 before the combine. So some teams saw some stuff in him that were intriguing before even the combine happened. Ikem Ekwonu is kind of also a late riser. It was mostly Evan Neal, the talk of the town for most of the year, and then especially because Ekwonu, he had so much success last year as a guard. If he would have gone,
could still be a top 5 pick.
Yeah. But if he would have gone in the draft last year, he'd be the number 1 guard off the board. Then he shifted to tackle this season, and played well. But I think one of the reasons for his rise is kind of that dual playability at tackle and guard. But at the beginning of the season, he was just seen as a mid to late first round pick because he was just a guard prospect. Then he had a great season at tackle and kind of raised throughout the year.
I'm right, and the Jaguars take him at 1. They have the flexibility then.
I like it.
To move either Ekwonu, Robinson, or Jawan Taylor to guard. I think any of them could be moved. I think they could definitely use another guard opposite Brandon Scherf. So that would taking an alignment here would give him a lot of flexibility.
Now, I mean, I agree. I think probably Ekwonu is probably the best pick for the Jaguars. But if you look at our mock drafts are not, what should this team do? What is the best move for these teams?
Mine's kind of a mix.
Well, Connor and mine's is, what do we think these teams are going to do?
Yeah.
Right? What do I think that this team is going to do? Which is very different than saying, what do I think this, if I were the GM of this team, what would I do?
I'd have Thibodeau going 1 if I was drafting like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a completely different story. But Connor and I picked based on, what does this team do in drafts? Do they usually trade up or usually trade back? Right? And with that in mind, is Jermaine Johnson a top 10 pick? With me and Connor picking? Maybe. Knowing what we know about teams in this draft this year, he's almost a for sure top 10 based on all the reports. And so when you look at our mock drafts,
I don't have him going top 10, Michael.
You don't have him going top 10?
I have him going to the Falcons, but I have him trading down and getting him. But
interesting.
Yeah, there's a few teams that love him. The Jets reportedly like him over Thibodeau, would take him 4, but I think it's somewhat smokescreen, and I still have Thibodeau going 4. I think Michael.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson all the way down at 20.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The Chiefs moving up for him.
Differing opinions on different teams, I think. I think that the Falcons are infatuated with him, but if another guy they like is there on the board, if Thibodeau falls, if Sauce Gardner's still on the board, if maybe they really like Garrett Wilson, they could definitely go those pieces over him. And then who are the other teams that love him? The Jets? Yeah, assuming if you take Thibodeau at 4, like a lot of the reports are saying they actually don't want to do, but I personally think it's smokescreen. If they don't take him at 4, do they hope Jermaine Johnson falls at 10? And then there's not many other teams that are huge on Jermaine Johnson, and that kind of causes his drop.
To step aside from the rumors for a sec, I think Thibodeau has probably the highest upside of any prospect in this draft.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Yeah, he's going to be
really talented.
It's the same thing with Micah Parsons, man. It's so stupid, the character concerns and everything.
My defensive rookie of the year right now, I'm taking Thibodeau all day, any day.
Right. Now, I agree, and I think, I think the idea, I don't know why the Texans, at least according to reports again, they love Derek Stingley over Sauce. maybe that's a coverage scheme thing, but
I like Stingley
to
over
me,
Sauce.
I like Stingley over Sauce too.
you like Stingley over Sauce too.
Well,
Well, I'm of a different opinion. I think Sauce played great this year. Get it? He's not in one of those top conferences, but he's a really talented player. He locked down Alabama. Go watch the film. And I think he's really talented. And that's why the Vikings trading up to get him at 6. And Vikings historically are not a trade up team. This is different than Rick Spielman. This is Kwesi. And I think that he's going to be aggressive coming into this draft. A lot of Vikings fans, from what I know, are shopping wide receiver, looking for a wide receiver in this draft to play alongside Jefferson and Thielen, which is intriguing,
I mean,
right?
they
I mean,
have
you put,
Osborne. He's not awful.
right, but you put a guy like Jamison Williams or maybe Drake London, who are projected to go somewhere around that general area, alongside Thielen and London, or Thielen and Jefferson. That's a dangerous wide receiving core. So I know there's a lot of push
Very
for that. That's going to be a very interesting pick to see what the Vikings do. We know the Cowboys want to move up. As always, Jerry Jones is looking to make a splash in the draft. That's what he does every year. They're sitting at 24 this year. So I'm not really sure if they're going to be making a huge jump up. But they're certainly going to try. And I know the Eagles are in that same boat as well. And maybe we'll see the Ravens jump up and grab a cornerback like Stingley, maybe Sauce, maybe Trent McDuffie. They sit and hold for him. Potentially they get a defensive lineman. There are a lot of guys that are in this draft that you wouldn't be surprised to be taken inside the top 15. And there are also a lot of guys that you'd be saying, not surprised he fell out of the top 15. One of those guys, George Karlaftis, projected in PFF to be going pretty high. Most people's mock drafts falling to the mid-20s.
PFF has some of the worst rankings. It's
Yeah,
so
college
bad.
football, they're not the best.
It's so bad.
Malik Willis, that's a big discussion upon where he is going to go in this draft. A lot of people are very high on him. A lot of people are very low on him.
Some Lions fans are telling me they want him at 2.
Yeah, that's a mistake. I feel like if they do that, I think Malik is really talented. It just depends on what team wants to take him. I think Seattle could take him at 10, or maybe trade back and take him. The Giants now are definitely in play to take Malik Willis. Obviously, they did not pick up Daniel Jones's 5th-year option today. So that is huge news out of New York.
Were they expected to?
See, it was definitely up in the air, and it's definitely a possibility now that Malik Willis could be a Giant at the end of tonight. Kenny Pickett going in the mid-20s or 30s potentially tonight. I have a mock
Andrew got him
Steelers.
6, don't you?
Yeah.
Andrew has him 6. Andrew, tell us why Kenny Pickett at 6. What's the reasoning behind that?
So I think Carolina, they keep saying that Sam Darnold's their guy. I don't buy it. I really think maybe they'll go with Darnold this year, but I think they want a quarterback for the future. And I mean, Willis could be that guy. He has high upside, but I just can't make the case for him over Kenny Pickett. I think he's a much safer pick, and I have Carolina taking him. And to circle back to the Stingley versus Sauce argument, I know Sauce had a good season, but Stingley has been producing since his freshman year. He produced during the Joe Burrow era when there was so much talent on that LSU team. He still stood out in that secondary. So that's why I'm making the case for Stingley over Sauce.
I agree, but Stingley has been on a steady decline since that year, right? Each season progresses.
Has he though? Has he at all? The only thing is injuries, Michael. The only concern, it's not even a big concern, is injury. Everything else, he's number 1 on the board at. He checks every single box of what you want out of a rookie cornerback. He's NFL ready and has high potential.
If it were me, I would take Sauce. That being said, I think that Sauce is not going to go first cornerback off the board. I do expect Derek Stingley to be taken at 3. And listen, every year, one player in the first round greatly proves me wrong. And every year I have to do an apology podcast on it.
Usually a
Someone
quarterback.
tonight will prove me wrong, and I will be regretting it for years to come. Justin Herbert made me very upset. Mac Jones proved me wrong. Tonight, who knows? I don't have any strong opinions about too many players tonight, so maybe it won't. But I'm sure something will come up where the Giants will take someone stupid and maybe it will work out.
I liked both those picks, so that's one thing to look out for if we're disagreeing.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. It is 8 p.m. on the nose. The draft has begun. The NFL draft is live. Jacksonville Jaguars are officially on the clock with the number one selection in this year's draft. An interesting footnote: at number 5, the Giants. Roger Goodell will not be announcing the pick. It will be a kid from New York. And it is his Make-A-Wish wish, and it was granted. Well, I don't know if it was his wish to announce a pick, but the Giants ended up that was what they gave him that. So that's gonna be interesting pick to see. Connor, go
You
ahead.
do gotta feel bad for all those other Make-A-Wish kids that were always sent to like the 3rd round or later. You just gotta feel bad for them.
The Giants are setting the bar. The Giants are setting the bar tonight for sure.
Yeah, like Roger Goodell does not have to announce every first round pick.
Well, I don't want to hear.
Honestly, it's probably better if he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I get enough Roger in one night. The draft hats this year, not a fan. I liked them better last year. This year, I'm not so much of a fan. That's just another footnote. The draft is where is the draft this year, Connor? Is it in LA? Las Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. It was supposed to be last year in Vegas.
Right. And then, yeah. And there's a big crowd there, a big crowd of people awaiting. It's going to be interesting to see what the Bengals do tonight. That's the team I'm watching out for.
Really?
I think they're very likely to trade out. Well, because I think that they want a guard or a center. And
they just spent so much money on O-line. I agree that's not incredible what they did with it, but I mean, I think
they could look to trade up.
But at pick 30, are you getting a more influential lineman there than Jonah Williams or Leo Collins or Alex Kappa, even Ted Karras? Are you getting a more influential lineman out there? Or do you go a position that can be up? Maybe you go cornerback.
I don't know if Cincy necessarily needs a lineman in round 1. A day 2 pick, I could definitely see.
I mean,
but day 1, I don't know.
Eli Apple's their number 1 corner, a top 2 corner on the team.
Eli Apple was fantastic in the Super Bowl.
D-line, they released Geno Atkins a couple of years ago, but before then, he was a standout in their D-line during his prime.
Didn't he go to Seattle, or is that did he go to Seattle, or is that someone else who went from the Bengals to Seattle?
Who is
Atkins, I believe he went to. I think it was Dunlap who went to.
It was Dunlap. It was Carlos Dunlap. See, that's tough though. That's Cincinnati. I don't know. I think that they have to. I mean, I will be interested to see if they make a move tonight. They were essentially one Samaje Perine catch away from maybe getting a Super Bowl victory. Connor and I know a lot about Samaje Perine. Did a lot of film analysis quite a few years ago on him, didn't we, Connor?
I like him. Good kid.
Remember that year, Connor?
I do.
That was a lot of fun. For context, back in 8th grade, we do a PBL, which is called Project Based Learning, and you were able to sign up. And so ours was with science teacher. I forget his name. What was his name? I'm blanking. Anyways,
I can't believe you're gonna do this to me, Michael.
Anyways, the focus was on the draft, and we basically just sat in class for 3 hours a day and watched film. And then we
shout out Kyle Mortimer.
Shout out Kyle Mortimer. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Who was our QB?
I wish I had something like that.
Were we Mahomes fans in that draft, Michael? I know we didn't like Mitch.
There was no way we were Mahomes.
It was Mahomes.
I have to pull that up.
I was on the Deshaun Watson train, like saying he was the best quarterback in the class.
Hunter Renfrow, wasn't he drafted that year?
Yeah.
No, that was later.
The year after.
There's the Cooper Kupp, Alvin Kamara. It's when the Saints had like their best draft ever.
Golladay, Godwin, Juju.
Another interesting note: this is the first year, or this is the most teams without a first-round draft pick since what, like '85, I think it was. Could we see a Rams, a Raiders, a Dolphins, a Niners, and I think one other team that I'm missing
Bears.
trade up into the first round? The Bears, that's right, and the
I have
Broncos,
the Bears
right?
moving up personally.
Yeah, could we see one of those teams moving up? Who would they take? I think the Bears, as Andrew just alluded to, would probably be most likely to trade up.
I think the Niners
They
will be
have
most
so
likely
many
to
Who do you
trade
want the Bears
up.
to
I think like
I think the Niners are going to
it
trade
might
up
be
to pick
smart
10.
to stack up day 2 and 3 picks for them because, like, I can't name a position other than maybe quarterback because they just got Justin Fields that the Bears do not have a whole lot. Like,
What about Roquan Smith?
I mean, he's one linebacker. You still need other linebackers around Roquan Smith.
I think that they basically are in the position of the Texans where they need to fill almost every position.
Except other
But
than
in
the
a bunch-
Texans, they have about a third of the draft capital that the Texans do.
I know that's a main.
Yeah,
difference.
the Bears. Like, I don't
Bears
think
might
they'll
be the
be
worst
able to
team
fill all
going
their
into
needs. It's
this
gonna be
year.
a rough year for them. I'll just say
Yeah,
that. Right.
they have no O line. They have Allen Robinson who played poorly last year.
Allen Robinson's on
They
the
have-
Robinson's
Oh,
gone. He's
Robinson's
going to the
gone.
Oh,
Rams.
Robinson's gone.
he's on the
That's right.
Rams.
So
Rams.
So they have
Hey,
no
yeah.
wide receivers unless
Darnell
No.
Mooney as like their only receiver.
They
still
signed
need-
Byron Pringle. Mahomes' favorite
Didn't he
target,
just
Byron
got
Pringle.
arrested the other day. I thought he just got arrested.
Byron Pringle got arrested?
He just got arrested.
No chance.
I thought he just got arrested.
I'm looking at the
Yes,
NFL Network.
Entered with
website.
cops during reckless driving arrest. I was right. As
But
of
he didn't. But he
22
didn't get
hours.
arrested.
Oh, okay, but he definitely got something happened.
Also, they just signed the St. Brown, the Packers one.
Oh, Amon Ra, he's terrible.
Not
Equanimeous.
Amon Ra, and Amon Ra is great for the Lions.
Equanimeous.
Equanimeous, yeah,
Equanimeous, the other one.
Older brother.
yeah.
Oh, he's really bad.
Amon Ra St. Brown is
I mean,
amazing.
maybe Rodgers just didn't have the chance to throw to him.
Amon Ra caught a game-winning touchdown for the Lions' first win of the season in overtime.
I mean, it's in his blood. It's in his
Don't
blood.
torture me. Torture me with Mike Zimmer's terrible play calling.
Why are the Raiders on the
Zimmer-
court? Oh, because it's in Vegas.
No, why?
I'm telling you
Darren
right now,
Waller?
They got Darren Waller
I
up
think the
there like he's not
Vikings-
about to get traded.
Zimmer's gone.
He's not getting traded.
They
Zimmer's
want to
gone,
trade him.
Vikings are
They're
taking it.
fielding offers.
There is no way he gets traded while he's at the draft. There's no shot that happens.
That'd be so funny.
What were we
That would
talking
be
That'd be
so
so
funny.
funny.
There's no way he gets
Oh,
traded.
Waller.
Derek Carr tweeted out. Derek Carr tweeted
Yeah.
out.
Waller said he was told I'm not going anywhere. Like,
Yeah, I hope
By the
so.
way, Derek Carr's got a nice suit on, and if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's in some deep trouble. You have Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfro as your three main targets. That's pretty
Defense.
good.
Yeah,
defense is the problem.
They got
If
rid of their
can't
best
draft
def-
defense,
They got rid of their best defensive guy.
Ooh,
Sorry?
ooh.
They got who'd they sign from? They signed Chandler Jones.
Besides
Yeah.
Chandler Jones, they still
They
have
still need corners. They still need a D line. Still need linebackers.
yeah, but you know what? The Raiders don't play defense, man. They
Yeah. But in
The
that AFC West, do you really expect them to make the playoffs if they don't draft defense well?
All I'm saying though is
Raiders-
Yannick Ngakoue was better than Max Crosby last year for the Raiders. He was
the
better.
Raiders, aka the Raiders, will just pull a couple guys off, off the street or something. They'll figure it out. They're in Vegas, man. Who doesn't want to go to Vegas?
Maybe Henry Ruggs will get
They'll get
released.
people. It's a
Once
matter
again,
of whether those people produce.
Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. Please like and subscribe to the stream and turn that notification bell on because we stream about twice, 3 times a year, so you don't want to miss it when we go live. Isn't that right, Connor?
2 or 3 times a year.
Hey, we got it, baby. We got it. I posted on Instagram maybe like 20 times. No, about 4 or 5 times. I hope I did a good job. I texted it out, tweeted it out, Instagrammed it out, Snapchat DM'd it out. I did quite a bit, I would have to say.
Yeah, I did some
Tonight,
sharing
so-
myself.
Thank you all for joining us here tonight. It's gonna be a fun night tonight. Wait, are the Jacksonville Jaguars not on the clock?
I
They
don't
are
think
on the
they've
clock.
gone on the clock yet. Announced that the Jacksonville Jaguars are
Oh.
officially on the clock yet. But the Jacksonville
I
Jaguars are going to
lied.
take majority of their time because the NFL will tell them to, even if they know who they
Oh yeah,
want.
yeah. They have to.
We
They
gotta
have
give-
Now
to
I'm
get
seeing that the Jags are on the clock. I didn't see it before, but I see it now.
Yeah, it just came up.
back
But
to
we got
the
a good
Jaguars.
15 minutes here before anything.
Yep. We're gonna have
Yeah.
10 minutes of a wait, and then 5 minutes for the pick is in, and they'll do all their
The
stuff with
pick
the
is
jerseys.
in.
But yeah,
Just to
what's
see
the
it be
pick?
Trayvon Walker. Hope not, but it will be.
No.
It's gotta be Trayvon Walker.
I'm just
It
waiting
has
for
to.
Rappaport to tweet in like a
Connor,
minute.
who
Yeah,
did you
it's
have in
Walker.
your mock draft?
I had Walker
gotta
just
be-
because the
You
rumor.
had Walker. Okay, I want to see if either of you had Hutchinson.
I would say Hutchinson. I
did.
had Hutchinson for a while, and then it's Balky hates Hutchinson and doesn't want him because he hates Jim Harbaugh. And I'm like, God
Connor
forbid
Knight,
this
I had
freaking franchise.
According to Shams Charania. Oh, never mind.
Shams is an NBA guy.
Well, yeah, but he said waiting on Rap Sheet to confirm. It was a joke tweet. It was a
Oh
joke.
no,
I
that
love
was a real
Shams.
tweet. He's probably hearing
it was
stuff
a
from
tweet,
guys
he was-
that it's gonna be Walker.
I've got a rap sheet parody account. I've got Rob Sheet for Senior Assassin and Algonquin.
You know, here's what I have to say though. Here's what I have to say. I think Balky's kind of an idiot. My personal
Understatement.
opinion. When you sign Christian Kirk to a $72 million 4-year, $72
$20
million.
million a year or $18 million a year. I mean, for fantasy
For
football,
Christian
Kirk's gonna be
Kirk?
great now because they're
What is
paying
this?
him like an elite receiver. But is he? He's not an elite receiver.
It's really like
It's
12
barely
mil a year. A ton of it is unlikely incentives.
Okay.
So it's really not that bad. As when it first got reported that it was like 4 years, 72 million. You're like, what are they doing? But a lot of
just
it is
seems like-
unlikely incentive.
They're
Mel
still
Kiper's not
treating
at the
Kirk
draft?
like
Wow.
he's their
Probably got
number one
banned.
guy. Can you really trust Kirk as your number one guy? Is he that much better than Marvin Jones? Is he that much better than Visco?
I mean, did you remember the
Just
year
sign Marvin
DJ
Jones
Chuck
again?
had like 2 years ago with them? And DJ Chuck is
Yeah, I
nowhere
can see
now.
that. I just can't see him performing at an elite level, like top 15 receiver. No.
Where did DJ Chuck sign? The Lions?
Lions, yeah. So they're gonna have him. They're gonna have St. Brown. That's a decent offense once they get a quarterback.
Hey,
Shared goofballs, best in the league.
hey, as long as Jared Goff's first read is open, he's a great quarterback.
True. I mean,
Which is better than
the only-
Desmond
the
Ritter,
only
to be
red
fair.
flag I have with Goff is like,
Yeah, I mean, listen,
look
it's
at
Goff.
how much better. Look at how much better Cooper Cup got as soon as Goff left.
He wasn't that much better.
I think he just got more targets.
He was still having 1,000-yard seasons before then. And Robert Woods was actually playing for most of the season.
Right, and Robert Woods is good.
Like,
Too.
in the Super Bowl run, he had like 1,300 yards. He was solid. They were solid together.
Yeah, no, I think that Goff is. I just don't like his throwing motion, but he's not. You can't say with absolute certainty that any of these quarterbacks are going to be better than Goff.
If you're looking back to 2016, I would have had Dak over Goff. I would have had Carson Wentz over Goff, probably.
I would have
I
had
think
Wentz over.
I think Goff is better than Carson Wentz.
No,
Let's
but
put it that
going
way.
into the draft day, okay, Wentz was an MVP candidate. Goff's been nowhere
He
near.
was. And what is he now? A Washington Commanders quarterback on his third team.
I had Paxton Lynch really
Still the
high in
best
that
quarterback
draft. To
Terry
be
McLaurin
fair,
has ever had.
I was a
Paxton
big
Lynch.
Paxton Lynch guy.
Isn't he in the
I have no
forget
idea.
who-
Where,
USFL?
do not care.
Is he in the CFL? I thought he was.
I
in
think
the
he's in
CFL.
the
Oh.
fan-controlled one. With who's in the
with
with
Terrell.
with T.O. Yeah.
Terrell Owens. Yo, reviving his career. Oh boy. You know, I can only see Trayvon Walker going here. I don't see how.
I'm telling you, if they take an O lineman, that's like I'm the only. I feel like I'm on an island here. But if they
But
take
I'm
an
not-
O lineman, that would be huge.
The thing is, I'm not disagreeing with you on they should take Ike Mekwanu. It'd be the best for their team. I'm saying they're gonna take Walker here. I don't care how
Walker's not
how
bad.
how good their team can be with Aquanu. It's the freaking Jaguars, so they're taking Walker.
Like Balky's
So
saying
it's
he hates
interesting.
Hutchinson. That makes me think Hutchinson's out. I think it's probably. I'm convinced that it's down to Walker and Aquanu.
I agree.
That's
I agree.
I agree, but I think it's got to be Walker. Interesting note though, Walker is not at the draft, which is I feel like that's kind of unusual for
No,
first
guys like to
Maybe
stay at
it's
home
not.
with their
Maybe the media's
families.
overhyping him. I have him down at 7. I don't know if he's really.
Well, I don't think
if
I don't think if he doesn't go to the Jaguars, I don't have him going like. I mean, maybe the Jets do it, but I don't have him going that high.
Jacksonville doesn't take him.
I don't think he's that great, but I think Jacksonville's convinced they want. Pick is in.
Yeah, this is a Jacksonville
The
thing. It's
pick
not every team that
is
like,
in.
Hey, did
Dun,
Rappaport
dun,
say it yet?
That's actually somewhat fast.
Who's
compared
gonna
to
get it?
what I was
Rappaport or Shefty?
Not Rappaport yet. Maybe Rappaport was told not to do it
Ari-
because now he actually
Ari-
works for
Okay,
NFL.
according to Ari Myrov, the Jaguars will select Georgia defensive end Trayvon Walker with the number 1 overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. GM Trent Baalke gets the player he coveted. The traits and measurables.
Wonder if he's
matter.
fired if Walker doesn't have a great year and like
Walker's a
Hutchinson,
bust.
Thibodeau,
Oh man.
he's gone. He'd never get a job again because his coach and his owner wanted different guys, and he's like, no, I'm going this D tackle
Absolutely.
D end hybrid who can technically go on the outside linebacker who doesn't have the film but had a crazy combine. He'd get ripped through if Walker doesn't turn out well.
Connor, if I do a great cone drill, does that mean I can play in the NFL too?
But you can't do a great contra, Michael.
Are you kidding me? Yes, I can. I can run
Let's
touch
see it.
cone.
Let's
mad
see it.
fast.
Okay, so your size, you'd probably be a wide receiver or probably only a wide receiver, maybe a corner.
Maybe a kicker punter.
Okay, the kicker punter, 3 cone don't matter.
I could be a wideout. Definitely.
I
not a kicker.
personally
could
think
be a little-
if I was gonna try to be a player in the NFL, I'd try to be a kicker and then try to be the best passing kicker in the league. Just so every fourth down
Right.
can be something fun. Or punter.
Okay, no disrespect to Trayvon Walker, but I'm not liking this pick simply because of the fact that they just could have done better.
Yeah.
They could have fixed up the O-line. They could have filled a need that their team actually has. I mean, Walker can move to the inside. They kind of do need a D lineman, but they're forcing him into that role. This is a 4-3 defense, and you're taking a 3-4 defensive end and inserting him into that defense. I don't.
They've got to move him to tackle.
Listen,
They've got to
it's
move him
not
inside.
It's not about fit for the Jaguars. It's just about being terrible. And here we go.
It's about who Trent Baalke likes. And
Yeah.
Trent
Ian
Baalke-
Rappaport.
Walker.
It is Trayvon Walker.
Oh, you're
Selected number
behind.
1 overall.
Yeah, he's at home with his family.
Yeah, that's.
Connor,
I'm
we are
giving that like a B minus.
All right,
I
now
mean,
the
it's
real
not
draft
awful.
starts.
now the real draft starts.
He'll be out of the league in a couple of years.
Hutchinson too?
Could
What are
be.
the odds
Hutchinson too. I'm
Hutchinson
It
just
should
saying
be.
Hutchinson.
It makes
Do you
sense.
think, do you think the Lions pick right away?
I don't
They
know
said
if
they
it's
No.
right
were
away,
raised to the
but
position.
Now they're
Hutchinson
probably.
is the right call here, and yeah, I mean the only thing I can say here, the Lions don't necessarily have a huge hole at edge rusher, but this is a Michigan hometown guy. He's gonna be a huge upgrade over the Akwara brothers, and he could. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll try and move him inside. They do have a big need.
There's
interior
no way
defense.
Michigan. There's no way Detroit doesn't take a Michigan boy. There's no way they don't.
Yeah, it's got to be Hutchinson. It says the pick is in. Anyone
The
Fast.
tweets?
pick is in. We knew it was gonna come quickly. It's got to be Hutchinson. That's the only thing.
If it's not
I can see
Hutchinson,
happening.
then this pick wouldn't have come this fast.
Yeah, I think it has to be Hutchinson. I think if it were anyone else, if it were anyone else, they probably would have been shopping this pick around a little bit more.
Unless it's Malik Willis.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the only
unless
other way
it's
it's-
quarterback.
It's going fast. I think it'll be Hutchinson, but that's the only other
Yeah,
guy I can
I
see
think Hutchinson.
here as well.
I gave it like 80% Hutchinson, 20%.
Jeez, did Mel Kiper gain weight? Holy crap, he looks bad. got like a bigger.
But he's
neck.
at home. It might be his camera. He's at home.
Mel Kiper slander.
Yeah. As is. you
No,
know,
he
you
looks
said
like he's just
camera has
aging.
like,
He doesn't look. He's fine. I'll Kuiper's.
All right. I just, we are rivals with Mel Kiper here at the Master Plan. We have a stream on draft night. He has a stream on draft night. So we try to. We're competitors.
Just want to say some cross-sport action. Sixers lead Toronto by 1 at the half. Shutout Chris Boucher, who has 19 points, leading the whole game at halftime.
Let's go Toronto, baby! Come on.
That'd be a fun game 7. That'd be a fun game 7. But back to the draft. Who's going here?
Is Charles Barkley? Is that Charles Barkley? No, it's not Charles Barkley. This is Boogie.
Boogie.
This is Boogie.
I'm seeing some
why is Boogie
Twitter rumors that it is going to be Hutch. Boogie's always here. He's the ESPN analyst. He's the on-field analyst. Of course, they're going to stick him on the draft.
Why is he allowed to do draft analysis? I mean,
he does Monday Night Football and draft analysis. That is a lot.
That's a lot for.
I don't think he actually does draft analysis. I think he just shows up on draft day.
This guy is an edge rusher out of Michigan.
He shows up on draft day. So, guys, what do you think about Kenny Pickett at 4? I think that's a good one. So yeah,
no, he's just saying the most obvious stuff. He's like
Louis Riddick is there as well, and of course Mike Greenberg as well. ESPN.
If the Lions take Aiden Hutchinson, that means they really liked him here.
They picked him.
Is it official?
Official. You just said it.
It's official.
Aiden
they picked the hometown kid.
It's a hometown kid. Aiden Hutchinson.
See, if I was Chad Holmes, I would have had the piece of paper folded, Kayvon Thibodeau, no matter what. The better prospect. I feel like he fits better on their team too.
I mean, I could see why you
on the
like
Lions
Thibodeau over Hutchinson, but I feel like Hutchinson is a little more NFL ready and a little.
Do you need NFL ready? You're the Detroit Lions.
The Lions are rebuilding.
I don't know. I think if you don't pick Hutchinson, though, you're alienating a big.
That just shows how bad the Jaguars pick was. That they took about 5 seconds to put the pick in because everyone knew he was clear number 1.
Yeah.
Hometown kid. It's a good story.
A Heisman candidate.
It's a great. No, it's a fantastic.
Quarterback, and he was a Heisman candidate. That just shows how good a prospect he was.
He is fantastic. Now up next we have the Houston Texans. Rumored to take Derek Stingley. Connor and I are both 2 for 2.
I don't have Stingley.
We'll end here.
You and Andrew have Stingley.
I got the Hutchinson, not the Walker.
I have Icky. Here.
You have Ikwonu. I have Stingley. So
I think you don't go. If I'm the Texans, here's my thought process. I can move Titus Howard either inside or out. I'm taking Icky here. Not Titus Howard, but I can play around with my line. Who knows if Laramie Tunsil's going to stick? But I can still move Titus Howard to guard and play Icky on the outside. But I'm thinking Sauce isn't off the board, and probably 90% of these teams have Sauce as their number 1 corner. And they want to trade back into the top 10. They're willing to give up a second to trade back in. Why take Stingley here when I can wait until Sauce goes and then maybe trade back up and get the guy I want? That's just kind of my thought process and why I took Icky. But I could see him just saying, that's the guy we want. He's a cornerstone of our secondary and just going for him.
I think they take Stingley, man. I think that's what ends up happening here.
Yeah.
I have them ending up with Stingley. I just have it not at this pick.
Here's the one pick. I don't say this often. This is the one pick where I both think it should be and think it will be Derek Stingley Jr. Because the Texans, they've been looking that they really need that number 1, that true reliable number 1 corner, and I think Stingley has the potential to be that, and I think they see that in Stingley.
But do you need to take him this early? A lot of teams have him ranked probably like 10th on their big board. Picks in.
He's gonna go. If he doesn't go here, he'll go in the top 10.
Yeah, but they're looking to trade back into the top 10. Why not just wait until Sauce goes? That was my kind of full reasoning behind not picking him here. Like, yeah, I think I can get him later.
Sauce. I could see Sauce here.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
about to find out, folks. I
You
mean,
want me to
this.
Quite honestly,
want me to spoil it, Michael?
I don't see anything besides a corner.
Okay. It says, according to Ari Myrov and JPA Football Stingley.
Derek Stingley. That makes
Derek
sense. I like
Stingley
the
Jr.
pick. He's a great
That is not a
prospect.
I think
surprise
it's a
to
good
me.
pick.
I love
And
the
it just-
pick. I
it
just think
makes
he could have
sense.
got him later. Now I wonder
I
who.
like
I-
that better
listen,
than a Hutchinson.
Connor,
I don't
I'm
see any
with
flaw.
you there. But I'm not. Listen, my mock draft is not what I think these teams should do.
Now,
It's what I think these teams are gonna do.
the Jets are more interesting than I
It's an
think.
A pick in my book.
This is so far. Now this has been the most interesting pick right now. Is 4 with the Jets here.
Right, because I feel like they could
I
go
have Thibodeau
Thibodeau,
here.
Yeah,
but they also could go Aquanu.
they also could go Sauce.
Yeah, they could.
If you're
Or
trading,
they could go
mine-
for Jermaine Johnson, like the
they
rumors are
could
saying.
they could go Jermaine Johnson because they love
I
the
don't
kid.
think it's gonna happen
Now,
because I
now,
don't really
okay.
buy those.
okay,
but
but
it
I
could
have.
happen.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't really buy the Jermaine Johnson rumors. I mean, it could happen, but I don't really buy it. I'm thinking it's gonna be Thibodeau here. It's. I think the Jets are probably in bigger need of an. There's not many teams that really need an edge in this class, but there's so many good ones, and the Jets are one of the few teams that actually do. So I think it would be foolish not to take an edge rusher here, even
You
with
know,
Sauce Gardner
listen,
on the board.
I hear what you're saying, Andrew. I do. But based off of the reporting that I've heard today about Mekhi Becton's weight, I cannot see them
Okay,
not taking
that report
especially given how
was from last season. He was
Becton-
over
the
400.
hate on Becton has to stop.
Mackay
It's-
Becton
it
is
was one
6'6".
bad season.
400's
bad
not a
season.
lot. 400's not crazy
don't
for
know.
6'6" lineman.
He is a physical freak. That is why he's in the league. He doesn't need to be skinny.
It'd be
I don't know,
so
I feel like-
stupid. I think it might happen, but I think it'd be so stupid to pick a tackle to replace your 2-year tackle who is an absolute freak.
Yeah,
of a
I
player?
mean, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Aquanu doesn't go here. I could see Thibodeau
Yeah.
as well, though. I
Here's
could
the
see
other
Thibodeau.
thing in play, though. Could we see a draft day trade for Debo Samuel right now?
I had him. I
No.
had the trade at 10. I had that in my mock. Is
Yeah, I
Was
don't
pick
think
10.
it's happening. I don't think the Jets should do it. I think they need defense more than a wide receiver. That's my opinion. I don't think
It's
Samuel
official.
is a smart move for them, but-
Derek Stingley is a Houston Texan.
what's with
That's-
What's with
that's-
Rappaport this year? Rappaport's not doing early picks.
It's early.
No, but
A
like
parody account is
before
doing
he
better.
announces it, he's doing it as Goodell announces it.
You know, I think they probably told him not to do
It's
it.
because he's with NFL.com now. It's because he's not
Right.
ESPN no more. He's probably not allowed to. I'm surprised
I don't
Sheffy's
even-
not.
Was Rappaport ever ESPN? I thought that was Sheffield.
I thought he was always NFL Network.
Was he always NFL Network?
Yeah, he was always NFL.
Derek Stingley at home.
But
His
neither is
mom is
Shefty
a
hasn't
fan.
tweeted. Shefty has not tweeted this draft. I don't know what's going
Maybe
on.
Shefty's
I mean, this is
off
good.
the job
If
site.
NFL like pays off all the media guys to not announce it, that makes the draft more fun.
I have to.
I mean,
agree.
whoever this new guy, who's the guy
Owie.
who's been getting the picks really early?
It's Owie. He used to be My
Ari
Sports
Mari.
Update on Twitter.
Ari is really getting ahead of
Ari's-
the game.
He's PFF.
very, very good.
He's PFF.
PFF has got a good one.
Owie used to.
PFF has got.
Owie came out. He would just literally tweet exactly what like all the reporters said, and then somehow he eventually got picked up by PFF. He used to be like My Sports Update and had like a red NFL logo as his Twitter for a good like 3 years now. I've been following him the whole time. I was like actually going.
So Derek Stingley goes at 3. 1, 2, and 3 off the board at this moment. Walker, Hutchinson, Stingley.
I
And
would
so far, we
expect it.
haven't seen any draft day craziness.
All
This
the
is where
The
it should
Jets
start.
are.
all the
There's
league.
a long way to go.
Like, honestly, there's so many guys who I could see here. I could see like Wanu or Neal. I could see Sauce. I could see Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson. There's a lot of options here for the Jets.
I think
Could-
their best options are between Aquanu and Thibodeau.
Yeah,
You gotta pick
Thibodeau is who I'd pick.
I'd
if
pick
was the
Thibodeau
Jets.
too. I think they're gonna go Sauce.
And like honestly, I could see it happening, so that's what I had in my mock draft. So, but I mean, it's not a guarantee.
And ESPN goes to a commercial break. Luckily for all you guys, we do not do commercial breaks here at the Master Plan. And
Yeah, we're the
no, it's not
NFL Red
because
Zone Draft Day edition.
no, it's not because we couldn't get any commercials. It's because we choose not to have them. Let me make that very clear. um, but yeah, I honestly think that this Jets pick is going to be crucial to how the Carolina pick and the Giants picks go.
This
'Cause
could.
this is really going to set the stage. If they take
This
Sauce,
is gonna change the course of the draft.
yeah, and who knows what's going to happen. We're waiting for that pick to kind of break the mold so far. None of them
Yeah.
have yet. This could be the one.
Yeah, I mean
This could be the one.
Jacksonville was the pick I was in my mock draft. It was a bombshell at one that caused a ripple effect. But in the real deal, the Jaguars did what they were expected to do. They took Travon Walker, so now this pick has a lot more momentum
Every-
to change the course.
Every
of the draft.
pick has been the expected pick, the like highest odds pick.
Yeah, if you told me that top three, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
I think the odds
not either.
here at 4
Yeah, I
were.
was banking on my Ekwonu pick being right, but
I believe
quite honestly,
Hutchinson.
I thought Walker was pretty likely there.
I believe Hutchinson was the odds-on favorite here. Hutchinson followed by Jermaine Johnson, followed by Ekwonu for the Jets. Now Hutchinson's obviously off the
gone, so
board,
that's-
but I think then it'd be. I think they were all plus 400, and Jermaine Johnson, Ika Ekwonu, and Sauce Gardner, and then Thibodeau was like plus 500 behind it. I put money on Thibodeau here at 4. But I'd love to see that happen. But
The Jets are definitely taking a good amount of time. They are
Picks in.
7. And just as I start talking about the time, the pick is in. Connor,
This draft
final.
is starting to speed up. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, no, I think this is.
it's
a
faster
draft.
than prior. It's faster than prior years for sure.
I like that personally.
Sauce
I don't
Gardner.
Yeah,
think
it
it's
started really slow for Jackson.
From Connor Hughes, the Jets have selected Sauce Gardner.
Who said that?
Yep,
Connor
according
Hughes.
to JPA football, the Jets are drafting Sauce Gardner at 4, and that is a.
He's the
huge-
Jets' athletic
Sauce
guy.
Gardner. Interesting.
Wow.
We
The
had
Giants
two
would have taken
corners
him.
in a row.
The Giants would have taken him if he was on the board at 5. I
Oh,
get
wait,
that.
he said-
It makes
don't know.
sense. I guess the
Now
I thought
you got-
Thibodeau. I honestly thought that Thibodeau rumors were just smoke screen, and they were gonna take
I
him.
mean,
So now,
Honest,
It's
I
gotta
do
be a
not
lock.
mind this pick at 4. Like,
Ekwon's got to go 5 now, then, doesn't he?
yeah, either him. I mean, maybe the Giants like Evan Neal more. Who knows?
They could like Thibodeau too, and they could say, "Hey, one of those top tackles or in Ekwonu is gonna be there at 7. We can get Thibodeau
I
here
think
without
it's
someone
gotta
trading
be
up."
Neal or Ekwonu
Yeah.
here. Would
Most
be
likely.
Let's talk
kinda-
about Sauce Gardner. So, reasoning behind the Jets taking Sauce Gardner here, I mean, that wasn't really too much
This-
in many people's mouths. I mean, it definitely was a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I did hear it around. I actually had Gardner falling to 10, and the Jets taking him there. That was just
'Cause
Connor,
Stingley
what are
went
your
off so
thoughts on
fast.
this pick?
They didn't want to risk it falling.
Hmm.
yeah.
They definitely
Yeah, this
don't
corner
need
class is
edge.
Pretty strong.
They
We
need
still have Booth and McDuffie, who are gonna go later in this round, most likely.
Booth McDuffie,
Probably
maybe
some others.
maybe Alam out of Florida. Definitely possibility.
Yeah, and I could also see maybe Kyler Gordon or McCreary.
Jalen Petrie.
Petrie's
He's a safety.
I'm not
Daxton-
Oh,
calling-
is he a safety? Never mind.
Daxton Hall could be a cornerback. Some people have him rated as a cornerback, some
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
safety.
that's boredom. I'm hearing that he might play slot corner, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think this is a pick that the Jets fans will be happy about, though. I mean, this is a very good
No, I
pick.
mean-
He's gonna be a great talent.
They
Yeah,
100%.
I like the pick.
They-
I mean, my only complaint is I think they would have been better off with Thibodeau, but beyond
They-
that, really good pick. They get their number 1 corner of the future,
Yeah.
and he's a great fit here. I never had a problem with Sauce to the Jets. It's really a matter of who else is on the board.
If they can get
Exactly.
Jermaine Johnson at 10, then I think it's really great out of
That
them.
would be nice. For them.
But yeah, I mean, cornerback's definitely a bigger need than edges. I mean, they
They
still
went for
have.
the need
I
here.
agree.
I think that's fair considering how many good edge rushers are in this class. There's gonna be one there for them at 10.
Yeah, for sure. And even in the second round, you
Good one.
have a deep edge rankings with like Ajabo projecting to be top of the second round, Karloftis projected to dropping, just a bunch of guys
Interesting.
possibility.
Because I kind of built my draft around the teams needing an edge, taking an edge.
Yeah.
But really, it might be the opposite. A game of the teams who really need an edge waiting because they're thinking that a lot of teams are going to pass on an edge rusher with like not many teams that need one. They're
Sauce
gonna
Gardner
go, I think, later than
announced
people. expect.
officially by Commissioner Roger Goodell. It is official.
The Giants-
Second time in draft history, 4 defensive players will have been selected with the first 4 overall picks. When is the offense gonna come, Connor? Will it come here?
Probably not. Actually, O-line. Yeah. I mean,
line. But skill players, we gotta wait on that.
the thing is, the Giants were so high on Neal, they were praying that he'd get down to him at 5, and now everyone's concerned about Neal's health. Giants didn't have too much on Aquanu. They liked Cross. I heard they liked Cross, but it sounded like that the guy was
Cross has been
Neal.
rumored to be up there with
I think-
Neal and
I
Aquan-
do.
I think
have,
Cross goes 6 if Ecom goes here, unless
I
the
have
Panthers
Cross
trade.
going here in my mock. Of course, that was because Ikem Ekwonu went 4. However, this is gonna be very interesting right now. I mean, I think that the Giants. I mean, again, Thibodeau.
I think
Right now,
if
any
you're the
team-
Giants here, you take line just because you get the lineman of your choice. But I could see him saying, "Hey, someone might trade up to 6 to get Thibodeau." Watch out for the Cowboys coming up
That's
pretty
what I was
soon.
about to say.
Watch
The
out
Cowboys are a team that would make a trade.
to get Thibodeau. It's the
Get up
same
to
thing with Micah Parsons last year. Would you let Micah Parsons drop to 13 again because of character issues if you're redrafting that class? No, he was a top 4 talent the entire year. Everyone had him top 4, and then the combine comes around and there's rumors about his character. He drops to 13. It's just stupidity.
And we know the most important thing. Jerry Jones does not care about character, right? He cares about the product on the field, and for good and bad, that's what it is. Again, the Giants are on the clock. Colin Cowherd tweeted out that New York Jets just selected the best player in the draft at number 4. Very interesting take from him.
Colin Cowherd,
Very.
I saw Colin Cowherd rank like 2 days ago that he had Joel Embiid on his top 5 under 25 in the NBA. So I can't trust a
And
word that guy says.
He probably didn't even do that, right? His producers probably gave
He
him
put a
that. They're like,
29-year-old in his top 5 under 25, plus a 26-year-old, plus a 28-year-old. He had 2 guys under
It was
25.
like no wonder Jason Tatum isn't number 1. He's not. He's competing against guys who are way older than him. The Giants with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. As I said, Roger Goodell will not be announcing this pick. It will be
Kid that I forgot his name.
Yeah,
A
the
kid.
Make-A-Wish kid.
Let me just go to the Giants. Let me get his name. Let me get his name. In the meantime,
Prince.
Sam Prince. That's right. He is on Twitter, so go follow him. I think he has a podcast as well. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think he does. I know he's in that sphere. But I mean, this is going to be a big pick for the Giants. I mean, the Giants are one of those teams that has screwed up a lot of picks in the past, haven't they? And
So-
the pick is in. Connor, please don't spoil it for me. Let me spoil this one.
The last time the NFL draft opened with 4 defensive picks was 1991.
When was the last time they opened up with 5? Just curious, because
Let me see if 1991 had 5.
it is
before
official
that-
according to Albert Breer, JPA Football, and I'm sure Ari Myrov.
Oh, they actually had 6. Top 6 were off on defense in that draft.
The Giants are taking Oregon defensive end
Yeah.
Vaughn
I like
Thibodeau,
it.
and this is
That's-
great too.
Just
Best
saying,
player
and I'm
available.
saying, I was not
It's a great
expecting
pick.
this one.
I think they're thinking, like, at 7, we get the lineman. We still get one of the top 3 linemen.
So
So
get
let's make
Cross,
sure-
who
Neal,
you're probably gonna get
they're
anyways.
guaranteed one of those 3. They're guaranteed a choice of 2 of
Yeah.
those 3.
And
They
that's
might even
perfect.
have all 3 there if the Panthers go QB like I've been talking.
Or if the Panthers trade with somebody,
Yeah.
who knows what could happen.
Yeah, definitely.
5 defensive players. Kayvon Thibodeau, he fell a little bit. I had him going at 7 to the Giants. He goes at 5. Fantastic, though. I mean, this is a really, really good pick. Let's see what Booger's saying.
They picked Kayvon Thibodeau. He is a defensive end named Kayvon Thibodeau. That's some booger analysis.
You know, Kayvon Thibodeau, he's from Oregon. That means he's from Oregon. And, you know, he's gonna go to New York, which means he's gonna be in the Big Apple. And you know, you gotta eat an apple a day to say keep the doctor away, so he's gonna keep that doctor. That's
Oh my god, this kid's
booger analysis
screaming.
right there.
Love it. Get hyped,
is it
Sam.
really?
I mean, it's a thing of the most surprising thing in this draft is no linemen. Because this is a draft where some mocks had 3 linemen go in the top 5, had all 3 go in the top 5, and now you don't even have one off the board yet. It is probably the craziest part. It's not that a QB hasn't gone; that was kind of expected. All this stuff, but just them not having a lineman is crazy. In these top 5 picks, especially with a couple of really lineman needy teams and rumored lineman teams.
Right, no, that's what we thought. We thought, hey, one of these teams is gonna pick a lineman, and none of them did.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if we
And I
start
gotta
seeing
say-
trade ups for some of these teams to get up to get like the Chargers. You got 3 linemen still going. They can trade up to 8 and still get a top lineman.
Right.
That'd
And
be
you still have
crazy for
Penning
them.
on the board. You still have Penning on the board, right? So like, they got players.
Yeah, Trevor
Now,
Penning.
Sam Prince, I'll tell you what.
I
He
think
said
it's
yesterday.
not far off.
Go
from
ahead,
this.
Andrew.
Penning, I don't think is that far off from these top 3. He could be a mid-first round pick.
There was some worries about him falling, attitude issues and everything. But the Panthers apparently really like him, but they're not picking him here, unless they trade down.
There you go.
What was the pick,
Sam Prince,
Michael?
he said yesterday, Sam Prince said yesterday to the GM of the Giants, don't mess it up. And I have to say, he definitely did not mess it up. Kayvon Thibodeau, great pick. Absolutely the right pick to make at this stage in the draft. Based on the way the draft is going.
I'm honestly not as huge on this pick as you two are. Really, it's the best available. I think he's a great player. My issue with it is I don't think he's going to get as much opportunity in New York as he'd get in other places. I just don't think they had a huge need for an edge rusher. They could have easily taken care of their offensive line situation here.
Yeah,
I know they're going to be able to take care of it at 7, but they also could have used that other pick to continue to build on this defense in other ways that would support the team.
Yeah, but how are they going to build on the defense? Because both cornerbacks were gone, so they couldn't take Sauce or Stingley.
I'd say, honestly, I had them trading down with that next pick. I had them trading down and.
Yeah, but you're not going to trade down.
Let me just run something by you, because the reason you're saying he's not going to get as much opportunity is because they have Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, right?
Yeah, and they also have a couple other edge guys in the mix.
But very easily, I'd say, like who's their starting nose tackle now? Like Justin Ellis.
Let's see.
Very easily you can.
Yeah, so at D-line, you have Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence. Isn't Thibodeau more of an edge guy?
Yeah, but you can. Dexter Lawrence is a prototypical nose tackle, very much, so, especially coming out of the draft.
They're going to be rotating Thibodeau in with Ojulari, Quincy Roche, O'Shane Zameen. They have a lot of young talent in this edge rushing here. I just don't see him getting as much opportunity.
Connor, you see this kid? Sam Prince is hype on the stage. Oh my goodness. Hey, I would be too if I got to go to the draft and announce the 5th overall pick. You gotta make your wish count, literally and figuratively.
Okay, Quincy Roche was off the waiver wire, wasn't he? The Pittsburgh Steelers cut him.
Yeah, true, but
so
he was able to start late in the year.
What do we think?
I don't know. I think the talent of Thibodeau gets him. gets him a
Is
lot of.
Carolina shopping this pick? What do we think?
They're obviously shopping it, but I think with the opportunity to have one of those top linemen, and that's what they wanted, is the top lineman.
mean-
I think they pick who they want, but they very well could be trying to trade out.
I'm giving the Thibodeau pick maybe a B. It's not an awful pick. I think he's the best player on the board, so that's definitely something. I just don't
Nah, you gotta
see
give it an
argument
A.
for an edge
There's
over
no
an
one
O-line.
else you could have picked. There's
You
legit.
could have picked Ekwonu or Neal. You could have secured
Yeah, but you're gonna
the
get
top,
one
the
of those
top
two
lineman
guys
on
at
your
7.
board.
They're gonna get one of those two guys at 7.
Yeah, they
so
could
it's-
probably still. It's a nice strategy. I do like the strategy of waiting on the O line till 7. It's just I can never really get behind a pick that is at a position where there's like a true best player
Listen,
available.
I
can't get behind that in the
I
first
disagree with you. I always say pick best player available. You can't go wrong with best player available unless it's like a QB and you already have a long-term
Yeah,
QB. I say go best player available. You get kind of a guy that you know he's going to do well if he's the best player available, and you can kind of plug and play on different spots. I mean, it's what the Buccaneers did last year. Did anyone think they needed an edge rusher last year? They had everyone under contract. No, and then this kid Tryon Shoyinka comes in and he plays like a higher snap count than their starting nose tackle by
mean,
rotating in on the edge and played really
still
well.
didn't play as much as other first rounders. He still did not get the playing time that first rounders typically get. That's
Again,
what's
I
going to
just
happen
think
with Thibodeau. If they wanted, I mean,
You don't need a draft.
really, like, it's honestly
Yeah, but
better on
you
the
don't need
Giants end than it is
I
on
don't know. I just
Thibodeau's.
don't think you need. I don't think you need to draft a guy who's gonna play every snap for your team.
You don't
It's
have to.
not-
He's gonna be on. He's under
Honestly,
your
it's
team
better
for
on the
5
Giants
years.
end than it is on Thibodeau's end.
You
Because
have
for
him locked.
Thibodeau, he's in another spot
By the way, the
another spot
Panthers are
gets a
picking.
chance to compete for defensive player of the year.
Don't
I don't
say,
see that
Connor.
happening.
Let me see it, and then you can say.
Have you seen it?
Okay, I've seen it. Now you
The
can announce it.
Panthers are picking Ikamfenu Iki Ekwonu, O tackle out of NC State
Interesting.
at number
Okay.
6.
Interesting.
Okay.
I like that. I mean, it's kind of tough, like, because I do think quarterback is a bigger need. I don't really trust Sam Darnold. But you can't go wrong with
Ah.
some protection for him.
But you can get a quarterback late. Are any of these top 5 quarterbacks better than each other that you can probably get with 2 of them still there in the second round? I'm not
I
picking
do think
Malik
Pickett
Willis here. I'm
stands
not
out from the
picking Kenny
crowd.
Pickett.
That's the one thing I'll say.
I think line's great. I mean, you can run with Darnold. If you're bad, you pick a guy top next year. But you have good running
I mean,
backs.
it's definitely a need for Carolina, and I mean, Ekwonu was in the conversation probably in a lot of these previous picks. He wasn't gonna make it much further.
Also, aren't they big on Baker here? Don't the Panthers
I just
like
I
don't know
did
Baker?
why-
hear that. I could see them trading for Baker. At
I
this
mean,
point, so
their
they just need to
biggest
get
weakness was their line. Their line is terrible. Easily one of
Yeah,
the worst
it
in the
is.
league.
definitely
I just don't get why you would try to solve your quarterback problem with Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Like those are not guys who I'd say, hey,
Is there anybody
he's
on the
gonna solve
market
it.
who's a surefire bet?
You got
So,
Kyler
yeah,
Murray and
sure.
Lamar Jackson in free agency next year.
I say if you don't have a QB right now, I'm sorry to say, I mean, maybe
Yeah, but
Baker
Carolina, what they weren't gonna compete.
Maybe
any-
Baker Mayfield, but if
Th-
you don't
this
have
is-
a good quarterback right now, I'm sorry. Wait till next year. You're not
This is
gonna
what I'm saying the Lions should do is stack up their team. So you go into next offseason, teams without a quarterback should do this. If you can solidify this line if you're the Panthers, the Lions have the best line in the league right now. That draws
Quarterback is
a
in
decent
quarterbacks.
Yes.
You got Lamar
Because
Jackson in
quarterback,
free
you have
agency
Bryce
next
Young.
year.
You have CJ Stroud. Those are better quarterbacks than anybody on the market right now.
No, I think it's senseless to pick a quarterback early here, and especially when none of them are going to be surefire like good picks. It could be average, maybe.
Malik Willis is not going to be a starter in this league. Let me tell you right now. Malik Willis will not be a starter in this league.
I like the Ekwonu pick, but it's just similar to me. It's similar to the Sauce Gardner pick, where I liked it, but I'm just thinking about what could have been if they had taken Kenny Pickett here. I do think he has potential to at least be like. It's not like
Yeah, but
he's
why
a
are you
standout
taking
guy.
Kenny Pickett at 6? You could get Kenny Pickett at 20 if
With
you want.
this offense,
People
it's
do
really
not like
just-
Kenny Pickett. Teams hate quarterbacks with small hands. He's got to drop.
Put it this way. Put it this way. Panthers have Christian McCaffrey. They have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. They have a stacked offense. As soon as they get at least a serviceable quarterback in here, someone besides Sam Darnold, they could be a playoff team. But until then, I don't see it.
You're not
I
a
don't
playoff
like-
team anyways.
They're not. They're in one of the worst divisions of football, but they're gonna get beat up by the
What
Bucks.
what rookie quarterback is going to come in with the worst O line in football and do half
I
decent?
don't know. I don't know if it's very rare, but I
None.
think Pickett's more NFL ready than some of these other quarterbacks.
I agree with
but
you,
he's
but I'm not picking him here. Kenny Pickett would get ripped alive. He takes so much time. Cincinnati's had such a good line since he's been there. He's going to get ripped apart with that awful line. He's not going to look good. He's going to look like Kyler Murray year one, where he gets sacked 40 times.
Pick is in
He's going to look like Josh Rosen out there.
I
Where he
like
gets
the
sacked to
Aquan
hell and
pick.
back and doesn't have a job in 2 years.
I don't think that you like. Why would you? I just don't understand the logic behind picking any quarterback this early. None of them have shown me.
I
anything
understand
like
the
Zach
logic,
Wilson.
but there's not a good enough quarterback for me to do that. I think Kenny Pickett would
Right,
be a
that's
good
true.
player.
'Cause I
in
think
this league.
There's more quarterback needy teams this year than there were last year.
I
And there's
agree.
Such a big drop off from last class to this class, so it creates kind of a complicated situation. There's such an imbalance this year between what teams need
Right,
and
but
what's
that's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
board.
Like, is Kenny Pickett like that much better than Desmond Ritter? Like, or Sam Howell? Like, maybe.
I think
but-
so.
You
But
think
that's
so?
where we
Is he
disagree.
significantly better? Is he a guy who you're
I
saying,
don't
this
think
guy-
I don't know if he's that much better than Sam Howell. I'm high on Sam Howell. I'm not a big Desmond Ritter guy. I hate Malik Willis. This guy threw it for under 50% on passes under 20 yards. That's horrible. Horrible.
Again,
but-
there's no sense in picking a quarterback if you're the Carolina Panthers when you have no offensive line. You're not going anywhere as a team like that. It's just like you gotta pick an offensive lineman. If you want to pick a quarterback later on, pick Sam Howell in the second round. Like he will fall to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I don't know.
I think it's the right pick. I think you can trade back into the. You have draft capital over the next 2 years. You can trade back in and get one of these guys in the late 20s.
Exactly. You can trade back into the first round. Like it's
I agree with you that Kenny Pickett's going to be a good quarterback, but I don't think he'd be good on this Carolina team without a line. I think think
Yep.
any of these QBs, maybe not Ritter because he's used to just going out of the pocket first before running, but I think any of these teams would
Yep.
get killed.
And just like that, the Giants are back on the clock. They did well with their
Gotta be
first
linemen.
overall pick. Honestly, Connor, I think no team has made a mistake so far in their first 6 picks. I think every team has
The
made-
Jaguars.
Oh,
Discount
that's right. I'm
discount the
sorry.
Jaguars pick when you
Just
grade
got that
pick.
because I was just thinking like, oh, every team's done what I thought they were gonna do, and I just
Pick is
completely
in.
forgot. The pick is in. All right,
Gotta be linemen.
Connor.
Gotta
All
be.
right, let's announce it on 3, Connor.
I think
Wait,
I haven't seen
I
it
don't
yet.
see- All right, I see it,
Go for
and
it.
it is a lineman.
It's got to be Cross, right?
Ooh.
It is, according to JPA Football, it is not Cross.
It's Neil? They
They're
picked
gonna
Neil?
go
It's gotta be Neil. It's gotta be Neil.
Ooh.
Evan Neal. Albert Breer officially announces the Giants are selecting Evan Neal at 7, and I think the Giants really dodged the smoke screen here. I don't think there's as many issues with Neal
Oh,
as
they
I
had a-
thought.
Great draft. Really good draft of the Giants.
Giants,
I like
For the
Cross
first
over
time.
Neil, but
you can't go wrong though. I don't think.
That's what
I
I'll
think
say.
Oh,
This
Andrew.
pick right here makes the Kayvon Thibodeau pick look all the more better. Like I was not, I compared to you guys, I wasn't as high on the Thibodeau pick, but if you put this first round together for the Giants, it's a
It's perfect.
home run
You
first
can't-
round.
and
can't
another
go
thing
wrong.
with
Neil at
Neil is
7, in my mind, is a steal. He's the best. I think they were still able to get the best lineman on the board, in my opinion,
yeah.
even though they didn't take him over Carolina.
The thing with Neil for me is he can play left tackle, right tackle, left guard. I think he played all of those positions. While Cross is more of a strict right tackle there. and probably better at that sole position. But you have a lot of room to move Neal around.
Yeah.
Assuming you're keeping Andrew Thomas at left tackle, that's why I kind of liked Cross to just immediately slot into right tackle. But having kind of like ability to move guys around, you got what's his name? Glowinski, I think, is the guy they have. Who's not incredible. They picked him. He's old. He's the guy with the huge beard. I think his name's Glowinski, but he's playing the right guard, so you can slot Neal in there if you want to. You can keep him over at right tackle. There's a lot of possibilities for him. But I think Giants so far winners of the draft. They've got to be.
Absolutely the winners of the draft.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Because first of all, I mean, it's hard not to be the winner. If you're blowing the draft, if you're the only team with 2 picks so far and you're not the winner of the draft, that's a problem.
But I could have seen them going.
The Giants did well enough with these 2 picks to be considered the winners so far.
Falcons should be interesting here.
Yeah, so Atlanta, I have them taking Jermaine Johnson. Connor, you have a trade up with the Texans. And Andrew, who do you have going here at 8? Do you have the Falcons taking, or do you have someone else?
He has the Falcons taking Wilson.
I have the Falcon. I originally had the Falcons taking Garrett Wilson, and I'm just comparing my mock to what's happened so far. I think the only guy that I didn't have that I had going top 7 that didn't go top 7 is Pickett. So I'm still sticking with my prediction that it'll be Garrett Wilson to the Atlanta Falcons right here.
I like Wilson here. The only reason I had that trade was I didn't think I thought the Texans would trade back up to get
Stingley's gone.
But
Sauce is gone. There's not really much of an incentive for the Texans to trade up.
Yeah.
I think a receiver will fall to them at 13.
I agree.
They could like a receiver over another. The Falcons really like Garrett Wilson.
The Falcons aren't going to move out of this pick.
No.
But do you think they're going to
take
Jermaine
receiver?
Johnson?
Why would they trade down for a worse receiver? I mean,
they're not.
More draft.
But the question is are they going to take a receiver? I mean,
I think it's between Garrett Wilson, who'd be a great pick for them. They're very receiver needy, but this is a deep receiver class. And the other one has to be Jermaine Johnson. They've been the highest team on him. Get a kind of edge guy. They're shopping Grady Jarrett.
I think
one pick that I could see being a surprise here that not many people are talking about. I still think it's Wilson, but if it wasn't Wilson, I could see Kyle Hamilton here. I think the Falcons could use another safety. Hamilton is the best safety prospect that's been out there in a while, and I have him going in the teens, but I don't think it's crazy to take him at 8.
It's crazy how people are saying this is a Giants draft masterclass when they literally picked what they should have done. They didn't do anything crazy. They did what they should have done.
The only thing I'll say is pulling off, knowing that Neal was going to fall to 7. I think that's what makes it smarter.
But they didn't know Neal was going to fall to 7. They were at 5. They picked Thibodeau, and they were like, well, it's Ekwonu or Neal, and we'll take whoever they don't pick.
Well, maybe they knew something about how Carolina felt about.
They absolutely
how they felt about Neal. Who knows?
They absolutely knew something, and they were willing to just say you can take whoever, and we'll stick with whoever you don't take.
Yeah,
but that being said, Atlanta here's definitely got a tricky pick. They have a lot of players they could go with. Again, I gotta say, Jermaine Johnson's definitely the pick here, in my opinion.
I'll say the biggest losers of the draft so far have got to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. As much as people were saying Walker's going to go 1, was it really a good pick? I'm not really feeling it.
I think that Walker, we'll see what ends up happening. Maybe Balky knows something that we all don't.
No, he doesn't. He definitely doesn't. I'll tell you right now, he does not. There's one guy in the league that knows nothing. It's Balky.
Yeah. And the Falcons pick is in.
Terrible.
The pick is in for the Atlanta Falcons. And who are they going to take? My feed is all cluttered up. Connor, do not announce it just yet.
I've not seen it yet. Oh,
Whoa.
oh,
Whoa.
wow,
Whoa. An
wow.
I
absolute
haven't seen it.
dynamite pick. And here we go, folks.
It's a wide
The
receiver.
draft has started. The first wide
Hate
receiver.
it.
Not Garrett Wilson. Not Jamison Williams. From USC, Drake London.
Drake London. That's
Drake-
an interesting
Wide
one.
receiver.
Drake the rapper just won about $500,000. By the way.
Yep.
He put 100K on Drake London to go top 10. And I'm like, does he
So
know
now the
something we don't?
The Falcons have a big wide receiver and a big tight end in Kyle Pitts.
They're the same guy. Kyle Pitts and Drake London are the same guy.
Drake
Both
London. I don't know if they're the same guy. Drake London, physical freak of nature, gonna be a huge outside wide receiver. I was very impressed by his tape, I'll say that. Even though Garrett Wilson put up better numbers throughout his college career, I think London has definitely showed a lot of potential, and I can see why the Falcons would like him over Garrett Wilson.
I mean, this is going to
Definitely
shake
an
up
argument.
things going forward, though. I mean, if you're in Seattle, the Jets, Commanders, and Vikings, you got to be loving this.
Seattle, I'm saying you go Charles Cross here.
At this point, probably, right? I mean, he's
Lineman's been their worst place for so long.
It has been, and they don't. Why are you
You're
gonna
gonna be
pick
bad
defense?
next year anyways. You don't need to go QB here.
Right. And why would you take Willis anyways here? Wow, folks. Wow. Put in the comments what you're thinking about the draft so far. Let's see the comment section light up, please, and thank you. I'll respond to them, I promise. As long as you actually ask questions. If you're just talking about whatever, I can't really control that. But Drake London, the first one, I mean, Connor, did we
I mean, you can compare him to another big, well-blocking tight end just picked in the first round a couple years ago. The great N'Keal Harry. Not late, but maybe late when he gets out of the league. I mean, are these guys one and the same? Are these guys like? Are they the two best receivers in the league? Drake London and N'Keal Harry? Maybe.
Falcons better hope not, because N'Keal Harry has not produced in any of his time here in the NFL.
No,
thus far.
but he really reminds me of
think
Mike
London's the
Evans,
next
the way he
N'Keal Harry.
plays. His film.
I understand they have similar traits, but
He does look a lot like Mike
N'Keal
Evans.
Harry was not in the top 10 discussion.
His film screams. His film screams Mike Evans to me.
Yeah,
But-
I see that. I see a lot of Mike Evans in him.
But imagine
It's
if you slot Kyle Pitts to the outside, slot him as a wide receiver. What two cornerbacks can cover that length on both edges?
I mean,
And by the way,
Byron Jones and
you have
Xavier
to have a
Howard, that's
big
the only ones
corner.
I can think of.
You have to have a bigger corner on Drake London. I mean, he's a big receiver. He's a lengthy guy, so you can't.
Yeah,
Guys,
and then if you can't, if you don't run Kyle Pitts and
borderline like a tight end. It's almost like you have two receiver tight end hybrids.
yeah, exactly. You have two versatile weapons here.
You have
Can
two of the
do
same
anything.
player. I mean,
Oh no, three versatile weapons. Cordero Patterson.
Yeah,
running back,
exactly.
receiver.
You got
Right.
This is,
I mean, you
this
put
is- and
Patterson
Marcus
in the
Mariota,
slot,
he's a
then
dual
put
threat
those two on the
quarterback. It's
outside.
a very versatile offense.
It's fun.
new era, new.
It's just
new
they have
era NFL.
just they have Marcus Mariota, who I don't
All
think is
versus
past
in
the
this
ball.
offense.
I
Matt
gotta
Ryan
say
wasn't
though,
fit.
I'm not sure if I love the pick. I think that there are better wide receivers on the board.
Though
I
I
think-
I was not even thinking this because there were so many reports of them liking Garrett Wilson, but I kind of like him across on the outside from Pitts. That's deadly. That's really deadly. There's no unless
like
you're trying to bring
that.
safety help on both. Then you open up the middle, and then when Calvin Ridley's back, you just have him roam around the
Or-
middle. What are you
or
doing against
I
that?
have Mariota running with the ball, right? 'cause
This is
he's a
another
mobile
one of those
quarterback.
picks. I put it on a similar level to the Ikwanu pick and the Hutchinson pick, and even the Ahmad Gardner pick. All those picks, I like them out of context when you don't think about the other guys on the board. Could they have done a little better? Yes, but it's gonna work out well for them. It's not like it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
They're not
It's not
playing.
like they're gonna be kicking themselves. Oh, I mean, the only reason they'd be kicking themselves is if Garrett Wilson ends up being like some Hall of Fame receiver and London's just an average number one.
That could happen. You never know.
Yeah, that could happen. I could definitely see that happening, but it won't be a matter of London's a bust. It'll be a matter of Wilson's
So
bad.
now,
That's
if you're the Jets here, right? Good case scenario, right? Because you're sitting at 10, you're gonna get Jermaine Johnson or Cross.
Could get Jermaine. There's a lot of Seattle Jermaine Johnson stuff, but usually
also
that's if
could get
Cross
Garrett
goes.
Wilson.
But yeah, you could get the receiver of your choice. You could still try to trade for Debo. You could get Jermaine Johnson on the edge and just have an absolutely stellar draft for your defense.
Right. I mean, Cross and Johnson. I mean, those are two good picks right there. I mean, you cannot go.
Apparently, the Jets really like Treylon Burks too, so they could trade back in and get him. Like, there's opportunities.
I mean, this is just. I mean, it's wild right now. I mean, I'm excited to seeing who the Vikings will pick. That's going to be an interesting one because again, new regime for them.
Seattle's on the clock.
I think it'll be Charles Cross. They're going down. There were rumors about them trading this pick. Yeah,
I think it's gotta be either Cross. I think it's between Cross and a quarterback.
I'm seeing Cross right now. I think they're sticking with Geno.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I have against the Cross pick, I do think O-line might even be a bigger need for them than quarterback.
Probably.
They still need their long-term Russell Wilson replacement. I mean, they could wait till next year, but I could see Pickett or Willis here. I would not be shocked.
I can't see a quarterback here. I don't think they're gonna take a quarterback at 9 with Pete Carroll. It's just not gonna happen.
Especially with one of those top tackles.
They got Russell Wilson later. So
pick is in. I haven't seen Michael. You seen it?
I heard they like Geno Smith.
They're gonna start Geno Smith. They're gonna start Geno somehow.
Over Luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe. Connor announce it for us.
I haven't seen it. Go for it.
With the 9th overall selection in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Charles Cross, offensive tackle.
Okay, I like that.
If they can really build their line, that's a place quarterbacks will want to go. Because you got one of the better receiving cores in the league.
That's an interesting question.
In just some brief other news, the Sixers are going to win the series against the Raptors. They're up 104-81 after they blew out the Raptors in the third quarter, 37-17.
The Raptors didn't score for a good 7 minutes. I was looking at them. Oh yeah, this is James Harden's going crazy.
There you have it, James Harden.
By the way, just want to note that now, what's his name? Kennedy. The referee becomes now 0-12 against teams that are trying to push a game 6. Oh.
Ooh, you mean a game 7?
Yeah, push a game 7 on game 6. Bill Kennedy. I like him. He was one of my favorite refs. But that's a tough stat for teams that want to go 7.
Yeah, you don't want him as your ref anymore. Unless you're the team that's up 3-2. But this is a good pick for Seattle. Charles Cross, they finally fixed that offensive line a little bit. You're not making a big splash in quarterback. I don't think any of these guys are significantly better than Drew Lock or Geno Smith. So, I mean, it makes sense to me. Charles Cross, very talented offensive lineman.
Yeah,
definitely fell a little bit. Great pick, in my opinion.
I'm still thinking about that Thibodeau pick because my initial reaction was not a huge fan. I'm talking to one of my friends who's a Giants fan. He's saying that this is the best claiming that this is the best first round he's ever seen.
For the Giants,
probably. It's growing on me. It's growing on me because even though Giants weren't necessarily desperate for an edge, they get a huge upgrade.
Giants are one of the worst first-round drafting teams.
Yeah, ever. Absolutely.
I mean, last year you got Tony.
This year's different.
Yeah,
this year is very different.
But last year you got Tony, and he's being rumored to trade. Year before you picked Andrew Thomas over Wirfs and Wells and these really good linemen. The year before that,
that's a great combo.
The year
It's a
before
great
that,
combo.
Dexter Lawrence, who's been good, but then you took DeAndre Baker, who's not even in the league, or maybe he's a fourth string for the Chiefs.
Baker was a criminal.
And then
issue.
in
That's
that draft,
not
you
fair.
also traded up for Danny Dimes, who's horrible. Then you picked
Oh,
Saquon
yeah.
at 2, Eli
But
Apple the
we'll
year
see.
before,
This is a
Evan
prove-it year.
Ingram.
This is a prove-it year for Daniel Jones. He has a new left tackle. Evan Neal will be his new blindside protector.
I mean,
And he has good receivers if they stay healthy. This is a make or break year for him.
the Giants have maybe 2 good drafts, first rounds, in the past 20 years. And that's Phillip
This is
Rivers,
one of them.
who didn't end up with them, and they traded him for
Eli
Eli Manning. And then the other one was OBJ. And nothing else was like a good draft that worked out for them. Now, Jason Pierre-Paul went and was good in other spots, and Eli Apple had some success elsewhere. Eric Flowers had some success elsewhere. But for them, they don't have they're not very good in the first round. And this looks like a good draft so far for.
Yeah, and now you get the Jets at 10. I mean, this is an interesting pick. You got Garrett Wilson still on the board, Jermaine Johnson still on the board. So you got a couple of guys who definitely are very talented players.
While we wait for
Who do
the
you think the Jets go with here?
Jermaine Johnson is my pick. I mean, if they valued him,
Go defense?
if they truly valued him over Thibodeau at 4, and now he's here at
I
10,
like Johnson here too.
I mean, who else do you go? Really? You could go receiver, obviously, but I don't think they necessarily. Corey Davis is fine. You drafted a guy in the first round last year. They have pieces. I don't think you need a receiver here, and that's why I lean Jermaine Johnson as a good piece for them. Could go Kyle Hamilton as well,
It could go
but
Kyle Hamilton.
you already got secondary in this draft. Do you need to double up on that? And they have decent.
They have decent safeties.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
you just signed Jordan Whitehead to a pretty big deal. I'll miss him. And then you drafted Ashton Davis like a year ago or whatever. But they're decent safeties.
Jordan Whitehead's hard hitting too. I mean, he's gonna make some noise right there.
And he placed him with goddamn Logan Ryan.
Hey, Logan Ryan's a goat. Not the greatest of all time. He's a goat, like a bad player.
What does that even mean? Oh,
Like he's-
trade. Jamal Adams.
trade.
Oh no, wait, never mind. Fuck. Never mind.
Connor, what are you?
I look up at the board and there's a trade. I'm like, oh, and then it shows the Jamal Adams trade from 2 years ago. I just looked up and it said it. I'm like, oh, they're clapping. Oh, the Jets are hyped. It's got to be Jermaine Johnson. The Jets are hyped.
It's gotta be. Oh no!
Yeah, I think it's Johnson.
Why would they
Connor,
show
I
the
would
trade
not-
like that? Did you see how they
Connor,
went?
I would not.
Oh,
It's
really?
not Jermaine Johnson.
That's terrible. That's
It's
so
not
bad.
Jermaine Johnson. According to Albert Breer and Ari Myrov, who have been
Garrett.
all over tonight, Garrett Wilson will be the
Ooh.
10th overall pick.
Ooh.
Why- You don't need. That's not a need for them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't understand why the Jets have been so desperate for a receiver.
Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, who you just drafted in the first round, Barrios, breakout season, Mims, who you just drafted 2 years ago. You just signed Conklin and Uzoma, some pretty decent sized deals. It's bad. I know they want to surround Wilson with weapons. I don't like that at all.
I don't hate it. I think that Garrett Wilson's the best receiver in the draft at 10. And I mean, listen, I think that giving Zach Wilson more help is never a bad idea.
But do you need to? Is it more help to him to have another wide receiver who you draft high, who would take a little time to develop? Which Garrett Wilson has a high ceiling, but he would not be he's not as NFL ready as a Jameson Williams is.
I think Garrett Wilson is the best receiver on the board, yes, but the Jets did not need him here. Jermaine Johnson was just as good a value. It's not like Garrett Wilson stands out as the best player on the board, and they didn't need him. So I'm not huge on this pick. I do think Wilson will have a successful career alongside quarterback Zach Wilson, but it doesn't mean
Not
that it
the
was necessarily the
Wilsons.
right move for the Jets.
I mean, you gotta think.
They should have continued to address the defense. That was a bigger concern.
Here's my thought process. They were trying to trade this pick for Debo. They're thinking, well, the Niners refuse to trade Debo. If Debo ends up not refusing to play, now he's still got a top receiver that they would want, that they would probably pick there that we can trade
that's
for
a
Debo.
fair thought process, but I don't really like the fact that they're going for Debo in the first place.
I agree, but they really want an elite receiver. I don't think that'll be Wilson.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess Elijah Moore is not an elite receiver. He has potential to be an elite receiver. Don't get me wrong. He has potential.
I don't hate it as much as you guys do. I think Garrett Wilson's good. Now, okay, this poses an interesting problem or I guess question for Washington. Do they take Kyle Hamilton here? Because I know they loved him.
Yeah,
I had Hamilton in the mock, and I'm sticking with it. I don't think they're going to deviate from that.
I think they like Hamilton too. The other guys that they really liked were Drake London off the board, Chris Olave, who's not going to go here. I could see them trading down with the Eagles here. Eagles getting Jameson Williams. That's definitely something I can see. But if I'm sticking here with the Commanders and I'm sticking at 11, I'm taking Hamilton. Sure. Generational safety prospect. It's what they need. They like him.
He's generational. First real safety probably for Washington, basically since Sean Taylor, probably, right? Probably the best safety since. Maybe he'll be even better. Can you really pass up on
trade.
Kyle Hamilton here?
Trade. The Commanders are
Trade
trading
with
the number 11 overall pick to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints trading up for Jameson Williams. It's got to be a trade up for Williams, right?
It
You
has
have to think.
Because you're not trading up for a tackle, because you could still get Penning that far back. And you're not trading up for Kyle Hamilton. So, there's got to be Williams. Which means Minnesota has Kyle Hamilton and Jermaine Johnson both on the board. Now, I want to see the trade. I want to see the full deal, though. I wonder what Washington's getting back for this.
I'm waiting to see
what Mel's saying.
see the details. The Saints were rumored to want to trade up, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it was the Saints and the Eagles that were the two.
Has anything happened yet, though?
No, just announced the
Nothing
trade.
has happened.
Pick's still
honestly,
on the clock.
I think Washington's sticking and picking. They're taking Kyle.
No,
Hamilton.
it's officially traded. It's officially traded.
Oh, it's officially
But
traded.
Saints have not put their pick in.
Oh,
It's gotta be.
I think. It depends if it's for 16 or 19. First off, 16 Hamilton could stick there.
What do you
but-
think the Saints would be trading up for?
Jameson Williams, it has to be. All they've done is scout receivers
They're
in line.
leapfrogging the Texans. I was saying that Williams was gonna.
I
they'll
think-
still get a receiver.
I don't
was
think
thinking
they're
Williams was probably-
leapfrogging. I think they're outbidding. They're outbidding the Eagles to get him.
Oh yeah, unless it's the Houston Texans that are trying to trade up and jump the Vikings for Jameson Williams.
I know the Vikings.
It's
possibly
officially the
were-
New Orleans Saints that have traded up for the pick.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be a wide receiver here.
I think it's
Probably Williams.
The Saints are trading the 16th overall pick, a third and a fourth to Washington for 11. So that's a pretty decent haul for five
Hamilton
picks.
could still fall.
yeah. They're hoping Hamilton falls. If not, they're gonna go Olave there. You have to think.
Yeah, I would say so, right? And I feel like that's Washington. They're probably just like, well, we don't really love Hamilton, and we like Olave, but we don't want to pick him this high.
I don't like
so-
Olave at all. He can't catch in traffic. Any contest,
I
he's
like Olave,
useless.
honestly.
Yeah,
thing
though,
is-
but he's against. He has McLaurin on the other side, though. So
Okay, but
it's
you're
not-
talking about a guy who could not catch in traffic in college. How's he gonna be better as a number 2 in the NFL?
Still had-
And McLaurin plays a
had
lot in the
unbelievable-
slot.
If you give him a good quarterback, I think he can succeed in this league.
Yeah,
Like,
Carson
if
Wentz.
you give him, I had him going to the Packers.
Could we see Pickett here?
Oh,
we
you
see
could
a-
see Willis. You could see Malik Willis.
could see Malik Willis. We forgot.
Quarterback, Winston, I think, has that job locked down.
But they scouted were receivers and QBs. They want a QB to sit behind him. He's a Jameis Winston is a band-aid.
I agree. I mean, they could go Willis here. I wouldn't be super
Winston
shocked.
looked a lot better post-eye surgery. I don't know that he's necessarily a short-term solution.
Doesn't feel like
At
he's
least
a long term,
should be
though.
I don't know that he should be a short-term solution.
This is taking a
Honestly,
little bit of a while here for
Yeah.
the Saints.
I can understand why. Like, I made the case for the Seahawks. I made the case for Carolina taking quarterbacks. But the Saints, I think Winston's better than any quarterback in this class.
But
Whereas
you're
Donald
not
Luck-
playing them to play over Winston. He's sitting behind Winston for at least a year.
Mhm.
True.
You're sitting him
And
behind
then
Winston.
I guess Winston goes somewhere else. next
Yeah,
off.
Winston's on a 1 year, only 1 year is guaranteed.
Yeah, I guess that would be the Mahomes
it.
plan for Malik. That could
Yeah.
really work for Malik Willis, quite honestly.
It could. I don't think Malik Willis
I don't
is
see
very
it working
good.
for Pickett because he's not going to make much of an improvement from a year on the bench, but Willis definitely could.
Rumors: the Jets rejected a trade from Seattle involving Debo Samuel for the 10th overall pick before taking Garrett Wilson.
Wait, you just said
San Francisco.
the Seahawks.
Or sorry, the Jets. I meant the Jets.
The Jets
So the
rejected the
Jets
49ers.
turned down the Niners. We thought the Niners
They
were
were
gonna turn down
they
the
were
Jets. That's
100% asking for like a first next year for him or something.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
must have been asking
probably.
for way
They
too
probably
much.
wanted
Pick
two
is
firsts.
in. The pick is in.
Don't give two firsts for a receiver when you can just take Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. Is
All
it out
right,
yet?
Connor.
No,
super-
what are you doing?
This is the biggest L of the
What are you
draft so far.
doing?
And at number
What's the pick?
12 or number 11, the Seattle. I can't even say it.
Saints.
Connor, you go ahead.
The New Orleans Saints trade up to 11 for Chris Olave.
Chris Olave.
He would have been there at 16.
Jameson Williams
He
is
would
on
have
the
been
board.
there
Are
at
you kidding me?
16.
Chris Olave, they could have had him. Awful value.
They could have had Jameson Williams.
I mean, I like Olave. But to pick him over Jameson Williams, to trade up
To
for him,
trade up
you don't
makes no
trade up for Chris
sense.
Olave. I mean,
That's
no
so
disrespect. Olave's going
bad.
to be a good receiver for them. But the draft move, it's not worth giving up all this for Chris Olave.
Wait, Mike Thomas tweeted it out 6 minutes ago before even the trade went down that he said, let's run it, Chris Olave.
Oh, okay. But this is a Mike Thomas pick. Now this is going to be the duo here.
Hey, you got
Honestly, I
Ohio
don't know if
State.
Thomas might be leaving, but it looks like he's going to stay now.
It's Ohio
I
State.
would say outside of Kavon Walker, this has got to be the worst pick in the draft so far.
I think it's worse.
I think it's got to be worse, actually. You traded up for a guy that you could have gotten at 16. Why?
They must have thinking like the Vikings really wanted him.
Yeah, but Jameson Williams is on
The
board.
Eagles have to jump the Texans here for Williams if they actually want him. They have to.
Yeah,
there's
but
no
they'd
way-
have to trade- no, they'd have, I think Minnesota might want Williams at this point.
They
though.
could, but they also like draft capital and trading back a lot.
That's what I'm saying, though. So maybe Minnesota trades back to 14, takes, Jermaine Johnson, because let's be honest, Jermaine Johnson or Kyle Hamilton's going to reach him.
Oh, whoa! The
What?
Lions. The Lions traded up.
To
The
12?
Lions
To
traded up to
12.
Sorry.
Whoa!
This
Kyle
draft is
Hamilton.
getting
It's
crazy.
got to be Hamilton.
It's
It's
a
gotta be Kyle
quarterback.
Hamilton.
I think it's a quarterback.
You think it's a quarterback? I think it's Kyle Hamilton.
I think it's Malik Willis.
No way.
Yeah. I think it is.
unreal.
Why else would they trade up?
Dan Campbell's
So,
not a guy to trade up for a quarterback.
Minnesota
way he
must have
talks
gotten
about-
all.
I don't think it's a quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
might
it
be-
is.
Kyle Hamilton could be the guy. It's either Hamilton or a quarterback.
I think it's Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't be trading up. They need a linebacker, but they wouldn't be trading up for Devin Lloyd. They need a D lineman, but they wouldn't be trading up for Jordan Davis. So it's got to be either QB or Kyle Hamilton.
The Lions have traded up. I get it, but for what? They gotta give up
player?
32.
They're not giving up their first next year.
They gotta give up a lot, though. I mean, this is 32 to 12. That's a big jump.
I do agree. Back to the Olave pick. That is like, I think he's gonna be fine there, but it's still the biggest L of this draft so far. That's
You basically lost a third and a fourth for nothing for a guy you would have
lose
been
a
there.
third and a fourth. Get one guy. I mean, I understand that the Saints don't have that many needs to fill, and they want to get what they can get with a wide receiver. But even if they liked a lot,
Wow. Wow.
I don't know that that's a crazy.
Is the pick in?
The crazy part is that they
Okay,
traded
let
up
me give you the
when
trade.
they
Let
know
me give you
other
the
teams
trade.
don't like it.
The Vikings get. So the Vikings give up pick 12 and pick 46 in return for pick 32, 34, and 66.
And do you see who it's for?
I thought you were gonna say a player in there.
It's for
There's no player.
Jameson
player.
Williams.
Picking for Jameson Williams.
Then, really,
Wow.
Jameson Williams? I mean, I could see it.
I mean, they need a wideout. Wideout one?
Wide out
just
one,
don't
now Amon
know.
Ross 2.
They need a
Hawkinson can
wideout
tight end.
more than they need Kyle Hamilton, or more than they need a quarterback.
You think they do? You think they need a wideout more?
Don't. I think I think if I'm the Lions and I have this pick now, I'm not necessarily trading up if I'm the Lions, but if I have this pick now, I'm not considering receiver here. This is a deep receiver.
Too
class.
late.
You
They
get
already
receiver
picked him.
late.
It's too late. They already picked Jameson.
Huh?
He's gone. Jameson Williams is on the.
That's interesting.
Jameson Williams has been picked by the Lions.
I mean, I still think he's gonna be a success. He's still gonna be a success there. It's another one of those picks where there's so many picks in this draft that have me saying
Oliver.
like it's gonna work
wide
out
receiver.
fine, but there's still that what if.
That pick was in so fast. That took like 3 seconds.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
crazy.
They knew what they wanted. So we have a
Let's
run-on
give
receivers.
credit
We have
to-
Garrett Wilson,
who's the
followed
GM
by
in Detroit?
Olave, and then Jameson Williams.
Who's
Will
the
the
GM in
Texans
Detroit?
Take the
Brad
fourth straight
Holmes.
receiver.
Brad Holmes. I think he's done a nice job. I'll be honest.
He's
They
definitely doing a
did
good
give up
job.
a lot though. 32 and 34. The Vikings are going to get 2 very good players at those spots.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot of this draft. That end of the first, start of the second, maybe day 3 too. I mean, sorry, round 3.
This is the first
Good.
really unexpected thing. The Saints, I knew they like Olave. I don't agree with the
Yeah.
trade. This is unexpected, though.
Yeah, this was out of the blue. We had no inkling
Wow.
that the Lions were going to trade up to 12.
The thing is, they did need a safety. You're not trusting Tracy Walker out there. I guess they did spend money. They got like Will Harris.
Yeah, they do still. need
Deshaun
a
Elliott,
safety,
but I
it's
feel
a
like-
deep safety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But those deep safety picks, those like Daxton Hills and Louis Sines, are the guys you would get at 32 and.
Now,
This
Uh,
draft is speeding
Williams,
along though because
this
Houston
pick,
is
like-
now on the clock.
what I'll say about the Lions, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the Williams pick, but I still like it more than the Chris Olave pick. And again,
Yeah,
like
I mean, but you
I
have
actually-
to.
when I look at Olave, like I could see why the Saints like him more than Jameson Williams, but if they really did, they should have stuck with their picks. That's all I'll say.
I think. I mean, Williams is interesting because he's out for at least like half the season, right? With his
Yeah.
ACL.
So the Lions can start with the duo of St. Brown and Shark, and then when Williams comes back, they have a scary trio.
Yeah, and then you're not even trying to win. You could rest him the whole year. You could pull a Joel
Rest him the
Embiid and
whole
rest him
year.
the
Take
entire
a
year.
quarterback in 2023.
Exactly. And you still have
and
the
then
best
start
line.
contending.
And the Eagles
if
traded up.
Hudson's
What the
traded
hell
up,
is
yeah.
going on? The Eagles
Another
just
trade.
traded up.
Ooh.
Wait,
The
with
13.
Lions?
I wonder if it's Burks. I wonder if we have 4 straight.
Traylon
receivers.
Burks? That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy, but I could
Whoa.
see it.
Yeah,
Hunter, I told you this draft was gonna get mad nuts.
it's either Burks, or if it's not Burks, they should take a corn.
Hamilton?
That's
I know,
the
but
only
they're
other-
good. No, but the Eagles want a wide receiver. All
Yeah,
week.
I know they
wide
yeah,
receiver,
they
wide
need a
receiver,
receiver.
wide
No, the
receiver.
only
They're
reason
taking-
Devontae Smith is their only reliable receiver.
the
That's not
only
gonna cut.
reason the only 2 reasons I could see them trading up is either to jump the Ravens on
McDuffie?
Jordan Davis.
is either to jump the
right.
Ravens on Jordan Davis or to
Don't
make sure they
freaking
secure
use
receiver
Jordan
before
Davis.
they're all
That's
off the
not
board.
team I expect to jump.
I mean,
Jordan
Con,
Davis.
this draft is unfolding before our eyes right now. This is
Like-
the quickest pace I've ever seen this NFL draft go before number 1.
Yeah.
And number 2,
Oh yeah, it's fast.
these picks, we told you going into this draft that stuff was going to get crazy. It took a little while, but as soon as the pick at, 8 came in?
That's not an awful trade for the Lions. You trade your first and a high second for a mid second, and then just give up like a late sixth. That's not bad.
You give up. No, you give
A
up
late third,
66.
sorry.
Yeah. It's not bad, but you know the Vikings, they love draft capital. They love it.
Eagles are
So we're
trading
looking at,
four
I'm still thinking about
picks.
this Olave pick. I
Whoa!
honestly
Wow.
think-
They're giving up 4 picks. They're giving up 15, 124, 162, and 166.
162. Wow.
That's a
Only
lot.
to move up 2 spots. But none of them are high picks.
I think it's
right?
Jordan
15.
Davis. I want to say
Jordan
that's why they
Davis.
jumped. There's no reason to jump
They
these
did
teams.
jump.
Or Kyle Hamilton. Could be Kyle Hamilton. But there's no reason to
God,
jump
like,
at this
they both
15.
God, you know what? I have to say this. If you're a team who's in the late teens and 20s, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. 'Cause
Unless you're
Patriots,
unless you're the Green Bay Packers, then you feel
There are gonna
terrible.
be guys that fall to the Patriots on defense.
because all the receivers are going off the
Yeah,
board.
the Packers and the Chiefs are feeling bad right now.
Oh yeah, true. I don't think the Patriots were ever planning to take a round 1 receiver. I think that's going to be
No,
a day 2.
You think they could corner instead? All they scouted really were wide receivers and corners.
McDuffie's on the board.
I think McDuffie fits so well on that team. I'd love to see McDuffie there.
McDuffie's on the board. Andrew Booth
McDuffie
is
on the
still on the
wait,
board.
McDuffie. You're saying for the Eagles or the Patriots?
Patriots.
I
You
love
don't
him
trade
the
up for
Patriots.
McDuffie.
I had him in the mock. I would love that pick.
Yeah,
Andrew
I'd
Booth,
like it too.
wouldn't
I think it'd be
mind.
a good
I
fit.
think McDuffie's a slightly better fit than Booth.
A little bit undersized, but not that bad.
Yeah. What I'll say, like, still thinking a little bit about the Olave pick, but there's been so many trades. But what I'll say about it, not an awful pick per se, but awful trade. Awful trade. That's really how you got to characterize.
For the Saints?
I mean, why would you go up to for
Yeah.
11?
If they took Olave at 19, I'd be like, sure. I
If they
really like
got
this.
if they got
The fact
Jameson
that they
Williams
took him
there,
at 11, that's the problem.
Okay, according to Albert Breer, the Eagles are taking Georgia defensive tackle Jordan Davis.
yeah, it makes it. There's no
Jordan
other reason they
Davis.
jump. It doesn't make sense to jump unless it's him.
The long-term replacement for Fletcher Cox once he retires.
Now, if you're
They could
Baltimore,
trade
what
Cox
you're-
too.
Oh yeah, they could trade him too. Or
Now-
hell, they could cut him. He's a lot
Yeah,
of money on their
yeah.
salary cap.
They could, but they have a ton of cap room. They have one of the most cap
What
room.
about Baltimore? Where do
I
they
was
go?
saying
now?
that.
Kyle
back when they
Hamilton.
didn't have that.
I think Kyle Hamilton.
Think they go Hamilton?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I don't think they.
Let's go McDuffie.
Trevor Penning. I'm calling it.
They've been okay. I had Penning in a lot of mocks to them, but I mean, you're not trusting Chuck Clark
This is
to
Devin
be.
Lloyd, maybe.
I think you
There's a
take
good
best play
spot
available.
for Lloyd. Like,
I mean,
I know
again,
they took Patrick Queen 2 years ago, but this linebacker core could still use another guy, and Devin Lloyd could be.
I don't think they take him
good
that high
value, yeah.
though.
no, they're not taking a linebacker at 14.
I think you go best play available Kyle Hamilton if I was them. I think you could take
Where do you
Penning.
put him? That secondary is stacked to the max right now.
I think you just play him over Chuck Clark.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Chuck Clark's not a bad. I
It's not-
think if you take Hamilton, you got to trade Chuck Clark.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
they
can.
could pick
Good demand.
McDuffie again, though. They could pick McDuffie.
I don't think they pick McDuffie here. You got Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey. You're fine. You don't need that much depth there. They could even move. They could move Chuck. They could move Marcus Williams to a slot corner. I think. even.
I have to say this, I don't love the Vikings trade back. I think that they should not have given up 46.
Yeah, they give up a bit for that.
I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Jordan Davis pick. I think it's a slight reach. I mean, I had him at 16, so not a huge reach, but it's also not a huge need for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I know there's Cox trade rumors, but don't necessarily need to get rid of Cox.
He's the best run stopper in this draft, probably. They sucked against the run last year.
I think Davis is a good player, but they could have waited.
I mean, I think Davis
could have waited on the D line.
I think Davis 99% chance he goes to the Ravens. They loved him.
I know Davis is going to the Ravens, but I just don't think Davis is worth trading up for.
Yeah, maybe.
You forget about him if you're not.
They gave a couple seventh and a sixth, I think.
Oh yeah, so it's not a huge load that they're giving up.
Yeah, just late round picks, which I mean, I don't know if the Eagles have had great success on late round picks, to be honest. Let me see. I don't remember who the Eagles taking the late rounds.
This
like 6th and 7th.
Honestly, this is like the Jordan Davis pick is on level to me with the Chris Olave pick. Maybe Olave was a worse trade, but I'm not a huge fan of either of these picks.
I'm not.
No, Olave has to be the worst pick in the draft so far, hands down.
Yeah, he's not a bad player, but just the trade up makes it bad.
No. The pick as a whole.
These three trades up. The best of these three trades is the Lions taking Jameson Williams by far. The Lions
got the best. Yeah.
The Eagles
are the winner of these last three.
Oh,
they were the winner of the chaos. Let's just put it that way.
I do have to say, I do like the move the Lions made. I think it was aggressive. They really didn't give up like super much. I mean, they gave up a late first, an early second, and a third, and got back a second and an early first. So
the Eagles are not a great late round drafting team from what I'm seeing whatsoever. And I mean, you got like the Texans. You got what? Different. I thought the Kyle Fuller, the center. Nope. I don't know. I'm just looking for anyone that pops out. Ryan Griffin. He was a decent tight end. But I think it's a good trade for the Texans. Like, you're not losing anything.
Listen, you're not losing anything. You're just gaining picks. You're gaining draft capital. That's never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. Baltimore's been on the clock for a while now. They got to be announcing their picks.
Yeah, I think it's because they were so set on Jordan Davis, and now they're kind of unsure. Do you go best player available? Do you go? I don't know. What do you go?
Pelicans Suns, by the way, is deep into the fourth quarter.
Ebook got benched. Ebook got benched at half.
Was he playing bad?
Yeah, he was playing awful. Chris Paul's going stupid. Ebook's killing him. I don't know. It's interesting. I hope it goes 7. That'd be a fun one to go 7. Ebook hopefully helped.
Chris Paul is 12 for 12.
Yeah, he's
unreal.
That's what he did. I don't know what game 5. Game 4. Like game 3, he just carved up their defense. He hit every spot, hit his jumpers from every spot. And then game 5, he didn't shoot it at all. Terrible. And doesn't make sense. That's a 4th round pick. I thought that was a 5th and a 6th. It's a 4th and 2 5ths? That's kind of a lot to give up to move up 2 spots.
2 spots, right?
A 4th and 2 5ths? I guess I didn't calculate for compensatory pick. I guess that makes sense. That's still a lot.
That is a lot to move up 2 picks.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 4 picks. Oh wait, no, they were at 15.
They gave up 4 picks. They moved up to 15 to 30.
The pick is in. We already know who it is. You gotta think Baltimore's gotta be announcing their pick soon now. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a bit.
This is why I love Twitter. I don't. Okay, breaking news! The Ravens are taking Notre Dame safety Kyle Hamilton at 14. There you go.
Interesting.
I think you can play Marcus Williams as a slot corner, and then you have probably
No
easily the
surprise.
best secondary in the league.
I mean,
Now,
literally,
this is a good value. He was one of the best players on the board.
Yeah, I like it.
Now you just, I mean, you play him over Chuck Clark, but you got to do something
He
with
is-
Chuck Clark at this
he is
point.
the
because-
best player available. You cannot go wrong with Kyle Hamilton. Baltimore gets an absolute steal at 14. And Harbaugh's gonna love that too, by the way. He loves defensive guys. He's gonna
Yeah,
love
I
that.
still think if they were in a situation where they had Jordan Davis and Kyle Hamilton as their two options, I would take Davis there.
Now, Con, let me ask you: Houston at 15. Do they just take Jermaine Johnson and say,
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
shout out Andrew for predicting that drop. I mean, there was room. Jermaine Johnson was tied for the best odds to be the 4th overall pick.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I was saying this before.
Texans taking Burks.
I was saying this before. I only, I only saw the Falcons and the Jets really into Jermaine Johnson, and not many other teams into it. So I definitely could see a drop. I just thought the Jets would for sure take him at 10. And they took Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, but they did not. I honestly, I have to say, I think Houston's got to take Jermaine Johnson here. I mean, he's fallen so far. You might as well.
Yeah. You could take Penning. Penning has fallen further than expected.
Penning
a lot of
has
people thought he'd go
fallen further than
14.
expected. But. You're not gonna take Penning here. You're gonna go with Jermaine Johnson.
You know the Commanders were so looking for Hamilton to drop there. They really wanted him to drop.
But I mean, he was the best player available.
Yeah,
He wasn't
but
gonna drop
they probably looked at the Ravens and the Texans, and they're like, there's not teams that would necessarily take the safety there. I mean, the Texans could have, but
Texans would have taken Hamilton. I think they would.
The Texans literally had said under PFF, under positions needed, just said every position.
yeah.
But I mean, I gotta see Houston taking Jermaine Johnson, right? I mean, that'd be silly if they didn't.
Yeah, you could go Jermaine Johnson.
You gotta take Jermaine, right?
I mean, arguably, that is one of your least positions and needs. It feels like, in a way. Penning's on the board. He's really good. You could take one of the interior guys too, and keep keep Howard on the outside. But you keep him Tunsil. I don't know. I don't see edge as a huge thing for them.
Yeah, I don't see the Texans needing edge. I think Johnson's slide is going to continue. Jermaine Johnson.
Because Washington definitely does
I
not
think
need
he's
edge.
one of those guys that was overhyped by the media.
I mean, it's very possible.
Now Burks before all the stuff came out about his weight gain. Treylon Burks wouldn't have been seen as a crazy pick here at 15.
No, yeah,
Maybe the Texans
especially
still like him.
Especially if the Eagles were still here, he definitely
I
could
could
have
also
been.
see Devin Lloyd. I feel like that might be more likely than Burks.
I don't think they take linebacker either.
Oh, I think they would go linebacker.
Christian Kirksey.
Yeah,
You're not
Lloyd
replacing
seems like the
Kirksey.
right pick here. Like he's been mocked at like 14, 15, 6. I am at 14. A lot of other people had him at 15. That's the right range for him, I feel like.
I don't
Jordan
think they'll go
Davis
Burks.
is happy
necessarily.
to be a Eagle, folks. I mean, you can see the emotion on his face there. He's very happy.
Especially
He's
in a
happy to be
deep
an Eagle, but will the Eagles be happy with him? That is yet to be seen.
We will see about that, Andrew. Be positive, though. Come on, we're rooting for
Look at
all these guys.
Texans top 30 visit. Let me see.
We're rooting for all these guys tonight.
Yeah, I think the big question now is where Fletcher Cox goes, if anywhere.
I don't think he's gonna go anywhere just yet.
He's been so much rumored to be off that team. It's interesting. Gotta stay. Let's see. Yeah, they did. The Texans did. The only receiver they worked out top 30 was Treylon Burks. Kenyon Green probably doesn't go this high. They were working out some linebackers. They worked out Ayer Alam. I think they go corner. They just took Stingley. I could see it being Burks. He's a guy they worked out. I could see them going Penning, or maybe one of the interior guys, Zion Johnson, jump. But play around with Titus Howard there.
Packers would be mad about Zion Johnson going off the board for sure.
Yeah, would. I was hoping he'd be a buck, but I think the Packers would.
Yeah, I don't see him falling that far to 27. Well, maybe the Bucks make a move. You don't know.
Well, he
Yeah,
wasn't
possibly.
projected to go
I had the
higher
Bucks
until the.
trading down, actually, not up. But
He wasn't projected to go higher until the Packers were rumored to want to take him at 22.
like,
Really,
what else? What do the Bucks really need?
Oh my goodness!
all they need is a
gracious.
guard. All they
It
really
is
need is
Yeah,
a
not-
guard.
that's it.
Connor, it's not Zion Johnson guard at 15.
It's who? Another guard?
Another
Linderbaum?
guard.
Don't tell me it's
Kenyon
Kenyon
Green?
Green. Don't tell me it's Kenyon Green.
Brendan Green.
Oh
at
Lord of
15.
mercy!
Oh.
What are the Texans
Oh
doing?
my God. Oh, okay. Kenyon Green, like,
Plug and play. He's
I
a plug and play guy. You try him out.
he's a
But at
plug and play guy. The
15.
Texans are going to use him right away. It's a little early for him.
I
That's
mean,
still
you're
out.
probably gonna try Howard at right tackle
Literally,
first. Try him
He could've
around.
done better.
You could also try him at tackle. He's very versatile, but I don't like him. I don't
Yeah,
like him
it's
at
just-
all.
15.
Too early. It's not
high.
good
It's
value.
it's an Alex Leatherwood pick.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a little bit better than the Leatherwood. pick.
Yeah, I think he's a better
Slightly.
prospect than Leatherwood, but he also was higher
Yeah.
than Leatherwood.
Like
went.
I had Leatherwood. Like, I'm doing grades as we go live here. I had Leatherwood as like a D pick. This is like a C pick to me. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, this is
I like it.
so
I like Kenyon Green. I just way too high, but I mean, he's gonna be a starter. I don't know if he'll
I
be a
mean,
Pro Bowler, but he's gonna be a
is
starter.
it too high? Yes. Is it a terrible mistake? Not necessarily.
I think someone
I
should
just don't
trade
know
What
up
do you guys see
guys
for Washington?
board.
Washington. Washington. You could go.
Here's an
Well,
interesting
they're
Cooper.
not taking Jermaine.
Do they go quarterback?
No, they hate. They
I
don't like.
think so either.
They don't like the
It's
quarterbacks
just-
at all in this draft.
Yeah, yeah. I think they stick with Wentz for at least this year.
They go Burks.
Maybe
No,
Penning.
they could go Penning.
I think
Um,
that's the pick. That's my prediction.
They tried out a lot of running backs, but I don't see it. They tried out a lot
Honestly,
of
if Penning doesn't go here, I think he goes to the Chargers. That's where I have him
yeah.
originally.
Daxton
Maybe
Hill.
the Chargers. Think the Chargers trade up?
No, you're not trading up one pick.
No. At this point, it's not worth it.
You're not trading up one pick.
There's other
there.
O linemen, but if Penning falls to them, they'll take it.
Let's see.
Chargers, like, they may have Slater and Corey Linsley that they got last offseason, but I think they have more holes on this O line than maybe any other team. in the
They
league.
do have quite a few holes.
Top 30 visits tracker.
Justin Herbert needs some help there.
Going Commanders.
Wants
Alright,
to make
Brees
the
Hall,
playoffs.
Kenneth Walker, Chris Olave, Tyler Smith. So they could go line. Thomas, Daxton Hill. They apparently liked him a lot.
I really think they're looking at running backs.
They tried out 3 of them. I don't know.
I have 3 running backs.
I'm
But
not
you're not
going
picking
running
him. I don't think you're picking
And
running back.
Antonio
here.
Gibson, like, he didn't have good advanced stats last
No,
year.
he
but
wasn't
I think
very-
you stick with him for at least one more year.
And if you got to pick a running back, take him around 3.
He was injured for most of the year. You got to give
Trade
him
to announce. Trade to announce.
Oh,
The Ravens have traded Marquise Brown to the Cardinals.
Holy, oh my God, that's
Wait.
kinda,
The Ravens have traded Hollywood Brown and the number 100 overall pick to the Cardinals
The
in exchange for
23?
the 23. Wow.
interesting.
that's a lot for Marquise Brown. That is too much to give up.
Yeah,
They're doing
Cardinals,
anything to keep Kyler Murray happy.
Cardinals. So now the Cardinals don't have a first rounder. They could have taken their corner of the
No. Their
future,
first rounder
and they
is
take a
Marquise
wide
Brown.
receiver when they have
Hey, listen to me right now.
Rondell Moore. They already have a fine enough
Okay.
deal, and they could have drafted a receiver.
It is not. It is
They
nothing to
traded
do
their
with.
first rounder for one.
It has nothing to do with who they think would fit better on their team. Where did Kyler Murray go to college? Texas A&M. Where did Marquise Brown?
Oh, it was Oklahoma.
Go to
They were both
or-
Oklahoma.
Both Oklahoma. Right.
So I see why they're doing
It's
that.
anything to make him stay. Anything to make him stay.
That's good. we appreciate having Connor on the broadcast here because he's very good at figuring out the team's mindset. But I
Holy
still
crap!
don't think
What?
it's
What'd they
necessarily
pick?
a
Who'd they
smart-
Connor.
pick?
The Commanders are taking Penn State wide receiver Jahan Dotson.
I like
16.
Dotson a lot.
Whoa!
I like Dotson a lot.
That's a
That's a-
surprise, though.
Dotson
That's a
before
surprise.
Treylon Burks.
I like Dotson
Over
over
honestly,
Burks.
Over
I
Pickens,
don't like Dotson
over
this
Moore.
early, but I do like him over Burks. So that's something.
I like Dotson a lot. I really like that pick.
Yeah, he was underrated. Another guy that I think is underrated in this receiver class, David Bell out of Purdue.
So it looks
mean-
like the Chargers are gonna get
Okay,
Penning.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
They
I think
should.
Penning's going to the Chargers.
unless they
That
want
would be
Burks
the
or
smart-
something.
Hold on.
Dotson, I thought the
Let's
Dotson would
not
go to the
say it.
Cowboys because Dak talked up the kid.
Yeah, I did hear a lot about Dotson and the Cowboys.
That's so
But now
many
that the Cowboys-
receivers.
I know. What's that? 5?
5.
5 receivers in 16 picks. That's insane. Yeah, I mean, it's good. That's good for the Packers though, because if they want Burks, he could fall there. It's
also
going to be
good
the
for the-
Packers,
also
the
good for the
Patriots, the
Cowboys.
Chiefs, all fighting over.
There's a lot of good players on the board, man. There's a lot of
Right.
good players.
Number 1, Jermaine Johnson's gonna fall to 18.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson. Could the Jets trade back up in the first? I would not mind that at all.
I
You
don't
got-
mind the Dotson.
You
pick.
still have good secondary players: Trent McDuffie, Daxton Hill,
Right.
Andrew
And you
Booth.
know- Well, you know that the Eagles aren't gonna take Jermaine Johnson because they just took defensive line.
No QBs. Also,
No QBs yet.
I mean, like, is
Wait for
Malik
Pittsburgh.
Willis really gonna fall to the Steelers at 20? I thought they had to trade up. I had him trading up to 6. Like, I
Might.
know.
Might fall.
I think receivers are bad. I think quarterbacks are bad in
Yes,
this class.
Yeah, the Eagles and Saints are still in here. Do the Saints take a QB with this pick? That's the
They
question.
could.
I don't think
They've
they
been
do.
scouting QB. They've been scouting receiver and
think they
QB. I am take Kenny Pickett and Chris Olave. Not trading up for Chris Olave, but I had him take those two in my mock draft.
That's interesting. Yeah, Olave. Yeah, the trade up is not. They could have taken him where they were.
I think it's got to
Trade
be.
up is the problem.
Who did the Eagles take? Cornerback? Maybe wideout. Do you go Treylon Burks here? You could. I don't know. I think there's good prospects on the board. Good defensive prospects for sure on the board right now. I mean, N'Kobe Dean and Devin
This
Lloyd.
Hollywood trade just makes 0 sense to me.
Anything to keep Kyler happy. Kyler's probably still really good friends with them. Like, we don't care. I mean,
Yeah, they're like.
he's
like,
gone
Kyler
after.
Murray wants out of here. We need to like keep him.
He has 1 year on his contract, Hollywood Brown. That's a
Couple of my
freaking
friends
terrible
from my
trade.
fantasy league mentioning something. The impact this has for Rashad Bateman in fantasy football could be huge for
I'm
him.
gonna pull this tweet up on the stream just for everyone. Everyone sees it here.
Nice.
the Cardinals pick right here. Old
Oh,
tweet
oh yeah.
with the 23rd pick in the 2020 draft.
Oh,
Arizona
wait, hold on. Did you
Cardinals.
see me retweet that?
That's so
I
funny.
retweeted that now just too. Wow. Well, apparently they didn't pick anybody.
They picked Hollywood Brown for a year.
Jesus.
That's
is
so
horrible.
bad,
But
but
it's only
it's
1 year.
makes sense.
I-
No, but that's
yeah,
even worse that
it
it's
is.
1 year. You don't got a 5th-year option on the kid. You'd have to pay him more than what you would be paying a receiver for 4 years. Would
Now,
probably
what
be
I
better.
wonder is, do the Ravens just go receiver at 23? I think they might.
Probably.
Depends
I
on
mean,
who
Yeah,
falls,
I mean,
though.
why not?
Depends on who falls. That's the
You already got Kyle Hamilton. That's a
Because if
really
the
good
Eagles
draft.
really want a receiver, maybe they take Burks off the board.
I mean, if the Ravens end up with Kyle Hamilton and Burks, for not having to trade up and just getting rid of Hollywood Brown, that's a
First
real
round.
good draft.
I mean, yeah, Burks can just like plug right in for Hollywood Brown. That's still a very solid offense.
mhm.
Honestly, if they don't get a receiver in this draft or in free agency, you really trust Rashad Bateman as their number one. It would be good in fantasy football, but in real life,
Bateman's
know.
good. I would like to have someone play
He's
alongside.
good. You just need another guy there.
Well, it's not like they have a
You need someone
QB.
else
They only
to
have a
scratch
running
the
back,
corner.
so
Andrews is gonna get all the short passes. You don't need to
Andrews
put a
is gonna
corner
get
on him.
90% of passes.
I know. He's gonna get all the targets there. It's just if you're going up against a
Mike-
star corner,
Yeah,
Bateman
Mike
is gonna
Clay
get all
just-
the star corners. Right?
Mike Clay just tweeted out Ravens wide receiver situation: Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, James Porsche, Tylan Wallace,
Porsche.
Jalen Moore,
I'm sorry, that's a problem.
Porsche.
Even with Mark
Porsche,
Andrews,
sorry.
that is a problem.
No, I mean if you listen, if you got Mark Andrews in the Dynasty League, you're loving this right now.
Yeah.
Connor,
Bateman.
the
Bateman's good.
Chargers are not going with Penning. They're taking your boy.
Burks?
No, they're not. No, sorry. I mean, they're taking the Packers boy, Zion Johnson,
Wow.
guard. That's a little bit of a surprise. Not a
Okay.
huge.
No, they
surprise,
wanted line. I guess they
It's
valued
good that
interior
they
more.
went line. But passing on Penning and going for Zion Johnson, who probably would have fallen further. I'm not necessarily.
I
too
feel like their
bothered
guard positions are
about
worse
it.
than
It's a
their
good fit,
tackle.
though.
Penning's not playing anything but tackle. But you got like
True.
Brandon James is
I don't
horrible.
mind the pick. I compare it to the very last pick. Just Jahan Dotson and Zion Johnson. They're both very good
It's a
need filler
reach, yeah.
picks. But they're
There's a
slight
privilege.
reaches. So
That's
they're,
why
so they're okay picks.
I mean, you could have traded down
they're
to, I don't know, maybe the Steelers wanted to jump the Saints or something. As long as you're under the Packers, you probably could have taken them anywhere there. Unless the Saints go, but I think the Saints will go pick it.
I'm really feeling. I don't think it's going to be Willis to Pittsburgh. I think it could be Kenny Pickett.
No, they love Willis. They wanted to trade up to 6 and 8 for Willis. I can't see them not going Willis here. I just can't. Unless he's off the board at 19.
It's kind of.
Who's that? Who's picking at 19? The Saints. You think
Saints.
the
Here's the bigger question.
Saints
If
only
they-
basically were looking for a QB and a wideout, is what all the reports said.
If
I think the Saints prefer
Steelers
Pickett.
take Willis though. The Steelers
Oh my
take
God,
Willis,
AJ Brown to the Eagles.
Whoa.
What?
AJ Brown
Oh
was saying he wasn't going
my
anywhere.
God! What is going on?
This
What-
draft day
what's
is
going on?
absolutely insane.
And
Two
that
2019
isn't
receivers
the
getting
floodgates
traded in one
are
night, both
open.
rounds.
The floodgates are open. AJ Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. The floodgates have
my
opened.
God.
Everything is on the
Wow.
table. Holy moly!
That's-
Mother of God.
That is good from the Eagles. That's good work.
And just like that, the Eagles are now the favorites
Okay,
to win.
what's
the
the
NFC.
return?
Probably
It's gotta be big.
probably 18 and a first next
It's
year
gotta
and
be
maybe a
18 or
third this
more.
year. My guess.
Wow, it's just 18 and another third. That's it.
18 and another third. So
Wow.
that's a honestly that's a pretty. wild-
I that's not the I haven't seen the actual thing. That's my guess.
It is 18 and another third, according to Diana
Is it?
Reesney. Yes.
18 a
and another
first and
I
a
got it
third.
right.
18 is the first and another third. That's it.
Wait, that's it?
18 and a third.
That's it?
That's it.
How is that it?
That's it.
So now, oh, the Titans got to get
Eagles are
Jermaine
sitting
Johnson.
Number 18 and 101.
That's
AJ
it?
Brown.
There's no way there's not a future pick in there. There's no way there's not a future
That's-
pick in there.
That is everything.
Tyreek
that has
Hill
been
went for a
reported.
first, a second, 2/3, and a fourth.
That is everything that's been reported at the moment.
There's no way.
I just gotta listen to Pat
Oh
McAfee
my
right now.
God.
There's
The
no
tr-
way.
I think the biggest storyline tonight is not like is not the draft pick trades. It's
It's-
these wide receiver trades.
Bro,
the
d-
wide receiver
wide
market
receiers in
is
general, counting the draft. This is
bursting
crazy.
open. Bursting open.
Here's-
Here's the question: does Debo Samuel go somewhere else now?
They're refusing to trade Debo right now, but
Yeah,
who
I know
knows?
they're refusing to trade him.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's a matter of who has more power there. I mean, the easy answer is the GM, but Debo Samuel does have the power to hold out. He does have the power to
So,
kind of persuade the Niners GM.
so the Titans are on the clock right now, right?
Yeah, because
Yes, the
they just
Titans
traded
are on-
AJ
Jermaine
Brown.
Johnson. I guarantee it's Jermaine Johnson.
You think?
Unless they go
receiver.
receive, they could go receiver,
Because
but
they
they.
just traded Robert Woods is like their only receiver right now.
I like Robert Wood. Oh, they could go QB. They could go Willis.
Oh yeah, quarterback might be the move here because, like, I mean,
They could go
Tannehill's
QB.
good, but
They-
it seems like
Tannehill's
he's running there now.
Awful.
He might be
What are you saying?
awful, but I just can't see it.
I mean, he's still better than some of the other QBs that are starting right now.
Yeah,
like
but you
Darnold,
can sit a
Goff.
guy behind him. I mean, I don't mind Willis here. You tank a year, basically. I don't know.
Holy crap! What is happening?
I don't know. I think you go Jermaine Johnson. I think you gotta. They scouted him. They liked him. They could use help on the defense.
What about Trevor Penning?
They could go Penning.
Connor,
I like
freezing
that.
cold takes. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel and AJ Brown being on the trading block. Not as long as on
Oh,
the head.
oh no. Yeah.
Wow.
Does that mean
I
Mike
think this
Vrabel's not
puts
the head coach
Eagles in
anymore?
Contention for the NFC East. Honestly.
I think Mike Vrabel's still the head coach, but
Like-
the Titans are not. It's in the NFC or in the AFC South.
And another breaking
Eagles,
news.
They may have running back by committee here, but AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard. That's a really good trio of weapons for Jalen Hurts.
Chris Paul just broke an NBA record for most made baskets without a miss.
14 for 14. Thanks, Shams. Jeffrey Simmons, as of 2 minutes ago, says, "Well, this better not be true." I'm
They're
retweeting it right
taking a
now.
D lineman.
Not taking
Maybe
a
it
D
means
lineman.
they're taking a D lineman.
No.
I think he
He's
just-
referring to AJ
I think he's just
Brown.
saying he
Not
can't
AJ
believe Brown's gone. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts were working out together last week.
Oh, okay. So this
Well, there you go.
I don't know. I
This draft just hit the next level.
think it's Jermaine
Next
Johnson.
level.
I think it. That's my guess. Maybe it's QB. It's QB and Jermaine Johnson.
AJ Brown trade. Like AJ Brown kept saying, "I'm not going anywhere." Man, he didn't really know.
The Titans pick is in. I haven't seen anything though.
So who's on the clock now?
I
Saints.
think it's probably a situation if the Titans were more willing to trade him than they gave off. Like,
There is no word on the Tennessee pick at the moment.
they're taking a while with this one. Like
No,
they
the
make
pick is in.
they make the AJ Brown trade and they're kind of
They're taking Treylon Burks at 18.
okay. I don't mind.
That's
I don't mind.
that is not worth a third round pick. AJ Brown for Treylon Burks and a third round pick is terrible.
I mean,
on
you're
who
just
that third rounder is.
Yeah, I mean,
grasping at straws right there.
I think that's bad.
I don't like it.
I mean, I know you'd have to pay him a lot of money, but and I
But
know
AJ Brown's
he's
wide
injury
receiver
prone.
became their
But he's
biggest
injury
need after
prone too.
that
That's
trade.
right.
Hmm.
It's tough one.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You could have
Mine
got.
just
You
without
have
the
to have been able to get
Burks
more.
is like a borderline number one, number two. AJ Brown was like a superstar number
You
one
don't-
receiver.
You don't think the
Can a
Jets?
third round player fill that gap?
That's her Adam Schefter. So earlier today,
You don't think the Jets would have given up 10 plus like another pick for him? You could have got 10. You could have gone and got Jamison Williams. I guarantee you the Jets would have given up 10.
Yeah, probably.
They wanted to give up 10 for Debo. AJ Brown's a better receiver than Debo Samuel. Why not give up 10 for AJ Brown?
Connor, there are winners and there are losers in this draft.
Oh, that's
so
so
far.
bad. You have to get at least a second.
Colts got to be the
Alright.
favorite in the NFC. In the AFC
I did
South.
not like that first Eagles trade for Jordan Davis, but they just fleeced the Titans. I'm sorry. Howie Roseman, not necessarily a good drafter, but much better trader.
At least the Titans, absolutely.
You're telling me the Patriots couldn't have given
And,
up
like,
21 and a second for that?
If it wasn't in the context that they just gave up AJ
I'm
Brown,
sure. I'm sure.
Burks is
I'm
not
sure
an
Bill
awful
did
pick.
not want.
Just the fact that they gave up AJ Brown.
AJ Brown gets a 4-year extension, $100 million, $57 million guaranteed.
That's it. Only 25 a year?
Yep.
Oh, come on, Tennessee. You cheap ass. That's bad.
Oh my
Only
God.
25 mil a year?
Wow! Wow! Wow!
So
This-
bad.
I don't think the
Jeez.
Titans are necessarily AFC South favorites anymore.
No, the Colts are definitely the favorites.
Yeah.
I think it's the Jaguars. Not gonna
And
lie.
the
Trayvon
Eagles-
Walker
The
is
Eagles,
coming
now
for
that
your
they have
QB.
AJ Brown.
Connor, stop.
Trayvon Walker's coming for your QB. Duval. Go Jags.
Josh Allen is coming.
Wait, what
for
about
you.
the Texans,
Better yet.
bro? What about the Texans?
Hey, did you not see the Jaguars beat the Bills last year? All I'm saying.
9-6.
listen,
That was all defense.
Miracles happen every day on this earth. Wow. The Titans war room looks pretty depressed right now. Mike Vrabel looks like he's about to shoot himself.
Is the
I mean,
GM not in the war room with them? I feel like,
Fire the GM.
No, I'm sure he
Fire
is.
the GM.
oh yeah, I mean
Fire the GM.
you can't. Oh my god. He would have accepted it. It's not like Debo who doesn't want to go back to the Niners. He would have taken that deal if the Titans offered him it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Jeez.
The Eagles
oh
are
my
going to be
God.
set for a long time now.
This
The
is.
Titans are in trouble.
Now the Eagles just need a QB.
Jalen Hurts.
So
I
he's
believe in
alright.
Jalen Hurts.
So the
I
Eagles are
believe in Jalen
NFC's
Hurts, I'll say it
favorites.
right
I think Eagles are
Eagles,
I think-
yes,
I
yes,
think
they're
it's-
NFC East favorites.
I think it's the Cowboys still.
Slight edge over the Cowboys for the Eagles. It's very
Yeah,
close.
but the Giants are looking a little
I
bit
think
better now.
I think the betting odds.
it's gonna
Okay,
be
the
a very
Giants are
close
setting up for next year probably, but I think the betting
think it's-
odds will lean the Cowboys.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. Like it's not like these teams are amazing. Imagine if it's like 9-8, 9-8, 8-9, 8-9. I could see a division like that.
Nah, one team's gonna run away with it a little bit more than that, I think.
Maybe not that close, but like a lesser extent of that.
Give credit to Howie Roseman. What a draft he's having.
I mean, I didn't like the Jordan Davis pick, but the AJ Brown
Yeah,
trade.
but hold on, but Andrew, you're one of the few people who doesn't like the Jordan Davis pick. I think it's a pretty decent
I-
pick overall.
I still think Giants are bigger winners tonight.
Yeah, I agree, Giant. No, I think that trade you give up so little compared to the other top trade that kills the Niners' chances. The Niners were trying to get 2 firsts out of Debo.
Right
That's
now,
dead. You had to
Yeah.
bump off of that Tyreek.
Debo is stuck there. Debo's probably going to hold out, but there's nothing they can do about it.
all right. So the Saints are now on the clock at
Kenny
number
Pickett,
19.
Malik Willis.
The Patriots are up in 2 picks, Andrew.
I think
I
QB.
do not expect the Patriots to be up by 10 o'clock at night. Or
Yeah,
close
this
to
is
that.
really early.
Hey man, I'm all for it. I'm full of energy. And the earlier this
Mhm.
draft ends,
Usually we're tired by the Patriots pick, but
I
not
know.
today.
Not today. Not today. Not today. I mean, I feel like Mac Jones was picked somewhere around this time last year.
Yeah. And that was 15. This is 21.
That was 15.
We're at 19, but still.
Still looking for number 19 for the Saints. No word on it yet.
We've gotten 18 picks done in 2 hours. We're probably going to be
Yeah, it's been
done
fast.
Sure.
like around 11:30.
Because all these teams are trading, and usually when you trade, you just put in the pick.
So
Exactly.
Connor, who do you think is going to go here at number 19?
Kenny Pickett.
Think it's Pickett for sure.
I this definitely takes the kid.
By the way,
haven't.
I know Treylon Burks wasn't a huge hit, but the Packers just lost another wide
At least,
receiver.
like
possibility.
in the era of Twitter leaking the draft and leaking the offseason, in the Twitter era, this is the craziest offseason.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you have all the trades that already happened. You have the Russell
How
Wilson,
many-
with
Connor,
Deshaun
how many
Watson, now
wide
tonight with AJ Brown. so much happening.
Connor, how many wide receivers are off the board? Was Traylon Burks 6 or 7?
Yeah, it was number 6.
was
If you count
6.
AJ Brown.
If you
Uh,
count,
If you count Hollywood and AJ Brown,
you
that's
get
8.
you get
but
to 8.
Wow.
I bet it'll be 10
Chiefs
by the end of
getting a
this
new receiver.
round. I bet it'll be 10. The Packers and the
I
Chiefs
mean-
have to take one.
Packers and Chiefs have to take a wide receiver.
Who is going? Maybe George
Pickens.
Pickens
Pickens.
or Christian Watson. That's another one.
That might be a reach, though.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a reach. I do like David
Wow.
Bell. It's a reach here, but he's a sleeper.
The pick is
now.
in.
Is it QB? I think it's QB.
Oh,
It's
no,
what
sorry,
they
I
said.
haven't seen it yet. Ah,
Maybe or maybe
Connor, it's who we
Justin
thought it would
Ross
be.
was
Kenny
early.
Pickett?
who we thought it would be. No, it originally, like before all the crazy shit happened.
Oh, Penning?
Trevor Penning at 19. Things calmed down a little bit.
The Steelers are really gonna get Malik without having
I
to
don't mind
trade.
that. I don't mind that at all.
I mean, you're replacing Tron Armstead basically.
I
Not
would have
bad.
honestly, at that spot, I would have taken Devontae Wyatt. That's my personal opinion, but Penning's not a bad pick.
Oh, Penning's a
I
good pick.
mean,
I,
Penning's a solid pick. Listen, they needed a tackle. They got a tackle. They didn't. If they wanted a quarterback, they could have.
Yo. is Bill Belichick gonna get Jermaine Johnson?
Oh my God, Andrew! We could get
Oh
Jermaine
wow,
Johnson!
Jermaine Johnson to the that I would love that. I would love that. I
Woohoo!
would not complain about that one.
Oh, or Trent McDuffie. We get one of them. We get either Jermaine Johnson or Trent McDuffie. Woohoo! Woohoo!
That's huge.
This has to be Malik, right?
Woohoo! Let's go, Patriots! God, Bill Belichick is so good at drafting. Oh man, so we either get Trent McDuffie. Oh my goodness. I think it's Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis. Personal opinion. Honor.
I think Kenny Pickett's the better prospect. I think the Steelers favor Malik Willis.
I don't think you can go against Pittsburgh boy. He's sacrilegious. By the way, did the Pelicans win?
No, the Suns won.
Or the Suns won?
Yeah. Chris Paul's about to get
About
his second
Pelicans,
flagrant and be one away from getting a suspension. Kind of crazy. They're gonna do it after the game. They're gonna give it to him after the game, like they did last
Colin
one.
Cowherd. So now this looks really bad if you're the Packers, because you gave away Adams, 6 wide receivers off the board, 2 traded. This looks bad. Connor, what are your thoughts? Take it away.
I don't. This draft is weird. You don't.
This
If you're the
draft is
Packers,
weird.
you don't even get your reach guy in Zion Johnson. What are you doing? I don't even get Zion Johnson. Get him
I
out of
know.
here. Go trade Aaron Rodgers to the London, whatever they want to be. Trade him for the
Alright,
Jags.
Pittsburgh Steelers, the biggest pick. Not well, maybe not the biggest pick so far, but one of the biggest picks.
It's gotta be a QB. They can't
It
be
has to
wanting to
be.
trade up to 6 to pick a guy and discussing a trade and then have him fall to 20 and not take him. Like, I know there's always the rumors on, oh, why is he dropping? It's because the QBs suck. But if you have done that much homework on him, it has to be Malik
Now,
Willis.
good. Connor, when you see it, don't announce it. I'm just gonna confirm and wait for you to see it.
You've seen it?
What a draft! No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I was about
What
to say
a
I haven't seen
draft.
anything.
Oh, okay. So at 22, we have Green Bay. They're looking for a wide receiver or an offensive lineman. Both have been taken off the board very hard this draft so far.
Cornerbacks
who's
are
at 20?
falling. Secondary is falling.
At 23, we have the Ravens again. So the Ravens come back on the board. Then Dallas. Now, is Dallas looking to trade up? Or do you think they're going to sit and take Carl Loftus at 24? Or
I don't
Jermaine
like Karl
Johnson at
Loftus.
24? I mean, I feel like if you're Dallas, you're going offense or defensive line. Andrew, do you have any take on that?
They like Linderbaum.
Like
Putting
Linderbaum.
out.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on 20 here? What are the Steelers going to do?
20. I'm thinking that
Connor,
I
it's
think
in!
it's gotta
Oh
be
my
Willis.
God!
It's gotta be Willis.
It's in!
Is
It's
it
in!
Willis?
The pick is in! It's in!
Could be an alignment, but I think it's
Tell me
Willis.
when you see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Let's go check Twitter!
I'm going. Who tweeted it?
Check Twitter!
Oh, wow.
Let's go! I called
Wow.
it!
I like the pick better. They picked Kenny Pickett.
Let's go!
I
Let's go,
I
Pitt!
like the pick better. I just didn't expect it.
Woohoo! Yeah, baby! That got me fired up right there. I mean, my screen went all crazy, but. Whew. Whew. Anyways. Did I call that, by the way? I thought I did.
Yeah, in your original
I
mock,
did call
yeah,
it.
I believe.
No, and in this one.
Yeah, I like the pick. I like him better than Willis a lot. Sam
too.
Howell's my QB1, but I liked him better than Willis. I just
You're
didn't
concerned about
expect
hand
that.
size?
No, I think he's the better prospect than Willis. I just saw the Steelers had so much homework done on Willis that they had to go Willis. So then they just how are you gonna be asking the Panthers about a trade up to get Willis and then take Pickett? Unless they would
Oh,
get a trade
all
up.
right. Enough about the Steelers. Andrew, Trent McDuffie, Jermaine Johnson. Who do you want? It's your choice.
I think I gotta go McDuffie. I know
Over Jermaine
Johnson's
Johnson.
falling here, but I think we need a corner more. And as I said, I think Johnson's being overhyped by the media. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnson continues to slide. I think McDuffie fills a bigger need. He's a better fit.
But do we need a corner?
Imagine Jermaine Johnson across the
We do.
field
We
from
got rid of
Matthew
J.C.
Judon.
Jackson. We got
Yeah,
rid
but
of
we were-
Gilmore. We need that new number one
No,
guy.
but I
McDuffie
don't
can be
think
the
we
guy.
do, and I don't think we do because we have what's his face coming back. from
Malcolm
injury.
Butler. You signed Malcolm Butler.
And Malcolm
Malcolm
Butler is
Butler.
good, but is he a number one corner?
Okay,
No, but
he doesn't have to be a number one
Jonathan
corner.
Jones-
That's the whole reason they
Jonathan
molded Jalen Mills to be their cornerback. They want him to
Right,
be
and
the
we have
cornerback.
Jalen Mills
And we have
is not
Jonathan.
the guy.
oh, and we have Jonathan Jones as well.
Jonathan Jones will always be a slot corner. They're not or a nickel option. They're not gonna make him an
No,
outside
I'm just
corner.
saying I'm just saying he's talented. That's all I'm saying.
I think that you have one of the best safety rooms in the league with those guys that you don't necessarily need a lockdown corner. I mean, you can run nickel options a lot, especially with a better edge rusher on the other side.
Or wait. We're forgetting about linebackers. N'Kobe Dean has fallen a lot here, and Devin Lloyd.
You don't need Uche is a good player. He just has injury concern. Uche can slot in. Juwan Bentley is good.
Devin Lloyd, you're getting the first linebacker off the board in the draft at 21.
Yeah, but I think you take best play available. It's what he's done in the past is just take best play available and take Jermaine
To an
Johnson.
extent, I agree.
I just don't
To-
see them not taking Jermaine Johnson or
To
trading
an
out.
extent, I agree.
I don't
To
think
an
you
extent,
pick
I
McDuffie.
agree, but to an extent, I agree. But Bill always does weird stuff during the draft. I could see a trade back here as well. There are
The
so many
Steelers
guys
pick,
available.
man, I've been so focused on this Patriots pick that I haven't paid attention to what the Steelers do.
Andrew, we announced it. Kenny Pickett.
Right. Yeah, I like that pick.
I mean, wildness. Is this? I mean, this is just insanity right now. I mean, what is going on? Andrew, I could see a Patriots trade back here too, as well, though.
The
Could
Chiefs.
see a trade back. I would not be surprised. Here's the
I'd
thing.
not be surprised, and I also wouldn't hate it as long as
I
we get
wouldn't
some.
hate it. We have a great opportunity to take either Johnson or McDuffie here, but at the same time,
Yeah.
if you trade back and stack up picks on day 2, there's going to be so many good names there. You can get a
I
new
know.
edge
that's
rusher,
what
you
I'm
can get a
saying.
corner, you can get a receiver, you can get everything you
I mean,
want. from
hello,
this team.
Andrew Booth is still on the board.
Oh,
It's not
Andrew
like-
Andrew
we
Booth is
forgot
not better
about
than
him
Trent
because I
McDuffie.
think McDuffie's a better fit.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like don't know. We'll see. This is
Really,
insane.
I want to take a minute for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really like the Kenny Pickett selection. I think he really
do too.
was. He was the best quarterback on the board. I like him over Willis, and
I agree.
it's great value too. I thought he was going top 10, but no, he falls to 20, and the Steelers get Pickett without trading up as the first quarterback in this class. That to me is one of the best picks of the night.
Matt Corral's
Well
about to
said,
go in like the
Bobby.
4th round and be still in the fucking studio.
I think only the Giants can beat that. The Steelers are one of the big winners tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, Pittsburgh held. They didn't waver. They didn't. I think they
You
could have
see,
taken.
all these other teams trade up, and they choose to be calm and collected, and they still get their guy.
yeah, it's definitely
That to
good
me
that
is
they did.
very impressive.
He's most pro ready. He's definitely the safest.
You're
option,
sitting
I'd
him
say.
behind. You're sitting him behind Mitch for a little bit at least.
Yeah, at least for a year, at least.
No, I think not at least for a year. I think half the season, maybe like an Eli Manning, Daniel Jones.
Or Lamar Jackson thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lamar Jackson was because of injury.
Okay, I called it. Patriots are trading back.
Oh, for who?
Okay.
Not reported yet, but they are trading back according
God
to Ian
damn.
Rappaport.
Bill's Husky
told
always
you.
makes the craziest.
By
thing.
the way, can I just get my credit for correctly taking Kenny Pickett at 20 on my every single mock draft? Thank you.
Really, you had Pickett at 20. That's
I
a
had
good
Pickett
one.
at 20.
That's a good one.
I've had Pickett at 20 for a
I'll
long
say
time.
the only two picks. I mean, I got the Evan Neal pick right as like he's going to the Giants and the Ahmad Gardner to the Jets, but it was the wrong slots. The only two picks that I got both the slot and the team right were Hutchinson and Stingley. The rest have been deviating from my mock draft.
If I drafted based on who I thought should go where, if I
This
was
is
the
such a hard
GM,
one.
my mock draft would be a lot better, which is kind of funny because I tried to draft on what I think the teams would do.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Because I don't think the QBs are good, and I think they drop, but QBs always go high, and even if they're bad, they're gonna go.
I think
Has Rappaport said who the hell they're trading back with?
no, he is not. He just tweeted out they're trading
when
back.
I look
Malik
at this quarterback
Willis?
class,
Chiefs are on the
Pickett.
clock. The Chiefs are trading up. That's a
Ooh,
that's,
Jermaine
that
Johnson?
makes sense. Or they're taking wide receiver out from underneath the Packers.
Hey, Andrew, your your move looks pretty good if they take Jermaine Johnson here.
Yeah.
yeah, I said Jermaine Johnson to the Chiefs. I'm a lot better at predicting the team that's going to take a player versus the pick it's going to be at.
The same with me, honestly. At this point,
I mean, I mean, a lot of the guys are going to the places I expected them to, but not in the same places. Like I know the Giants waited on Evan Neal, but they still got their guy. They
Hey,
still got their guy. And
hear
they
me
got
out,
Thibodeau,
though.
too.
could the Chiefs be trading up for Malik Willis
if
here?
they're trading up, it's absolutely for Jermaine Johnson.
You don't think it's for
Absolutely.
Malik Willis? I mean,
Malik-
quarterback of
why
the
would they
future?
take Malik Willis. They have Mahomes.
someone will give you like 4 firsts from Mahomes, and then you get off of 15 mil a year, so you can actually afford some rotational players.
Oh my god. That would really add to this offseason. I mean, you never
Alright,
know.
but
with this
what
offseason.
are the trade details? Give me the
I haven't seen it.
details.
But the
It's gotta
Patriots
be-
staying in the first
Wait,
round.
It's not. I mean, okay, so Patriots get pick 29, 94, and 121.
That's a good package. I like the fact that they
Oh,
got a third
wait.
rounder.
Say it again, Michael.
29, 94, and 121.
That's
Okay, so
solid.
now they still have a first rounder, and they
And
have
it will be.
probably
I think-
4 picks. 4 picks,
I
and
think
what I'd
it's the
consider
11th.
the sweet spot of this draft.
You
I
just
think it's the 11th time the
Late
Patriots
first to
have had
late
more than
third.
10 picks in a
Really
draft.
wanna
if the Bucks get Lloyd, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry if the Bucks get Lloyd.
Here's a joy. Or do you like him?
I'd love him. I'd love
Oh,
him.
okay. Okay.
He could fall
Here's the
that
thing.
far.
He's
Linebacker
looking like he's
here.
falling that far.
Devin Lloyd, Devin White, Levante David,
The pick
Shaq
is in for
Barrett.
the
Does
Chiefs.
it get better than that? Does it get better than that?
Yeah, I'd love him
KC
there.
took Trey McDuffie.
McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie to the Chiefs.
Casey is taking
Interesting.
Trent McDuffie.
I get it.
I'm disappointed
get
that
it.
the Patriots traded down now because I wanted McDuffie in a Patriot uniform.
No,
But hey,
you know what?
No,
Listen, Andrew,
if
Bill we trust. If Bill
Yeah,
didn't
true.
like him,
true.
if Bill didn't like him, he had the opportunity to pick McDuffie. If he
If-
wanted
Maybe
McDuffie,
Bill has his eye on Booth.
if Booth is on the board at 29, that's an amazing
It's a
trade for the
steal.
Patriots.
That's a steal if the Patriots.
But
get
you
Booth
got a
in the
couple
deal.
cornerback needy teams. You got the Titans there. You have the Bills there. The Bucks could even use some
the
secondary
Titans-
depth.
Titans need a couple wide receivers now. They lost AJ Brown.
Well, they already took Burks. I think they could go
They
QB.
love Burks, they make
I would,
up for that.
I would laugh if the Titans take Willis there.
Yeah, the Titans. I think their organization might be dying. All right, but here we go with the Packers. Who are the Packers gonna take? Are they not gonna take a wideout?
They could go
I
Linderbaum.
think they go either Pickens or Christian Watson. I could see. I've seen them linked to Watson.
Christian Watson.
I know it's a reach, but I've seen them linked to him.
I think they could go Linderbaum, interior O line, or Tyler Smith, move him to interior.
Connor, I just retweeted
Linderbaum, that's a
Patriots
good.
updated picks.
Linderbaum would be a good.
Want to
pick.
just pull that up
Linderbaum
on the
is
screen?
good
real
value
quick?
with this.
Yep, I can pull that up.
It's I just retweeted it. Mike Reese.
The
just
updated picks. Yeah, I got.
Yeah. So Connor right now is just pulling up the updated Patriots picks in the 2022 NFL
That's a lot
draft.
of picks.
That is a lot of picks. They have the 29th, the 54th, 85, 94, 121, 127, 155,
that's-
183, 200, 210, 245. For a grand
It's on the
total of
screen, Michael.
3,
You didn't have to list that out.
9, 11 picks total. Quite a few for the Patriots.
I like the pick of McDuffie for the Chiefs.
I do
think-
too.
I mean,
I do too.
like, I would have rather Jermaine Johnson there if I'm the Chiefs, or maybe even Devin Lloyd. But I'm not complaining about McDuffie. McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed, that's a decent duo of corners right there.
Yeah, I mean, now the Packers are on the clock.
I want to
This
see
is a
some.
big one.
They're not going receiver.
They can't.
I mean, who do you go for Pickens? You could go Pickens.
That's high though for Pickens.
Not really. They've been linked to him. I thought the Chiefs could have been trading up for Pickens, but to jump the Packers.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
But no, Christian Watson I like a lot, but I don't know if you take him here. He's even bigger than London, out of North Dakota State. Mechie's more like a third rounder. Jalen Tolbert has been getting a lot of buzz to be jumping up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility. Justin Ross is deep. Remember Justin Ross was supposed to be like a first round pick if he entered the draft, and he didn't.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Tough
I
life.
thought didn't Justin Ross enter the draft still?
He's entering this draft, but he could have entered like
you're
last
talking
year. or
about an
whatever.
older draft.
Yeah, he could. I think he could have entered
I
last
wonder
year.
if
Nick is
Justin
in for
Ross
the
was in the first
Packers.
round after all.
Who is it?
Oh no, it's just pick is in on ESPN. I haven't seen
Oh.
anything. I'll let you
Oh,
know. It should be
the
a quick
Ravens
second.
are now on the board at the Cardinal spot with Jermaine
The
Johnson.
Ravens are now at the board at 23. Probably one of the more unexpected trades. That in the.
I mean,
in
do
the
they go
Ravens.
receiver now? Do they go receiver here if Green Bay doesn't?
Yeah, probably. I would think.
I'm praying that
Oh,
Lloyd gets
whoa!
the Bucks.
The Packers are taking a linebacker. Guess who it is, though, Connor?
Muma.
I'll give you a hint. It's
Bad
not Devin
Muma.
Lloyd.
Bad Muma.
Oh.
Jacoby
No.
Dean.
No.
Quay Walker. They took the Patriots guy.
Guess so.
Wow, Bill just got fleeced. That's who he wanted at 29. I'm not wrong though. That's who he wanted at 29.
No, he did not want.
Yes, he
Quay
did.
Walker
He
to
wanted to
come
take him
back.
at 21. That's what all the rumors
Belichick
were.
wanted Quay Walker. I did hear
Whoa.
about Quay Walker. I had a friend saying there's going to be Walker tonight, but I'm honestly glad Quay Walker's gone because if the
Yeah, now we
Patriots
can
took
just
him,
say
I wouldn't have.
No, that's what someone said. I forget. Someone. I think it was
Yeah, someone. There was a report.
Matt
that
Miller.
Quay Walker-
Matt Miller said, Quay Walker does
It was
not
a
get past
mistake
New
the
England.
Patriots took him.
If
Because
Connor.
Walker
Connor,
over
the Bucks
Lloyd
might
and
get
Nakobe
Devin
Dean.
Lloyd.
I'd cry. I'd cry. I'd be so happy.
Bucks-
That'd be
Second of all,
The
insane.
Bucks might get a shot at Devin Lloyd.
Like, first of all, if Belichick wanted Quay Walker over Lloyd and Dean, that would have been a problem. So now this puts Belichick
the
into a
the
position-
Packers did the same thing. They picked.
Yeah, I know the Packers just did the same thing. I'm glad the Packers made the mistake. So the
You know what?
Patriots
The
didn't
Cowboys
have
are gonna take. The Cowboys are gonna take
Linderbaum.
Jermaine Johnson.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
The Cowboys are gonna take Jermaine Johnson. And Jerry Jones wins.
Jerry
again.
Jones did it again.
He did it again.
Jerry Jones did it again. I can't believe it.
He did it again. Oh my God! He did it
Wait a
again.
minute, what's happening?
Wow.
The Packers are gonna get Jermaine Johnson.
The Cowboys are gonna take Jermaine Johnson at 24.
The Cowboys are
Um,
taking Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, maybe.
The Ravens are
Because I
trading
was
number
waiting-
23 to the
Fake news,
Bills.
hold on. Baltimore is not at 23. The Bills have traded up and now are on the
Ooh.
clock.
Oh no way! The
Oh.
Bills just traded up for a running back.
Not
Kidding.
taking Jermaine
No,
Johnson.
they
The
can't.
They have
Bills.
Rosso.
Jermaine Johnson?
They have Gregory Rosso.
Russo is
And they
bad.
have AJ Epineza. They have so many edge rushers.
But none of them
They're
came
not
out
big.
good. None of them came
No,
out
they're
as
here.
good
I
prospects.
think,
That's true.
as stupid as it. Actually, no.
No, it's
They're gonna get Devin
linebacker,
Lloyd.
right? It's
Devin
got to be
Lloyd.
Devin
Aaron
Lloyd.
It's linebacker.
Yeah.
They need that third-star linebacker.
That's
They
what I.
belong
That's
on
what I was
line.
thinking. I was thinking Lloyd.
Devin
Aaron
Lloyd is
Rodgers is
going here.
crying
You
He's
get
a
the Matt-
one-on-one linebacker.
You get the Matt Milano replacement.
Yes, exactly. Oh yeah,
Aaron
Matt Milano's gone. I
Rodgers-
forgot he was gone.
Aaron Rodgers is crying. His team took an inside linebacker.
I have to
Like
update that
replacing-
in my-
Blake Martinez from 2 years ago. Aaron Rodgers is in tears. His team hasn't picked a wide receiver. So
Oh, yeah. I was saying they didn't really have a choice. Taking a
Alright,
wide
so the
receiver
Bills
guy,
trade
but
up.
They still haven't taken one. It's
Uh,
crazy to me.
Hey,
how
Connor, the
resistant-
Bills trade up from 25 to 23. And the Baltimore Ravens get the 25th and the 130th overall pick. So not a bad haul for Baltimore. Pretty fair overall, I think.
Yeah, that's.
Pretty fair.
I mean, going up.
I
base
think
with-
Baltimore's just like, well, we don't really want to pick anyone, so we'll just keep trading back.
Yeah. You don't take Jermaine Johnson here. They're not trading up for Brees Hall. It's got to be
They
for
can't be
Lloyd.
taking
It has to be for Lloyd or Booth. It's Lloyd or Booth. I don't get it if it isn't. It makes no sense to me if it's not.
Hold on, but they do need to fill that cornerback room, right? Because after White went out.
Yeah, that's why I said Booth, but I think it's Lloyd. I think you get the Milano replacement. I think you go Lloyd here.
Yeah, it's gotta be Lloyd. It's gotta be Lloyd.
That's a really good trade for them. If they only give up
Yeah,
pick
just
130 and they
Walker
get
pick.
Lloyd,
I think the Packers, yeah, they did need a linebacker, but they could have done much better, and it was awful value. So I'm not liking that pick.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Quay Walker pick.
I mean,
you
that's
picked
like-
him over.
a borderline C or D pick.
Yeah.
My book.
Especially considering you lost Devonta Adams, like you need a wide receiver there. You need to pick a wide receiver at some point, right? And they didn't. They picked an inside linebacker. For what?
well, to be fair, there's no receiver that feels like good value there that spot.
I
'Cause they're
know,
all
but that's the
freaking
thing,
gone.
The Packers should have traded up.
Yeah, they should have.
Now, once receivers started going off the board, when Drake London went off the board, and they saw Jameson Williams and Garrett Wilson, the Packers should have had alarm bells ringing in their head saying, hello, wide receivers are going off the board here. All right, it is not Devin Lloyd. It is a cornerback, but it is not Andrew Booth.
Kaiir Elam?
Yes, sir. Kaiir
I
Elam.
like Elam.
Interesting.
that's a
Interesting.
good
I like Elam over Booth even.
I mean, they did need another corner next to Trey White. And Alam, I wasn't as high on him as other people were, but I mean, considering he was probably going to go, it's decent value. I don't mind it.
I feel like they could have stuck at 25 and got him, though.
Yeah, I don't know why they trade up for him. The Cowboys were not taking Quay Walker. I mean, sorry,
Ravens
Jair
could have been
Alexander.
taking a corner. Ravens could have been.
Yeah, but they probably would have taken Booth though.
You never know what teams know. I mean, yeah,
Booth is-
everyone
Booth is really sliding.
says like Booth would be the next guy off, but I liked
All right, so
Alam
the
over
big-
Booth. My big board
the
rankings
big-
had Alam over Booth.
So the big slider tonight
Jermaine
so far
Johnson
is Jermaine Johnson.
and
but I
Malik
think
Willis.
it's gotta go. Jermaine
Malik
Johnson's
Willis not to
go
be the
Dallas.
first QB off the board.
All right, but what if Malik Willis goes to Dallas?
What are you talking about?
What if they shop Dak?
I don't hate it, but I don't see him doing it. Like I think I'd shop Dak. Bad
You know
contract. He's not good
you know
enough.
Jerry's-
But
you know Jerry's fucking.
Jerry
insane.
Judy's gonna stick with him.
I think they're gonna take Jermaine Johnson, and they're gonna replace Randy Gregory fairly easily. The Cowboys are gonna get a projected top 10 overall pick at 24. Unbelievable.
Really think Jerry Jones takes Jermaine Johnson. I mean, I could see it.
I think he has to. This is a Jerry Johnson written all over it.
Jerry Jones.
Don't
yeah.
do it. Please don't fucking do it. If you already know who they got and you're with
Michael, what do you,
don't
Michael,
fucking
what do you
do it,
listen
okay?
to, buddy?
I swear to God.
Time
That
back to the
Green
show.
Wow. I want Devin Lloyd to be a Buccaneer so bad.
Connor, you're a longtime Bucks fan. If I'm
I am a
remembering
long time.
correct.
I have my Josh Freeman jersey somewhere around here.
Hmm.
God forbid.
Yeah, so the Cowboys really they have two choices here. Jerry Jones could go for what he did in 2020, what he did in 2021, and get amazing value with the best player on the board in Jermaine Johnson. Or he could try and fill a bigger need. The Cowboys do need a Lael Collins replacement.
He's going
Could
best.
he go
It's Jerry
O-line?
Jones. He wanted to trade up for Thibodeau or Johnson, and now he has one at 20.
Yeah, I mean Andrew. I mean,
It's got to be Dean or Johnson. He's got to say best
I mean-
player available. Get one of those two. And I'm assuming. I mean
Kobe
Lloyd or Johnson.
Dean, I could see that.
If Lloyd goes to the Bucks, if Lloyd's still there, he could go Lloyd at 24. I mean, if he goes to the Bills, sorry.
I was trying to think,
I
are there
just-
any
I don't
linemen
think-
here that are in the BPA conversation? I mean, maybe Linderbaum, but he's a center, so that's kind of a tricky situation.
Linderbaum
how
can play
many
guard.
picks- all right, so Connor, we are.
Linderbaum could play guard, and then you move Connor Williams out to tackle. I could see
Connor,
the Cowboys doing that.
Connor, we're 3 picks away from the Bucks. So we have the Cowboys, Baltimore, and then Tennessee.
Baltimore's
Now,
s-
Baltimore and Tennessee both could take linebacker. Do you
Yeah, they
think that
could.
will?
I mean, if they do, then you have Booth
Those
and
guys will be a
Daxton Hill
wild
available,
linebacker.
which I'm happy with both of those. I'm
Pretty
also
sure
happy
my
with
mock
Jermaine
draft-
Johnson. There's a lot of guys I'd be happy with. I don't
In
think.
my mock draft, I had 3 linebackers in round 1. I had Lloyd, I had Nakobe Dean, and I had Chad Muma. Could Muma still go round 1, and are we even going to have 3 linebackers?
I think.
in round
I think the. Oh wait, the Lions don't have 32. Never mind. I think the Lions would definitely be looking at linebacker,
to
but
the
they don't got the
Vikings.
pick.
Vikings have 32.
Yeah, with the
What if
Vikings.
they take another quarterback like they did with Teddy Bridgewater
If
in 2014?
if Linderbaum is off the board by 32, I feel like the Vikings mess that up.
Nah, I mean.
That's not that
I mean,
much
who else
of a
would the
return.
Vikings take? I could see them taking a safety. That's the other thing.
Daxton Hill or
The
Louis
Daxton
Cine.
Hill or Pitry,
Pitry's more like
I'm
a
trying to
third
look at
rounder.
some other. Oh, yeah,
I think it's
he's right.
Daxton Hill or Louis Cine are the only. Cine is more of a
Yeah,
straight
Louis Cine,
safety,
I forgot about him.
and Daxton more can
I've
move
heard
around.
things that Brisker could go earlier than expected too.
Who is it?
Quan Brisker.
Oh, the Penn State kid.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm surprised
So
we haven't got a
Brisker,
running back.
Cine, Hill, those are all options at 32.
Yeah. Are we gonna get
And
no
yeah, if
round
Linderbaum
one?
falls, that's another good pick too.
Are we gonna get no round one running backs?
I think so.
I don't. At this point, the Bills didn't take one, so it's not happening.
That feels so weird though.
But I'm looking at this board. There's no
Yeah, I
team
know.
here that
A
really
team
needs
could
a
trade
running
No
up.
team here is. No team here is gonna pick up.
Yeah, exactly.
I never thought a running back would go in round 1. It's honestly a
But you
stupid
never
move.
thought a running back would go in round 1 last year, and you had 2 go before
No,
25.
I still thought the Steelers would probably take one. Like the Najee Harris pick was not a bad.
So
pick. It was the
bad.
ETN pick.
That was so bad. He didn't even play.
Najee. No, that's because he had no O line.
Najee was good. Najee was good.
Najee had the highest usage rate out of any player in the league, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that one's worth
Which
it.
feels crazy.
Bill Belichick loves picks, though, doesn't he? I think the two teams that love picks the most are the Vikings and the Patriots. No team
Yeah.
trades back more predictably than those two.
Yeah. But honestly, in this draft, if there's any draft to have that strategy, it's this one. This is a Belichick-friendly draft.
Yes, I agree. Dallas on the clock. 5 minutes left on the clock for them.
They're just taking which one of the generational dropping players should we take here? I think I don't mind Lloyd at all, because then you can commit Micah Parsons to being more of a for sure edge rusher, which he
Right.
seems better at than coverage.
And if you take Jermaine Johnson,
You can
you're
keep him
obviously
as your
gonna-
hybrid and let Jermaine
Right.
Johnson run a full-time edge, and you can also kind of move Jermaine Johnson inside. Jermaine Johnson's pretty big.
Yeah,
He doesn't
big
have
dude,
to
and
be
you
an
gotta-
edge. He could be a D
Now, you do
lineman.
have to replace Randy Gregory, though. You have to do that somehow.
Yeah, what a mess that was. Yeah, Jermaine Johnson is 6'5", 254. He can definitely play on the line. He doesn't have
He
to
can
come out
play,
yet.
He can play DI. He can play interior defensive line.
Yeah,
Lord knows
he,
that.
he definitely can in a 4-3.
So far, no word on the Dallas Cowboys pick. Baltimore selects after that, then Tennessee, then Connors Buccaneers. After that, we have the Packers again, Patriots, Chiefs, Bengals, Vikings. At the moment, as of now, to close out the first round, we're almost there. It is only 10:41 p.m. Eastern time right
10:41.
now.
Yeah.
We are down to 9 more picks.
I feel like
That's pretty good, Connor.
last year went
Last-
to like
Last year was
12:30.
With the Cowboys taking a while here, it tells me that Jermaine Johnson is not necessarily a lock for this.
I
pick.
agree. He's definitely not a lock. He's definitely.
Yeah, I could see
agree.
Linderbaum. Linderbaum, I'd go here.
You could. I feel like I'm now talking myself into Lloyd, and let Micah Parsons just run wild on the edge.
Which means
Well,
Jermaine
yeah,
Johnson
Micah
is
Parsons could
falling.
be a full-time edge rusher. That's
I feel like
not
he'd
a
be
bad idea.
better in that role.
But,
Okay,
I
so
mean, the
last year's
Cowboys-
Connor,
the
for
question is, do
reference,
they even need an edge
just for timing reference, last year's draft reactions was 4 hours and 13 minutes.
No,
So
yeah, I
for
remember.
tonight,
The
have
Bucks
gone-
picked at 11:30 last year.
Cowboys,
Hey,
they already
So
have
far we've gone
DeMarcus
3
Lawrence
hours,
and Dante
so-
Fowler Jr.
Six
the
then.
pick is in for the Cowboys. According to ESPN, and then according
Jermaine
to
Johnson, where is he gonna? Would he start over Fowler? That's the question.
I'm calling Jermaine Johnson.
I've now talked myself into Lloyd because it took so long. Wow, lineman
I'm saying Linderbaum.
Tyler
lineman.
Smith.
Tyler Smith, wow.
Oh, I
That's
like that pick.
That I like it too. That was the
is my
Saints
third
guy.
correct pick in the mock draft.
You know what?
I had Tyler
That
Smith
is the
for
pick I did
Cowboys.
not expect from the Cowboys. Usually Jerry Jones is impulsive and takes the best guy.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking in Jerry Jones's head. I'm like, it's got to be one of these defensive guys, but
I
it
was
makes
thinking
sense.
You gotta
Right.
fill the needed O line.
You gotta shift him to guard. He played tackle in college, but you gotta shift him to
Tyler
guard.
Smith to guard, and you put Connor Williams at tackle.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Buccaneers got one step closer to Lloyd. Wow.
I like the Tyler Smith pick. It was one that I called. Now, with some of the guys on the board, it's not as strong as it was in my mock draft, but still a solid pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is just. So now you're Baltimore at 25. You have your pick of basically three
Booth?
great players.
I want to say
Booth?
Booth.
I would say Booth.
You could go
Or
one of the
Lloyd.
defensive guys.
Booth or Lloyd.
Baltimore.
I mean, you definitely could go Jermaine Johnson, shift him to shift him
I
to
could see
the
Booth here, but
line.
I think Devontae Wyatt is the pick.
Devontae Wyatt is dropping close to out of the second with his character
really?
shit.
And
Is what I'm
maybe they
hearing.
go for a different D lineman. I've
Yeah.
seen DeMarvin Leal maybe.
Yeah,
There's
I mean they
potential
could. I think you could just shift Jermaine Johnson inside. He's bigger than
Travis Jones, the UConn guy.
you can just get if you stick Jermaine Johnson in the weight room all summer, then he can definitely play D tackle. I mean, he's bigger than a lot of
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys.
No, I
I
don't see,
would like Johnson at D tackle. They
I
did
don't-
just
I don't see
re-sign Calais
Johnson.
Campbell. I don't know if they necessarily need another D tackle.
I don't see Johnson going here.
But they wanted
Neither.
Jordan Davis. This guy's might be bigger than Jordan Davis, honestly. His size, about the same. They're about the same height.
Tyler Smith, 6'4", 324. So he's a big
He's
dude.
about the same numbers, same size as Jordan Davis.
I mean, there is a little bit of concern though. He played for Tulsa, right? So definitely not the same level as
Who,
other
Tyler
schools.
Smith?
However, yeah,
I'll tell
Oh,
you
come
what,
on! Don't.
I think Bill Belichick still has the opportunity to potentially pull off a Jermaine Johnson pick.
Ali Mopet played in Div 3. He was at Hobart and William Smith. And he was a perfectly fine guard in the NFL.
and guess what? He's retired.
He's retired because he was a Pro Bowler and won a Super Bowl. All Pro and won a Super Bowl.
So Baltimore 7 minutes nearly on the clock, and I think
Tulsa's not even a small school.
I'll tell you one thing. I'd say, like, this draft has had probably, like, last year's draft, there were a lot of picks I really, really liked, and then there were a few that stood out as picks I really, really hated. This year, there's not as many that I'm in love with, but there's also not as many that I, like, completely despise.
there's a lot that I'm like, well, that could work out, but I don't really know.
Yes, exactly.
The-
There's a
the
lot
one
of those
thing-
picks that are like you don't know.
It's
very
not-
hard to grade this draft right now.
It's not the
what I'll say.
picks I've hated. It's the trades I've hated.
The trades.
The
yes.
trades have been bad.
Titans.
Teams
made
are
an
getting
awful trade.
fleeced, bro.
The Saints made an awful trade.
The Vikings vastly misjudged the value of their pick easily.
Yeah, you definitely could have got more out of that.
I like them taking 32 and 34 because that's a good spot to be. in.
But I
do
feel like you
wish-
could have got more based on the other stuff that's happened.
Yeah, maybe get a third round.
I think what they should have had is they should have given up 12, taken 32, 34, and 66, and not given up 46.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they would have
That's
had 4
better.
picks in that sweet
In day
spot
2.
range.
4 picks in
Would've
day
been
2.
awesome.
Right.
Absolutely load up on depth.
Well, no, it'd be 3 picks in day 2 and then the final pick of day 1.
Oh yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
day 2 is
Wait,
round
did they have
3
a
and-
fourth on day 2?
round 2 and 3.
Oh yeah, they have their own third rounder.
They have their own third round. So it's been four
So yeah,
picks.
so 5 picks.
5 picks, counting 1 tonight and then 4 tomorrow. That's solid depth. I would have liked that.
Instead-
But it's still
So,
decent. You still get second pick in the second round. Now you have 2
Would've been cool if
thirds.
they had the back-to-backs though. That would have been a little more fun to like make 1 pick tonight and then make the second pick tomorrow.
Yeah, no, that would have been cool, but no dice.
Didn't the Jaguars have that last
The
year?
Jaguars picking in between them.
Didn't the Jaguars have that last year? The 33rd and then the 1st and the 2nd? Or the 32nd and the
I think It
33rd?
was another team.
Was
Might
it?
have been another team.
Yeah, I thought it was the Chiefs or something like that.
No, it was traded. I know it was traded. I thought it was the Jags. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh,
I don't think it was the Jags.
oh,
that
it was the
kept-
Bucks. I thought we traded down for Troy and Trianka. Was it the
The Bucks, did they have 2.1?
No, no. What was
So, it might have been 2 years. Honestly, it might have been 2 years ago. I'm thinking it's 2 years ago.
eventually when the
It might have been Cincinnati.
And then that was the draft that the Chiefs took
Somebody and then T. Higgins.
C-
T. Higgins was the first
uh,
one too.
CEH. Right? By Edward
Oh wait, no,
Hilaire.
Chiefs. Yeah, Chiefs were last that year. It was CEH.
I don't know what I feel like something like that happened. Maybe it was a
Yeah, there was
Day
there
2
was
to
a
3.
draft where it happened. I just forget which one it was.
yeah. Any news on the Ravens? It's getting close
No
to
news on the Ravens. They've
getting
2
close
minutes
to
left
low
on the
here.
clock.
Are they gonna make a third?
I
Is
think
it
they're
fourth?
considering a lot of options here. Quite honestly,
Would that be a fourth
There's
trade
some
of the
good D
day?
linemen on the
Third.
board. Good O linemen.
It would either be the 3rd or the 4th.
Go Booth.
What is going on E
Go
ESPN?
Lloyd.
What is this guy doing?
Many choices.
Are they like writing their names on a sandwich?
Oh, he was doing a painting, I guess. Of
Writing
all
their
the...
names on a sandwich.
What are you talking about, Michael?
Oh no! Before that, he's doing a painting. But before that, they were writing on sandwiches.
I have no idea. I wasn't watching that.
Okay. That is very strange.
He's doing a painting of Roger Goodell.
Pick is in. This is weird. I like Jermaine Johnson here. Move him inside. Force him to put on some weight.
I just can't see it.
There's no way he falls to round 2, right?
Man Johnson.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't had a team that was super high on him like the Falcons trade
I'm
back
saying
up.
the Patriots. The Patriots are gonna stop either the Patriots or the Chiefs. One of those two is gonna.
I wouldn't mind him on the Bucks. I mean,
That could happen too because besides that interior O lineman,
oh,
what else does Tampa need
Linderbaum.
that
Wow, Linderbaum.
I like it.
that makes sense.
Good
Yeah,
pick.
I mean, they need an line.
I feel like they need
Honestly,
tackle.
hey.
I want to say they lost an interior guy this offseason.
Connor,
I'm
you
trying to
either get a
remember.
run at Booth, Lloyd, or Johnson. 2 of those 3.
And I like Daxton Hill too. Yeah. I'd love to have
Honestly,
Lloyd.
I think the bigger thing.
All right, hold on. But
The
biggest loser in the
Patriots
draft-
get Booth or do the
Yeah.
Patriots get Booth or Johnson to fall their way?
biggest loser
Potentially,
in the
yeah.
draft tonight.
Unless the Packers take another non-wide receiver lineman.
Oh my god.
Connor,
The
Packers go Booth.
Aaron Rodgers, he just signed that huge extension. If the Packers have going to next year, not taking a
Trading?
receiver in round 1, and Amari Rodgers as the number 1 wide
Yo,
receiver.
trading his best receiver, not signing his second best, not signing the 4th and 5th guy as well, then not drafting one in the first round.
And they have like Randall Cobb and Amari Rodgers.
Wait.
Even number 3 receivers.
Randall Cobb was in a retirement home already.
Oh, okay, who is losing the draft the most so far tonight?
Look.
Mm.
The Titans.
Titans?
Titans for sure.
You think?
Titans.
Saints and Packers. Those are my 2.
Oh, I like the Saints draft. I think it's bad to trade up for Olave. Basically, you just lost a 3rd and a 4th, right? But you still
Yeah, the
got
Saints can
Penning,
take Penning, too.
and Olave's fine.
Green
He'll be
Bay.
fine.
Green Bay is a big loser, though.
Green Bay's a big loser. I think
If they don't take
Quay
this-
Walker
that's-
reminds me a lot of the Patrick Queen pick. I kind of went higher than expected.
No,
Oh,
because
Jets
Walker
traded
was
back up. It
really
has to
good.
be Jermaine Johnson. The Jets
It
have
has
to.
to be.
It's done.
has to
It's
be.
done. So they want to take him at
Wait a
4. They
minute.
want to take him at 4. They got him at 26.
Jets
That would
best
be
team in the
really
NFL?
insane. That would be really insane.
Is this the Jets' 3rd first-round pick of the day? Unreal.
I think it is. I think it is. That's pretty crazy.
3
Jets-
first-round picks.
Run away with this draft.
Best draft easily. That's an A+ draft. New York. Actually,
York
sorry,
fans
New
Gotta
Jersey.
be happy today.
New Jersey
York
has
fans
had
gotta
an
be
insane draft.
Yeah, because the Giants too.
New Jersey is riding strong.
Tennessee's gotta have the worst draft at this point. No first-round picks. Oh no, 1 first-round pick.
Yeah, there's no way this isn't Jermaine Johnson.
I'll give
They wanted to pick him at 4.
you
4.
another loser. Arizona
Yeah, for sure, Arizona. I mean,
gave up too much for Hollywood.
Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, who a lot of people had as the best receiver and Jermaine Johnson, man, I'm gonna sound so
Wait,
stupid.
wait, hold on. Here's the trade. The Titans give up 26 and 101. The Jets give them 35, 69.
Yep, Jermaine
162.
Johnson.
And
Wow,
Jermaine
the Jets.
Johnson.
Wow, the
The
Jets.
Jets.
How about the Jets? Walking away from
Lamar
this
Jackson
night,
is pissed.
walking away from this night, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson. Can you beat that? Tell if you tell me you can beat that, I don't know.
You
what
can
you're talking about.
argue
don't
the
think you
Giants,
can.
but I can't even say that. I can't say that.
Maybe the Giants, maybe, but
Not getting
Even
Jermaine
then-
Johnson.
even then,
They
it's
said we
Neal
like
and
him over
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. We
One
want him
home
at
run
4.
pick and one pretty good pick.
We want
Jets
him
gonna
at
have
4, but you
two
know what?
home runs.
We'll trade back up in the first round to get him at 26.
I think they might have taken him at 4 if
Sauce Gardner. Was
if
back.
Sauce Gardner went to
Well, no,
went to
maybe they
Houston.
would've taken Stingley. We don't know how they felt about Stingley.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
maybe.
matter.
That's
So Connor, Devin Lloyd.
that's the best pick in the draft.
Yes, by far biggest steal.
Is it officially Johnson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, officially Jermaine Johnson. Yeah, steal of the draft.
Wow, the Jets are crazy.
Absolutely
For Connor, you get Lloyd.
amazing. That's it.
I
That's a
d-
home run.
Yeah.
I think him and Evan Neal are probably the two best. Him a little higher than Neal, but those are your two home run picks tonight.
Does this mean the Patriots probably get Andrew Booth?
I like that. I like that.
Probably, right? Because Green Bay is not taking a quarterback.
You don't know. You don't know that. Maybe they want to place
They
Jair.
could take a corner.
Maybe they'll
Kevin
cut
King-
Jair.
Kevin King is not that good.
No, they're gonna take a kicker, Roberto Aguayo. CO.
No, his brother's in this draft, isn't he?
Roberto Aguayo the second.
Wait, I'm actually pretty sure Ricky Aguayo is in this draft. All I'm saying is he's in this draft.
Hey, Mason Crosby's an old dude. You never know.
Yeah. They're gonna do anything it takes to not take a wide receiver.
This is an experiment at this point. It's literally just an experiment on Rogers'
we-
patience.
Can we sign Aaron Rodgers to this mega extension and expect him to perform with Randall Cobb, Amari Rogers, and Robert Tunyon? He has good
Hey,
running backs.
This is an experiment on how mad you can make a quarterback before he blows up.
Honestly, though, here's my take. With the Packers acting like this and the Vikings with a new coach and GM, Vikings take the North.
Let's see who they pick at 32 and 34.
If Booth gets down to the Bengals, that's crazy.
You think he's gonna get past the Pats?
I mean, maybe the Pats like a
No. Unless there's another corner the Patriots like. Maybe it's Kyler Gordon.
Daxton
Maybe it's
Hill.
Roger McCreary.
Patriots trade back again?
Probably.
Not happen.
That's such
Probably.
a Bill move. That's such
This
a Bill
point-
move.
If they're trading back, I want 2-day 2 picks.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe more. Maybe more.
The Jets pick is in. Jermaine Johnson.
That's a pretty
The
quick jacket.
Whoa! The
I-
Jaguars traded up to 27.
Fair enough.
Told you, Buccaneers were moving out of the
Fair
first
enough.
round.
Fair enough.
So who is Jackson?
Give me Cam Robinson. That's
I can
fine.
still see it
That's
in a lot.
fine.
Wait, who is Jacksonville gonna take?
Jacksonville?
line?
Are they gonna take Lloyd themselves?
No,
I don't think
that
they
doesn't
need
make
to.
sense. That doesn't make sense.
If it's a receiver.
Yeah, could have. I was thinking they could have junked the Packers for receiver, but then they just paid
that,
Christian
would,
Kirk.
that would be so funny. That would be so funny.
They could still take a receiver.
Yeah, I think they
It
could.
doesn't matter. You never know with Trent Baalke. They already took Walker at 1, which was a puzzling pick.
They
But
could
How
go
about
corner.
how about
They
teams?
could go
How
secondary.
about teams that didn't pick tonight? How about the Dolphins? The Dolphins. They gotta be nervous.
But they have Tyreek Hill. Kill him.
I know, but
Ooh, it could be Daxton.
no, I'm not. I'm not really
This is a
buying
good.
the
I like
Dolphins
this
this
trade
year.
for the
Can
Bucks.
can Tua supply
Connor, the Bucks get
Waddle? I don't
Connor.
know.
The Bucks move
33?
back to 33, which is basically nothing. They get 106 and 180.
I love it. I
That's
love
pretty
it.
good. That's pretty.
There's a
you're
chance
basically giving
Devontae
up-
Wyatt's on the board at 33. I'd love that. Chance Lloyd falls. Chance Cine falls. Chance
You're
Daxton Hill
basically
falls.
giving
A
up
lot of
nothing.
good names falling to day 2.
I
Day
love
2
that.
is where it's at.
First
And
pick,
guess what? The
Kamala?
Bucks and the Bucks have the pick.
Honestly, a lot of these picks in the first round,
I love it.
a lot of projected day 2
Love-
guys
you
went in
gotta
the first
love
round,
that.
and it's causing all these day 1 names to fall to day 2.
Bill Belichick would have done the same thing.
I think the over on every draft day trade has like the over is usually
There
like
have been
6 or
so
7. I feel like there's been 12 trades.
Last year, it felt like there weren't that many, and now this year, it's just blowing up.
Draft day trades. It's been unreal today.
Like, it's not even just picks. AJ Brown getting traded to the
Hey,
Eagles.
Jermaine
Hollywood
Johnson's
Brown to
first
the
round. He's been
Cardinals.
waiting a long
Hollywood
time.
Brown.
Jermaine Johnson's
Oh,
been waiting a long time
freaking
for this
trade.
one. Good for him.
Bro, Debo Samuel sitting at home just sad.
Well,
He's
we
just
watched
sad.
Hollywood Brown and AJ Brown get traded. I think Debo is better than both of those two, and he's sitting on the couch.
Balky is nuts.
Why doesn't
What did Balky just do?
Connor, pull up this tweet from Skip Bayless. I just retweeted it.
Lord. Eagles trade for AJ? Like the one that he says they're better than the Cowboys?
Yes. That's insane.
Oh. Okay,
My
we're
bad.
back.
All good. All good.
Wow, that Jets trade wasn't even bad. 36,
No, it was
69,
good.
and 163 for 26 and 101. That's not bad. You move up 9 slots.
Connor, this is gonna be a crazy draft review podcast episode, and you know it. We're gonna be doing this for an hour and a half.
Are we doing a grades podcast? Is that what it is?
I
don't
mean,
know if
I
we
got
can
my
do
grades right here. I could easily.
We
Dude,
might have to. We might have to split it into 2 episodes.
Yeah, AFC,
pick is
NFC.
in.
The pick is in.
I haven't seen.
I've not seen it either.
My computer's behind, so not getting these picks as fast as you two here.
Ah!
Whoa.
We could have had him.
There you
We
go.
could have had him. We could have
You
had him.
didn't want him though. You didn't
I know.
want him.
I know.
I'm
I get
reading
it.
the NFL Network thing on the Packers. It's just kind of funny to see.
Get it.
After parting with Devontae Adams, this seems like the time to snap this streak of drafts without spending a first-round pick on a wide receiver. It's only been 20 years. 20
I mean,
years.
don't they have like?
Aaron Rodgers must like
He must be mauled.
I don't
I
get that
know.
pick.
I mean, they could take Pickens today.
Didn't
but
they
we don't-
just-
I don't think they will.
Didn't they just overpay for Olakun from the Falcons? And they also drafted Chase on last year. Devin Lloyd doesn't seem like a great pick to me. I mean, he's
Is that a
generation. That's who the Jaguars picked.
Yeah,
He's
so
good.
The Buccaneers trade out of 27, and the Jaguars are the ones to take Devin Lloyd. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that pick. I don't think they need him.
Yeah,
I think they need him.
it
It's
feels
good
like
value, but
he's
do
a
they
depth
really need him?
pick, which doesn't make
They're just
sense.
forcing him in there. It's like, yeah, Ola Kuhn's already there. You're right about that. They definitely could have.
I mean,
done
do you
better
put
with this pick.
Chase
I don't
on
think they
like-
should have traded up in the first place.
You play Chase on like the left end, make
Is
him more
there
of a
really anyone worth trading up for the Jaguars? I don't think so.
yeah. It doesn't make too.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
at
it's
all.
been.
But he's
That-
a
that
really
right
good
there-
talent. Maybe they have
I think-
something lined up for someone else. I
Write
don't know.
down Jacksonville as one of the biggest losers of this draft so far. I know they had the first pick, but they
botched
choked
it.
the first pick. And Devin Lloyd is not a good one for them either. I'm not liking this draft. For
It's
them.
not terrible. I mean, it's not terrible.
I mean, okay. But if you look at Walker next to Hutchinson, next to Stingley, next to Gardner, those were all amazing picks. And the Jaguars
okay,
take
but-
Walker at one.
But how about the Ravens getting the best safety and center in the draft? at 14 and 25.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty damn good. And I'd say they fleeced the Cardinals for Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
The
got an
only
extra pick on
issue
top of that,
now-
trading
The
back
only
and
issue
keeping
now is,
Linderbaum.
do you trust Bateman with pretty much
Yeah,
no
they have
number
no
2
receivers.
receiver there? I mean,
Could
they
they-
should probably
hey,
take him on day 2.
Could
but
they trade
we'll
for
see.
Debo Samuel?
Maybe, but a day 2 receiver seems more likely to me.
Lamar Jackson tweeted out, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, when they drafted Linderbaum,
Yeah,
they're
he doesn't-
protecting
he
you,
just
buddy.
wants another receiver. He does not like that.
But
No,
it's a
that was-
center.
Hold on. No, that was moments after Marquise Brown was traded. That was not
Oh.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about
makes
the Brown.
sense.
He wanted Brown to stay.
Well, yeah, they're good friends. But I mean, they fleeced the Cardinals for that because the Cardinals are so desperate to
I
make
know.
Kyler happy.
I know.
That, like-
Hopefully Lamar thanks them for it late. Honestly, though, like I know it's good value, but it'd be interesting to see what they do with that value. Because I was thinking when they had Bateman, Brown, J.K. Dobbins coming back, Mark Andrews, that was one of the scariest offenses in all of football. I think the Ravens were the AFC North favorites before.
I just
But
want to.
unless they get another wide receiver, the Bengals might be ahead of them.
It is really weird of the Jags to go Devin Lloyd over N'Kobe Dean. I feel like. Like last
Why
year
are
they
you so-
paired ETN with Lawrence. They could pair teammates on the best line in college in N'Kobe Dean and Walker together. I feel like that's something they'd want to do.
Yeah, I know they're all about the. I think I had the I was saying the Jaguars are going to take Justin Ross on day 2
Yeah.
with the
So
Clemson.
Green
guys
Bay,
on
we're
there.
still watching.
Yeah, and they paired Chase with.
Okay. Do the Packers take a wide receiver? That's
They
the question
can't.
of the night.
They can't. I mean, they have to, but they can't.
It'd be so funny. It'd be so
They
funny.
have to, but they can't.
Look,
Honestly,
If they take
honestly,
anything- unless they take a wide receiver, I'm grading this pick pretty harshly. That's
honestly,
false.
why don't you take Malik Willis to back up Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the
that would
board.
be-
He's
that-
on the
that would-
board.
You're gonna need
That would
some.
be
You're gonna
fun.
need someone for the future.
Yeah.
You need someone for the future after your
Like
future.
we don't know if Jordan Love's their. We don't know if Aaron Rodgers is their guy, and we don't know if Jordan Love is their guy.
We
for
don't
their
know if
guys,
Jordan Love
so-
is the guy behind the guy. So
Yeah.
Can never have too many quarterbacks. Also, you got Kurt Benkert. What a beast. We love Kurt
Yeah, I
Benkert.
mean-
Ben Kurt, the greatest
yeah, I mean,
name
you
of
could
all.
probably get a first rounder for him.
So you can probably play Kurt Benkert as your first QB, back him with Jordan Love and Malik Willis. That's solid, man. That's solid.
I mean, you could just do
I
a
gotta
rotation
say-
of each of those guys play one game every 3 weeks. Like
I've been
easy
I've
money.
been focusing on grading the picks, but if you're grading this draft on entertainment level, I give this the best grade in a long time because
This draft
number
has
one,
been
it's unpredictable. Number two, there's lots of bombshell trades, and number three is it's going fast.
What I don't get is the Jets paid not that much.
Whoa, the pick is in already for the Packers.
Oh wow.
They're
Oh
pretty
no,
nice.
he's so mad. He's so mad. He's gonna quit the team. He's gonna
Wait,
quit
wait,
the
what
team.
happened?
They picked Devontae
Who'd they
Wyatt.
take?
They picked Devontae Wyatt.
Really?
It's not a wide receiver.
Aaron Rodgers is done. Aaron Rodgers is done.
I'm going to pull up the Packers depth chart right now, and we're going to compare the D line.
Oh no,
The wide
man. Oh no.
Okay,
Sammy Watkins
line.
and no one.
Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Jaron Reed, and and Devontae Wyatt. That's that. I mean, well, Devontae Wyatt's about to come, but those three, that's a pretty good D line. Wide receivers: Cobb, Lazard, Watkins, Rogers. Do you hear any name there that could be even a top 2 receiver on a good team? No.
So we get Booth. Andrew, we get Booth.
So they cut Zadarius
Oh,
Smith.
Let's go. Belichick better not blow this. It's Andrew Booth.
It's gotta be Booth.
I like
Gotta be
Daxton
Andrew.
Hill over Booth.
I
He's a
don't know.
cornerback.
I
Daxton
don't
Hill
know.
is a cornerback.
They
I know.
They have to take a DB. They
Yeah,
have
he's
to
a
take a
DB. Daxton Hill.
Like,
I like him over
any
Booth.
DB.
Flexibility. Can play him in the slot. Can play him at free safety. Can play him at an outside corner. All of
Bill
that works.
does like flexibility.
Yeah, he does like flexibility.
Or
but Andrew
or
Booth
hear me
is
out.
right.
Trade
That's
down.
what I'll-
Trade
I wouldn't
down.
Trade
mind that,
down
but I prefer Booth. I
again?
prefer Booth.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew, listen
It's-
out to me.
It's a
Trade down again.
it's really good if they
What?
get Booth at 29. That's
Mhm.
really
Should we
good.
I wouldn't mind it, but I want Booth. So I'm torn.
But we could get Daxton Hill third round.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jackson Hill is not going in the third round, Michael. What are you talking
I'd
about?
want
Jackson
2
Hill will
day
go in the
free
first
pick plus
5
another-
picks of the
plus a
second
free
round.
pick.
The Bucks are going
No,
to
I
take
just
Jackson
can't
Hill the first pick tomorrow.
The Packers didn't pick a wide receiver.
I can't believe that.
Packers are
They had
the
two.
loser. The loser. I always have them as the loser of the first round, but once again, they have found a way to trump themselves and be even worse.
Well, it's not as bad as Jordan Love.
They need probably
No,
2
it's
good
not
wide
as-
receivers,
but, I
and
mean,
they don't take one
Hold on,
in the
hold
first
on.
round. How idiotic can you be?
They
as a
had
GM?
2 picks this time, though, Connor. They had 2
True.
chances this time instead of 1.
2 chances, and they pass up on it. What the hell are you doing?
Devontae Wyatt
Oh,
makes
my God.
sense. It's just
Oh
the Quay.
my
I don't mind the
God.
Devontae Walker pick if they went and picked a
Absolutely.
receiver
No,
at 23.
Both the picks
I
are
agree.
ridiculous.
If they went and took like Tolbert or
Wyatt
someone like
doesn't-
that,
Who needs a D lineman? You got Dean Lowry, you got Kenny Clark. That line is
And
fine.
you got big Kenny Clark, baby. You got big Kenny Clark.
they
Dude,
really
taking-
cut Zadarius Smith to not fill the cap space with anyone, to replace him with an overdrafted linebacker in Quay Walker,
They are
who's
going
went.
to
And wait,
blow-
wait,
I
it
say
gets
it every
even
year that
better,
they're going to blow the
'cause
division. They
it
still
gets
find a
even
way to
better,
win.
'cause
The
the
Lions are
Terry
gonna win
He fucking
the division.
back
The
No,
Lions will
no.
win the
Terry
division.
Higgins
No,
on his
the
back
Vikings are winning the division 'cause
every year. But the Vikings are
Zadarius
taking it.
Smith went from the Packers to
This
the,
is
to
the
the
year.
Vikings.
Zimmer's gone. Like Rodgers beat Zimmer every time. But
They
Rodgers
have to be
against
setting up
the new coach. The new coach for the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, I believe. Yeah. Wait, no.
They have to like have something set up to get a receiver somehow. I refuse
Yeah,
to
Kevin
believe they
O'Connell.
don't. You don't pay
Yeah, new
Rodgers that
Vikings
much
head
money.
coach Kevin O'Connell will beat Aaron Rodgers. That's what I gotta say.
Aaron Rodgers says on the Pat McAfee show he knew the Packers were going this direction. They had 6 wide receivers with first round grades, and they were all gone. So defense was it. Rodgers was aware of it.
Oh, so they missed out. They didn't trade up for. a
You could have
receiver, and
traded it up. You
therefore
could have
they
spent
don't get
both your first round picks to get to like 10 and take
it.
who you
We
think
should-
is the
We
best.
should have known. We should have known that once all those receivers went in the teens, that the Packers weren't going to take.
You
them.
could have
There
traded
was-
22 and a second round pick to get to 12 based on what the Lions gave up and got
Get
Jameson Williams.
Jameson Williams would have been Rodgers' guy for the next 4 years.
Crazy.
Pick is
Packers
in for the
screwed up.
Patriots.
Pick is in.
It's
They
got- it
picked.
better be-
They
It
picked.
better be Booth.
I think it's gonna be N'Keal Harry. Gotta be honest.
N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry. Do it. Run it.
Run it back.
What?
Let's get it.
Who the fuck
What?
is that?
What's his name?
Cole Strange.
Phil, what are you doing?
Offensive guard from Chattanooga.
Oh my god.
Do I know him?
Phil, what are
I've
you
heard of
doing?
him. The
Phil.
he
Phil.
jumped. He jumped big in the draft. He can play center, he can play
We
guard.
need an O-lineman.
I don't know. I had him in round 6. No, we need a line.
He was jumping up to round 2. I'm just gonna say I think he made Penning better than he was.
It's the Northern Iowa guy. Yeah, not a good value, but in Bill we trust. He sees something in Cole Strange. I buy it.
I just want a defense. I want a defense.
I want a defense too. We'll get it on day 2. Andrew Booth is still on the board. Could come back to us. We got some picks stacked up. What's our first day 2 pick? Remind me. Or it might still be our second rounder.
50 something. I don't know. I've tweeted so much stuff out tonight. I think 54.
Yeah, he's not getting that at
Yeah,
54.
so Booth won't be there, but there's gonna be.
I don't like that
This is a
pick.
deep corner class. There's gonna be guys like Gordon and McCreary, like I've been talking about.
In Bill we trust.
You traded out a Trent McDuffie to take Cole Strange. That's bad.
In Bill, Connor, in Bill we trust. All right, I may
That
not
guy
like
has a
you.
WWE name.
In Bill we trust.
That's so bad.
In Bill we trust.
I mean, it's not my favorite pick, but I gotta give it at least an average. I gotta say it's at least.
That's a
average
D.
to Bill
That's a
Belichick
D.
pick.
That is the biggest reach in the whole round. That's a bigger reach than Quay Walker.
It is.
That's a
biggest
bigger
reach,
reach than Will
but
Olave
it
went.
does fill a need. It does fill a need, and it's a Bill Belichick pick.
That's the
what I'll
biggest
say.
reach in the first round. Easily. Easily.
Biggest reach in the first round. Yeah, biggest reach in the
It's
first
not
round. I
close.
gotta agree, but I'll trust a Belichick reach on Cole Strange.
You could have taken
Over
Dylan
Washington.
Parham out of Memphis. You could have
Okay,
taken
I
Ed
will
Ingram out of
trust a Belichick
LSU.
reach on Cole Strange over the Texans reaching on Kenyon Green.
That's the
or
guy
Commanders
that the
reaching on
Dolphins were
Jahan
rumored to get in the
Johnson.
third round. That was the Dolphins' reach pick in the third round.
Well,
So
I don't
bad.
know.
So bad.
Honestly,
In
I
Bill
trust
we
Belichick.
trust.
I trust Belichick to pick the right guys at each position. As long as he's filling our positional needs, I'm happy. That's what else.
You guys are delusional. That's so
In
bad.
Bill we trust.
That's the worst pick in the first round.
Okay, it is Connor, but let me live.
No.
That's
Worst
a
pick of
worse
the
pick
first
than Quay
round
Walker. That is a
goes
worse pick than
to-
Quay Walker.
Goes to the Packers. It's got to go to the Packers.
No, because Packers got two playmakers.
And don't forget Devin Lloyd to the Jaguars. I know it was good value, but what are they doing?
That's
trading
not.
up?
That is not a worse pick than Cole Strange. You have to realize this guy was projected fourth round, maybe jumping to the third if the Dolphins wanted to do that.
I think I had him even later, but if Belichick sees him, I don't know.
That's
Bill we
so
trust, that's all I have to
bad.
say.
The only thing is, we say in Bill we trust, but he is the guy who drafted N'Keal Harry. He is the guy who drafted. Yeah, he's the guy who drafted N'Keal Harry, Sony Michelle. He's made some first round mistakes before. The thing is, the mistakes he's made in round one have been on guys that were projected first rounders.
You don't take a fourth rounder. You
Belichick
trade
knows how
back.
to reach. Belichick knows how to reach. I don't know.
And Sony Michelle was not projected to go there. That was a reach to begin with, and he was
I
bad.
don't know.
N'Keal Harry, I had AJ Brown over him. I did have DK Metcalf under him, but I had AJ Brown over him by far.
And now when you look back, you can.
No, I'm not talking about
find
looking back. I'm talking about my rankings then. I had AJ Brown way ahead of
My
him. I did have
rankings
DK
then-
Metcalf under him.
I think I had Metcalf, and that was it. I had Metcalf, and that was it.
George Karlaftis at
I-
30.
When I saw the pick, I was like, oh, not bad. I wanted a tight end.
Okay, by the way, the Chiefs have had a masterful draft. McDuffie and Karlaftis, that's really good.
Oh, yeah. If they,
Well,
yeah,
they take
Karloftis.
Yeah.
Is it official they took Karloftis?
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing Karloftis was being overhyped by the media, but I mean, he's a good player.
No, he was
I mean,
expected to
just-
drop, but I think 30 is a good spot. I had him going to the Cardinals in a lot of my
Oh,
mocks.
yeah.
Yeah,
30's
no,
the-
I
was
think
around 30.
the Chiefs
30's.
Chiefs always draft well though. This
But-
is a good one for the Chiefs.
The fact that Pickens doesn't go to the Chiefs or the Packers is shocking. In 28 and 30. Do the Vikings
said
take
one pick?
Pickens?
Karlaftis is a good pick. I think, yeah, the Chiefs are one of the winners tonight.
Yeah.
Do the Vikings
Chiefs
take
are-
Pickens at
But
32?
still does not stack up with the Jets or the Giants.
Michael,
No.
all the reports are that they want a wide receiver, and that's it. That's
I
Wait,
don't
what
know.
team?
the Vikings. Everything out of that camp is wide receiver. For some reason. I don't get it, but
They should go like safety or corner or maybe O line.
yeah, I
Uh,
agree. But I'm talking what I think will happen. I think they go a lot.
You can even
I think they
argue
go
for a
wide
tight
out.
end with Irv Smith recovering from his injury.
I don't mind tight end. I had
Yeah,
tight
would
end going
call
in the
him a
first
first.
round of my last mock.
Trey McBride, you said?
Yeah, I had McBride going 31 to the
Yeah.
Bengals.
I don't mind him. I think I had him to the Giants round 2.
Bro, I don't know. I mean, I like Kansas City's draft. Listen, Kansas City didn't have a flash because they didn't have any high picks, but they did extremely well for where they were at. So I give
Yeah,
Kansas City a
definitely.
lot of props. Very good value at good picks. I don't know what Cincinnati's gonna do.
Yeah,
What do you
not
think?
necessarily the home run picks of the night, but I think they were consistently making solid picks between McDuffie and Karlaftis. Yeah.
Connor, what do you think Cincinnati's gonna do?
Booth, 100%.
Andrew Booth.
Booth, 100%.
Andrew Booth is going.
I don't
The
know why
Patriots
he's
do it,
dropping,
Andrew Booth is
but that's such a good pick. I'm actually gonna look up why he's dropping. Someone anyone knows.
I really hope the Vikings
Obviously
don't take-
injury. Why the Bengals might not be interested? Yeah, let's see.
Jackson Hill still on the board.
Struggled to stay healthy. I guess it's health issues people are worried about.
So why do we have to take?
He had
Colts
hernia
25?
surgery right before the combine. I remember that he had hernia. But he should be good to go by training camp. So
Why couldn't we just take someone normal?
now
Yeah,
you're
it's like,
complaining about
on
the
one
pick. You just
hand,
told me
Why
Trustin
can't
Bill.
we take someone that
Oh,
we've
Trustin
heard of?
Bill, but I'm gonna be all over this right now.
That's bad pick.
It's like
Bad pick.
yeah, I don't know because in Bill we trust, but do we trust him when we don't know who it is?
Listen,
You could
no
have
matter what-
had him at either of those picks in the second round,
I know that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to
and
remember
your
who
picks
it
in the
is.
third round, and maybe your
Even
pick
if
in the
he's the
fourth
best-
round.
Even if he's the best player in this draft, still not worth it at 29.
Yeah, you could have.
What the hell did you just say, Michael?
That's the thing I'll say. You
If he's
could
the
have
said
best
even if he's
player
the
in this
best
draft,
player-
it's definitely worth it. But he's not the best player in this draft, and he's
No,
not
you
going to
still
be the
could
best
take-
player.
No, you still could take him later on. That's
He
what
could
I'm
be the
saying.
next on Wenu, but we got on Wenu in round 6.
Yeah. No, he's not. He's not like Unwinning. I don't even know what you're gonna.
They
Chattanooga.
got rid of Shaq Mason. They need.
Yeah.
I had Cole Strange going in round 6 in my 7-round mock.
I had him going 4 to the Dolphin. I think 4.
Patriots don't even know who he is.
Bill Belichick liked his last name and said, "Let's do it."
It's his dog.
93% chance of being available at pick 54 entering tonight. Next New England pick. That's bad. Shut up, Mel Kiper.
Shut up, Mel. Stop trying to make me feel better. He sucks.
Bengals getting
terrible
Booth
pick.
is so good. I can't imagine him not picking him. You
And this streak
Eli
ending
Apple is
before
your starting
11:30
outside
is
corner.
also good.
Pull the trigger. Patriots could have had Trent McDuffie.
I know. Yeah, I'm so torn on this because
Daxton Hill.
on one hand,
Okay, that's
it
fair.
could work out really well, but on the other
Yeah,
hand,
Jackson Hill's a good pick.
what could have
We
been?
knew it was either Jackson Hill or Booth, right?
Yeah, I like Daxton Hill better. I thought they'd take Booth because he's more of an outside
Jackson
corner.
Hill.
Daxton Hill's more of a slot / could play safety, but he could definitely
I
got to
don't
play
mind it.
corner.
Oh,
for
I
hey,
me.
don't mind it.
There's
And
one team left
If
that
Jesse
hasn't
Bates
picked.
leaves after this season, he could transition to safety.
The Vikings got to take Booth, right?
They
Yeah,
should.
That's a really
For
good
sure.
pick for him.
They either should take Booth or no, they should just take Booth. There's no one else. Who else is
Vikings
left?
gotta take Booth. I know his medicals are concerns, but still.
I'm honestly not huge on the Daxton Hill pick because, like, I know it's nice to have that versatility, but Eli Apple is, or I don't know if Apple's even on the team. Eli Apple still is your number 1 corner is a problem.
Daxton Hill will play corner. He's fine at corner. It's not a
Yeah,
concern.
yeah. I just think Booth is the better overall player too.
I like Daxton Hill better. Daxton Hill is who I thought that the Patriots were going to pick because he has that versatility. He's good. He's really
Alright,
good.
I would not have minded Hill to the Patriots. It's just for the Bengals, a little different.
You play him at nickel or at slot corner. I mean, their biggest weakness in corner is probably the slot. 'Cause- I mean, I know Eli
just can't
Apple's
believe
bad on the outside,
Cole
but
Strange. You picked Cole Strange. What an L.
he's probably.
I thought you were saying in Bill we trust.
Of course, in Bill we trust, but why do we have to trust him to pick this one?
I mean, it could work out. I have no clue how this guy's going to turn out.
He better hope it works out.
Malik Willis really didn't go in the first round after being rumored to be 6th.
Unless
That shocked
the
me.
Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings took Mon last year.
I mean,
not sure
Titans
who-
at 35 could go. Giants
Who'd
at
the Vikings
36. I don't hate the Giants getting him for that
Giants-
value at all.
No, I mean,
What's
I
the
had them
Vikings?
taking him at, first round, early first round.
My
Remind me what the
live
Vikings-
second round mock's gonna get weird.
Chattanooga to the first round. Hey, where's?
How about that? And we wasted our time watching him thinking he'd be at 104 maybe.
Oh, shut up, McVay. God, you're kind of insufferable, aren't you?
What did McVay say?
He's just laughing about the Cole Strange pick.
He-
And,
He wanted him at 104.
yeah, I mean, he was just making fun of it. And I'm like, dude, didn't Bill Belichick beat you in a Super Bowl? Like, bro, come on. Like, I'm sorry that you have a super team, LOL. But anywho, the Vikings are the last team. There's still no word on who they will pick. Cole Strange could go down as the biggest draft bust maybe in the last few years.
But you know, the next one
Or-
is another Patriots pick.
Wait a minute. Is the
Nikhil,
Vikings pick in?
Not yet.
Vikings pick is not in.
They're probably looking for trades.
I mean, imagine if they take Willis.
They are
I
not
would've liked
taking
it. No.
I
Willis.
trust Kirk.
They just
I
extended
trust-
Kirk. They just gave Kirk new
Because-
money.
Yeah, I guess
Doesn't
they
make
trust
sense.
Kirk, too.
I
Not
kind of
taking
like
Willis.
the Giants a lot. Like, in terms of, I don't think Malik Willis would be a great quarterback, but in terms of value and getting him
I
there, and
think
he's,
the Vikings should take Booth, but we'll see.
yeah, I like Booth. There's a couple guys I like. I wouldn't mind him going line. I mean, Raymond can slot inside. I don't love Raymond. Fa'alele is a pretty good tackle. I like Fa'alele.
To be fair, though, for the Patriots, Justin Herron is terrible, so I'm kind of okay.
Oh, what? It doesn't matter that you keep saying that. He wouldn't have gone by their next pick.
Okay, shut up. I'm just trying to make myself.
You could have
feel better,
had
Connor.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the Chris Olave pick for me. I don't mind the player. It's about where they took him.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's how I feel.
And that was a lot worse than Chris Olave. Olave was 5 slots versus 5 rounds for your case in terms of where you had him. Like, you could have just had Lloyd, had him as one of your rotational. Daxton Hill fit what you want so well in terms of guys that can move around in the
Connor, I
secondary.
know. I'm well aware.
Andrew Booth was my pick there.
Yeah,
but,
I think
like,
Booth was probably the best, or Daxton Hill, or N'Kobe Dean.
I'll tell you what, if Andrew Booth and Trent McDuffie end up superstar corners in this league and we're stuck with Cole Strange, I will not be happy.
McDuffie's gonna be good. I don't know if Booth will be. I think he'll be solid. But I know
Booth will
know
go.
McDuffie's gonna be a good corner.
I don't know what's happening to Booth. There was a similar thing that happened with
It's
Zach
medical.
Vaughn, I think either
It's all
last
medical.
year-
He had a
All medical?
hamstring injury at the combine. He had hernia surgery. He had an ankle issue at Clemson. It's all medical. Kid could have been
There's
great.
one
Still
prospect
no
every year
word
that
on
just
the
falls out of
Vikings
the
pick.
first round unexpectedly.
Still no word on the Vikings pick tonight.
But Booth could still go at 32. You never know.
The Vikings need a corner. They need
At this
edge.
point,
they
I
need
think he's
line.
falling for a reason. But
Need line, bruh.
oh yeah, line could work too. I'm just
That's
thinking
what
what
they take.
player. Pick is in.
Clemson players have not had a good draft, huh?
Oh,
Has there not been one Clemson guy?
I don't think so.
That's
I don't think
crazy.
so.
It wasn't supposed to be a good draft for Clemson to begin with.
But you had a
Yeah.
guy who was
Booth is
top
about-
5 receiver in Justin Ross before. You had a guy who was top 3 corner in Booth, just even going into the draft. Oh, there it is. Louis Cine. Kind of liked him for
Is
the
he a
Bucks.
corner?
He's a safety.
Safety. I like that. The Vikings need
Yeah.
a safety.
Vikings need another
Solid.
safety to play alongside.
Yeah, and that's honestly one of their best options.
And
if
that's
they-
the how many Georgia players? 1, 2.
4 or
three.
5.
Yeah, great draft for Georgia.
Four.
Awful draft for Clemson.
5 Georgia players in the first.
So Connor, Bucks could get Andrew Booth first overall tomorrow.
I don't love it. We don't need a guy who can't even show up to the beginning of training camp. He's a project player, and has injury concern. I think
All right, so between now and when the Vikings pick is officially announced on television, let's discuss the draft overall. Andrew, give me your thoughts on the overall draft. Hit the big points for me.
Okay. I'll start with this. Like, it's been the craziest offseason in history, I'd say. And this first round matched that energy. So many trades, so many surprise picks. It started out kind of chalky, that is how we expected it. But I think once we got to the double digits, that's when things really started to get wild. You had like 3 trades in a row. You had with that run on receivers. And then a lot of guys who might have been considered reaches by a lot of people later in the round. You had like Kenyon Green, Jahan Dotson, Zion Johnson, and also Quay Walker with the Packers pick, and then Cole Strange by the Patriots. Obviously, a reach right there. So a lot of surprising picks, but I think we're gonna have one thing I'll say, we're gonna have a very different view on this draft a few years from now than we do right now.
Connor, break it down for us.
I think the one kind of thing about this draft, other than trades, but wide receivers. Some crazy stories going on of probably the most likely receiver to get traded in Deebo Samuel. The Jets refused their trade. And then you have, surprisingly going at 8, you have Drake London. Then you have 3 off the board, 5 in the top 16. And you got Burks at 18. You got more trades. It's been a crazy draft. The falling of linemen, the rising of receivers in a lot of ways. I feel like they were about 2 picks. One pick I felt confident in. That made sense based on all the reports. Maybe 2 if you count Travon Walker. But it was Stingley to the Texans. I had him going later, but that's the one thing that made sense to me in a lot of ways. Like the Giants passing on Aquanu, a lot of teams passing on Jermaine Johnson. Rise and falls are a big thing. I feel like very few players were picked where they were expected to. Whether it's
Definitely.
Drake London over Wilson and Williams, then Olave over Williams, whether it's Stingley and Sauce Gardner at 3 and 4, taking Trayvon Walker over any of the other edge guys if you're going to take one. Whether it's kind of later in the draft, you had Kenny Pickett as the only quarterback. Ray Walker go before Dean and Lloyd. You had like Zion Johnson go before Kenyon Green even.
The only quarterback.
Right.
It's just so many. The public's idea of where the players were ranked. Usually there's a couple big falls like Jermaine Johnson had, and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
that
it's
happened.
true.
In this draft, it felt like half the players were surprise picks. Like I could not see that happening, and even more than that, maybe 25 of them were like, you are surprised by it when it comes out, rather than being like, I still don't get that. Half of the picks I still don't get, in a lot of ways. And I feel like I've never had that in a draft before.
Yeah, it's hard to wrap your head around some of these picks. I'll say a few that stand out, and these are some of my bigger losers in the draft because they stand out as head scratchers. The Jordan Davis pick to Philly, don't understand that. There's no need for it. I'd say also the Quay Walker pick, a very confusing one. Devin Lloyd, it was nice value, but again confusing. Both the Packers picks probably like that, and then Cole Strange to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think the story of tonight, as we head to a close here, is this
A
was a
very
draft
strange draft.
where we saw a lot of winners and losers, right? We saw a bunch of teams at the beginning of the draft that had a really, really strong draft, like the Giants. The Jets ended up with a really strong draft, having 3 first-round picks, something that happens very infrequently. And we saw a lot of teams, who ended up losing overall in this draft. The Packers, the Saints had a bad pick with Olave because I felt that they could have gotten him without trading up. I'm not in love with the Drake London pick, although I understand it.
I like the London pick.
Atlanta,
personally.
I think there's up and downs. I think it's ebbs and flows in this draft. There are picks that I disagree with now, especially Cole Strange, and plenty more. But the most important thing that we have to learn about the draft is that it's how these players are going to fit in as the offseason comes around. And there are specific reasons why teams pick certain players, and it's more about why you trust your GM rather than what the player is. Because sometimes your GM does know better than what you know. And there are certain GMs where that has happened in the past, like Belichick and others, and there are certain GMs where you know that Chris Balke is probably not
Frank Balke.
You
making
Yeah.
the
gotta have a
decisions.
job.
So there are winners and losers in this draft. Overall, it was incredibly entertaining. It was incredibly wild. It felt like every pick we didn't really know what to expect going forward, which I think is what we want more and more out of the draft because it was so entertaining to actually be surprised about what teams were going to pick rather than expecting, hey, here's 25 guys and they're all going to be picked in the first round and there are 7 guys that will be early second round, late first round. We had a bunch of guys. Jermaine Johnson was projected top 10 and he dropped way out. So this was probably the most entertaining draft. It was very interesting to watch what teams were selecting and why. There were some big winners. I think the Ravens had a great draft. The Jets, the Giants had all. I think those 3 teams had fantastic drafts. The Chargers had a nice pick. There were some teams who had some weirder picks for sure, but I think that some of them, obviously in the draft, teams that we think made a great pick, some of those picks won't end up working out. That's just the nature of the draft. Detroit had a nice trade up. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to evolve. It's a situation. And you know what? I think this draft stream was the best that we've ever had. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Connor. It was it was short. It was sweet. We're done by 11:40, which is absolutely perfect. We all had enough entertainment for one evening. Kenny Pickett going at 20 was crazy. There were some crazy picks all night long. And I'm really excited to see what happens in a few years. Like Andrew mentioned earlier, this is going to be a draft that we're going to have to come back to in 2 or 3 years and really evaluate what these players are doing now. Because there are so many players where you can say, maybe in a couple years, why was Jermaine Johnson not taken in the top 10? Maybe in a couple years, we'll be saying, that's why Jermaine Johnson wasn't taken in the top 10. He just, frankly, wasn't that good. So we're going to see a lot of this pan out in the next few years, and I'm very excited to see that. Thank you to Connor for setting up the whole stream. He does all the graphics, put together all the mock drafts from Andrew and I and his own, put together the entire stream. So we owe Connor a huge thank you because he does not get paid because I do not get paid. So,
Because we do not do commercials.
We do not do commercials. That's exactly right. Except for on Weston Baseball. We do commercials there. But We also don't get paid for those. Thank you for Andrew for joining us, taking time out of his busy schedule. He is off to Ithaca College next year, just south of Syracuse. He'll be doing a lot of broadcasting and sports journalism and stuff like that there. So he is following, not in my footsteps, but he is, he's doing what he's passionate about. Connor's at Northeastern. He's having a great time there, I'm sure. Yeah, that look will say yes. I'm obviously at Syracuse, as you can all tell. No one from Syracuse got drafted tonight because we suck. That's going to do it for tonight. We won't be back tomorrow. I'm sure we will have some more draft coverage as it goes on the second, third rounds. We will break this all down in a podcast episode. Thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight. It really does mean a lot. We'll be back next year for sure with the 4th annual draft stream. We'll try to do the NBA, but this has probably been the most fun I've ever had doing a stream. Hopefully we can top it next year. But that's a wrap for tonight. Thank you all.